This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio.
Ready for that either?
Clayton McKee.
Oh my God, something happened. What?
That's good.
Al's good now.
Good.
I found out I have to pull this music way down in the mix because it's crazy loud with this. What is that sound I'm hearing?
Did you get the buzz?
No, it's not in the headphones. It's in something else.
Amina.
It's in Kat's mic. Wiggle that at the end of the on the end here.
Oh, here.
There we go. That's it. Okay. Somehow it's. Hear that?
Nope.
Really? Do it now.
Oh, I mean,
Oh.
So we've got to figure out.
Well,
This isn't going to work for a whole show. Not with that. So we've got to.
She looks like Barbie.
No,
right? Like, isn't that like Barbie holding the mic? Kind of like.
totally.
does
Totally.
this in any way screw or?
Oh.
Not on the
That's
first
obvious.
date.
Yeah, except they.
Oh, please.
There's that.
Please.
All right, you're
Took her-
fine. You're
took her-
right on the first date, but at least after dinner.
Yeah. Well,
Took her 6 weeks to learn how to sit up in the car.
After the second wine cooler, right?
Old Rodney Dangerfield joke. It's a long old
All right.
joke.
Do the lesbians enjoy
Thank
the
you
wine
for your
coolers?
support.
We've got to figure out
Because the gays had
That
to be
is
like,
really
they
bad.
had
Why
they
isn't
had
my
an
mic
intervention.
today?
because I made adjustments and apparently I made an adjustment to the tension on that line. And see, we come out of the shoot with a technical. Now,
So
let,
is it?
let me
Wait.
show
So
you.
if I like give it some slack, will that help?
I don't know, but let me show you what's the reason this
That's
is
what she
glorious
said.
for this. I'm gonna change this shot. See the center square?
Oh yeah.
I'm center square.
Tim Wong is here,
It
ladies
is
and gentlemen.
usually
Tim
reserved
is
for
with
gay
us.
gentlemen.
That's fantastic.
Tim is with us. Tim is a newfound. Well, he's been listening for quite a while, but I just met him last Friday, and he asked if he could come see how the magic was done, and I'm like, well, we
I
just
hope it doesn't fuck it up for you.
so you
It's
can
like
already
visiting the sausage factory, man.
Yeah, kind
Not
of.
in the fun way.
No, do me. I'm gonna turn your mic down for a second. Pull that out. Do that,
Pull out.
Pull out.
and let's see if we can make a little more
Safe
tension.
microphone.
Do some, yeah, safe phoning,
Wow, look at that.
and then it goes in only one way,
Wow.
and we'll see if. Nope, we're
Oh,
still
Nope,
there.
still there.
That's annoying as cat shit.
Well,
I can't handle that.
well,
I don't know that I've ever
I don't
described
know.
cat
Yeah.
shit as
Well,
annoying.
I'm gonna have to find a way to resolve this while you all talk
Maybe a
amongst yourselves.
handheld
All
mic or a
right.
meow,
headset.
meow, cow. Technicals
Ooh.
fresh out of the
Oh, it's
gate.
a
Good
microphone.
things to
Damn
come.
it.
Yeah, it's the microphone.
It's in
Anywho,
my ear, but it's coming out of your mouth. That's the problem.
That's not how this works. That's not how
any of
this
it.
works.
I feel like there's a grounding issue.
I think you might be right.
I got to figure out a way to ground it.
You know what I find works
You're
in almost any
grounded.
situation? Duct tape.
Oh.
I
Duct
have
tape the motherfucker.
Well,
You know what's going to be really fun when I look up Morse code?
boots and
Help.
pants and boots and pants
Send
and boots and
reinforcements.
I like that
Send
Ralph
help.
fingering something in these stories.
Everybody's smiling.
Remember back in the day?
Oh yeah, she's touching
Yeah,
herself.
I've got to
to
grab myself again.
Huh? I don't want to know.
Better
Yeah,
or worse?
it's
Better.
fine.
I think
It's
we're at the
fine.
eye doctor. Number 2 or number 1?
I just went to the eye doctor.
Number 2 or number 1?
No, I don't want to know any more about it. We're good. Oh, wait a
All
minute.
right.
No, we'll figure. I'm gonna go do something else. But anywho, I've got to adjust the shot because I wasn't exactly sure how Tim was gonna sit in the shot. So now I've got to do some
You're my beard.
adjustments. So we're gonna
You're my beard.
I'll be also your beard.
Now it's
Well-
No, that's
now
good.
It's
We had
stack
to-
table cam.
I had to take the top off because I was cutting his head off, and I don't want to do that. So there you go. Now you're a full member of the cast of 5.
Welcome.
Oh, hello.
Look at that.
Hello.
God,
So
I,
now tell
like it.
us, because we've been waiting to hear. So you're moving to California.
Yes. So
You're in the transition.
right. So
Not from man to woman, from Arizona to California.
Now it's the
good to
time to ask
clarify.
him why he's here.
Yeah.
Tim, why are you here?
well, so long time listener, first time caller. No, I'm a big fan. I've been listening since Katie June days, but not quite as early as Buddy early days.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
those were good
but,
days.
Still good days.
Those
Still
were
good
the
days.
days.
But yeah, so I am moving to California after working for quite a while in educational marketing and broadcast television. Hoping
gonna take
to
my thumb
pursue a
to the
career in
screen?
animation illustration.
did you say broadcast television? And you're
Yeah.
at this level of technical right now?
We're done.
Well,
We're about to make duct tape magic.
It was educational access television. So
That's what this is.
yeah.
The educational is silent.
In Arizona, yes.
Yes.
But
Yes.
about the same level of fixes. You know, if it works,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
But I've listened
It's
to
still
you guys
there.
for-
Still there.
Yeah.
I think you got to tape it across the
Sorry, Tim.
microphone.
No,
No, I think you're gonna have to take my finger to it.
No,
I think
no.
it's a ground issue.
no.
Get her a straw for that beer.
Huh?
Okay, so let them do their technical
Yeah,
stuff.
sorry, because I'm
No
very
worries.
confused.
We
So
all
now,
are.
what's in
Yeah.
California?
Gold.
Well,
Well,
all
maybe.
the gold.
You don't know.
we're moving to Sherman Oaks, which is right
Okay.
by
Oh,
kind of
lovely.
the studio area, and I have some friends out there, some that are freelancers, some that work for the big studios, but I just needed a change. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of the biggest thing, and yeah.
How long have you been here?
Since '98.
Okay.
And he was told there'd be no math, so we're
Yeah.
not
No,
gonna
We're not.
ask how
I'm
long
not.
that
No,
is.
huh? So
I'm not
My
17.
two guesses were both
I say
wrong.
19.
And that is right, but my
All
first
right.
two guesses were
Yeah.
17 and 18.
Nice. I'm not good at math,
Wi-
so that's exciting.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
know.
that kind of Asian. I'm
No.
sorry.
And by the way, Ken, may we point out on that note that we haven't lost them all.
Yeah, see?
I mean, so that's
Yeah.
that's a damn bonus right there. Oddly,
Absolutely.
that's what I was going to put on Facebook. I'm going to leave that
I
alone.
did bring up the
I'm going
fact
to leave it
that
alone.
you let a white guy take your picture the other night at Stacy, so I'm like, different Asian.
also not that kind of Asian. Actually, that's one of the my most cherished moments with my former
Former father?
deceased former
Oh.
father-in-law. Was he asked me to help him put up the Christmas tree, and I said, "Oh, I'm not that kind of Asian, but I'll help you anyway."
Yeah, I say it all the time to arts and crafts. Wrong gay.
fantastic, yeah.
I
Yeah, minus the glitter. That's awful.
I don't know how the corkscrew is supposed to help that.
I was thinking something. I don't need you to put input. Mister, get a new carpet needs brakes. That's what I don't need you to do.
Oh, that's fantastic. So
But
you said we.
Oh yes. So I have a wonderful husband.
I love it.
He is very supportive, and his pension is kind of financing our big adventure.
And you said
which
recently
I love it.
retired from.
recently retired as senior production coordinator from the Chandler Center for the Arts.
Nice.
Oh.
He's a technical theater person. I'm kind of a TV movie-ish kind
Is
of
the Center for the
person.
Arts one that has the spinning
Yeah,
stages?
the spinny ones. Yes.
Poor Liza. I saw Liza there, and she thought she was opening it up, but she was second.
Oh.
And she kept saying she was so happy to be the opening
Oh.
act for the Chandler Center
Got
for the
it.
Arts. We're like, are
Well,
Go on, dear. Go
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Please do
Pray
tell.
continue, Liza.
Yeah. You're the first in my book.
But in her defense,
fantastic.
it was like a kids choir that went first. So
Well, but still,
yeah,
I mean, like
she
you
could
have
take like
to.
first Oscar winner.
Right. Okay, well that's
They
fair.
are our future, you know.
Yeah.
The children.
Yes,
The
the
Liza.
Yeah,
children.
still,
Yeah.
still dead.
The Liza's also.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, there's a bathtub in there somewhere. That's fantastic. Well, we're glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And again,
How exciting.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I do a lot of graphic design work, so when I'm working away on the computer, I love having a podcast to listen to, and you guys have gotten me through many hours of boredom and also like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life? So
Oh, you mean by listening to us?
yes,
You were asking that question. Am I wrong? I
Well,
heard it that way.
occasionally as inspiration, but more frequently cautionary tales. So
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. That's great. What in
Now,
Christ's
what's your
name?
husband's name?
my husband's name is Jimmy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Timmy and Jimmy.
Tim and Jimmy.
Yes.
But we'll answer to
specific.
anything
Changed it,
as
yeah.
long as you don't call us late for dinner.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, and that's very fair.
Yeah.
I think that's incredibly fair. And the
Hello?
Pop Tarts? Is
Hello?
that
That-
you?
yes.
God,
I
he's
listen
good.
very well.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And a new flavor to try: hot fudge sundae.
Fudge. Very nice.
Hot fudge Sunday berry.
And if Tomo were listening, he'd be pissed.
Oh,
Well,
Tomo.
we've lost.
Tomo.
Did we
just-
lose him over the?
I'm sure
Yeah,
we did.
over the
because
Pop
of
Tart
Pop-Tarts.
incident.
Pop Tart scandal of 2014.
Pop Tart Gate.
Popgate.
Popgate.
Yeah. Sure, sure did.
Tartgate. That's better.
Difference. No, difference.
Wow.
You just need a couple of minutes in research and, development.
we have to give a shout out because Nero is back in the chat room. It was lovely
Welcome,
to see
Nero.
Nero
I know,
back
after a
in there, and Meow. Yes, I was a little confused in the kitchen. Not gonna lie. You kind of saw that.
And
I was a little confused.
Bear was
Is
here
Bear
earlier.
in there? I love it. Yeah, Mina's being a smartass. That's new. Aaron.
Well, she does like to say, she does make us say hi to the NSA every time.
I do appreciate
We do need to
that,
shout out to
yes.
them because they're regular listeners.
They have to be.
I'm sure we're on some kind of no-fly list.
This was another week that I
wanna
thought
put
if
that out
they
there
fucking
yet.
look at my web history, it's just a nightmare where they'd put me, because there's so many weird things on there.
Why are you searching for the weird things?
Well, duh, because the show.
So what is wrong? We don't need any more stories about people fucking
It's
cars.
all
We
about
don't need them.
mechanophiles. It's all
Mechanophiles.
about
Yeah, exactly.
mechanophiles.
We
Humbless.
don't.
We are humbless for almost
mechanical
2
love
solid
is
minutes.
mechanical love.
Thank you. Exactly.
Love is love is love.
is love.
If it
Vroom,
involve-
vroom.
yeah, vroom, vroom. There you go.
That's what I say. Somebody walks by.
I'm worried I'm going to end up like looking up a video of that one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's going to get the best of me. Like,
I don't know if it. Well, is it the best?
yeah.
At that point,
I feel like at that point they're
Perhaps-
getting the worst of you.
yeah.
Perhaps you're misinterpreting what I mean by
I
getting
see.
the best of
Well,
me.
I'm concerned. I'm not
We've
going to lie.
taken you literally.
You're giving the
which
best
was
of your
clearly a
love.
mistake.
Giving you the best of my love.
That's right. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, Kat, what'd you do this
Right.
week? Somebody's got to get this train near a track.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am enjoying
a
my
train?
life of leisure,
Oh.
my one jobness. Today, for example,
Sure.
was perhaps the perfect day.
Okay.
Got up at my leisure,
Went to the bar.
close.
Yep. Not to work.
When it's in your house, it's called a refrigerator.
Oh, I see.
Self-serve.
Went to the gym.
No.
Went back home. Thought, gosh, I have a really nice pool in this backyard. Maybe I should go out there for a little while.
Very nice.
Got a little sunburned.
Yep.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Got a little. You're a little
lovely?
red there. Yeah.
Well, because here was my thought. I thought, well, nobody's home. It's a lovely day.
It's good to
Because
have
I'm
that.
ordinarily wearing like a t-shirt cover up in the pool. You know,
Sure.
Like you do.
like you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I burned rather easily. I was
I
outside
can't
for
tell.
less than an hour. Less than an hour.
Gosh.
I was outside with no sleeves on, and am rather burned. But hopefully that'll even out the farmer tan a little bit
Fair. Yep.
because it was
Now
distinct.
the farmer burn?
I don't really know, but no, it was getting distinct because there's t-shirts have different length sleeves.
Yeah.
And you could tell when I was wearing maybe a tighter, shorter t-shirt.
That's the lesbian version of a bra strap story.
Oh, all right. I don't have that problem.
Just help listeners at home translate.
Oh, maybe sometimes when the t-shirt neck is. In any event, I kept
fantastic.
You
catching.
don't want to go to a wedding after you've been tanning in
No,
the
not
wrong
at
bra.
all.
Here's what
That's
happened.
right.
There's a
Swimsuit.
mirror behind the bar at the bar that I work at, and it's a rather
V-neck.
dark bar, and I kept seeing this flash of light from under my own t-shirt sleeve.
And it was your
Ah,
white
yes.
skin.
It was my white skin, and so I thought, well,
Have
maybe
you seen me on this camera?
right.
The Gloam Dome here?
I don't know. You
I
look
even
rather
I
tan
turned
today,
off
though.
3 lights for you.
I know.
Weeks ago.
We get a
I don't
fucking
need.
filter
Can we
in this
just sit in
thing.
the dark?
I don't need you
I could
bitching.
probably powder.
Actually, that's true.
But it isn't. It's not that. It's just my beautiful skin.
Oh, yes.
Your dewy scalp.
But it's not dewy, though.
Somehow my perfect
I mean,
day is
just-
about out.
Yeah.
Powder.
Okay,
Weird.
Tyler.
How weird that happens.
Maximum power. Who in the hell is in Cummington,
oh, no,
Massachusetts?
Don't let's
Wow.
interrupt you.
We're
So this
glad.
perfect
We're
day,
glad
how
we're
did
glad
it
to
end?
be
Besides
able
the
to-
fight.
besides
Besides
having
having
to come
here.
here.
No, so I went and I got in the pool and I pulled out the pool float and I continued to hate read the book that we're reading.
Oh,
That's
Because
too
listen, coming up in
good
book
stuff.
club.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I get it.
I'm so angry about
Yeah.
this whole thing. I don't want to read it anyway. In fact, I took the Kindle
Because
into the
of
pool
book, or
in
because
the-
because of the content, or because you're bored with it?
because I'm
or...
real mad at the main character.
Oh,
we'll talk about
right,
it later.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I get that. Mhm.
coming up in the book corner.
Right. So I intentionally took the Kindle, the electronic device to read on, into the pool, hoping maybe I would drop it in the pool and wouldn't have to read this fucking book anymore.
Wow,
Well, we love having
rather
you there.
dramatic.
I know that was rather dramatic. So
For
then
real.
after some time, I had a little lunch
You
and
could
had
have
a.
tripped and just gone into the, like the sink or something. You don't have to take it into the pool.
Listen, I wanted a dramatic story.
Yeah.
I felt like that.
Fair enough.
That
fair
device has been good to me.
Yeah,
It
okay.
deserves
Very,
a
very good
heroic
to you.
end.
enough. Okay. Fair enough.
Goodness gracious.
Well
and
played.
then I went to
there's
the bar.
more.
No, yeah, because then I went to the bar.
Yes.
I'm mildly breaking my no projects all summer rule.
Oh, this
I
quick.
know.
How Katie June of you?
It took me 2 weeks.
That's
What
hey,
else?
a diet on Katie June that lasted 2 weeks would have been a fucking miracle.
Oh my God. 2 minutes, but God love
Yeah,
her.
because usually
What's
she was
wrong
eating a
with
donut while reading about the
Katie?
South Beach.
She's like,
I'm
does
gonna
this
start
donut,
that,
does this
yeah.
donut make me look like I'm on a paleo diet? I mean,
Yeah,
for
but this
real.
one should
God
be
bless
should
her.
be short
That
and
one.
sweet. There are
She literally would have been reading the Atkins diet book
Yeah.
while eating dinner, going, "Oh, I'm gonna start that tomorrow."
Yeah. My favorite was when she's like, I'm on the grapefruit diet. Shandy. No, you're not. God love you, Katie. God bless her. That was fantastic. Now your day's about Katie.
So there's a couple of guys that I know, just from the bar, just customers that come and go as they do. And somebody, like, apparently we have some leakers at Cobalt because somebody leaked to them that I might be able to help them with some website things. And so now I'm going to build them a little website. They're starting a nonprofit.
You talked about this.
Did I talk about it last
You
week?
talked about this and talked about the fact that you already talked to them about making it. You're the leaker.
Well, I
You're the
know.
leaker.
But today, well, no, but somebody leaked to them that
Yeah.
I could help them with this. And so I sat down and we mapped out some things to start the project.
I thought maybe the current administration was really rubbing off on you for this. You're the leak. You're the problem.
The leaker is complaining about the leakers.
Right.
No. Someone leaked to them that I had that
Alright.
ability.
All right.
You know they
No
make
one-
adult products that can help you with your leakage.
Oh,
Oh.
yes. Very
Well, it depends.
nice, very
It
nice.
depends.
And we can all do kegels while we
nice.
sit here.
I always
Elevator
like
going
that.
up.
As the youngest person
Elevator
at this
going
table,
I don't. Oh,
I'm not
I
concerned.
challenge you on
Oh,
that.
Are you younger than I am?
I'm
Maybe
enjoying
I
this.
don't know.
I'm 38.
I'm 34.
Ah, look at that. Yay,
As-
Grandma.
As the youngest woman at this table,
I thought, yes, young man,
as
but
the
not
youngest,
as young as the other young man.
Biological?
Well, Val, he just disagrees with you.
No, Val.
Val disagrees.
Problem at the office ever since the day she started.
That's true. If you're my competition, I'm still the youngest woman at this table.
Valid point. No.
Probably fastest too.
Yeah.
Because when we're racing, I'll be sitting here.
That's fine.
You win.
And I'm just gonna hook up a camera to watch you.
Spoiler
Ryan.
alert! Yeah. She's probably
God.
gonna win.
Put your money
You
on
do
her.
not. Wait. You do not want to set up that camera to watch me run. Listen.
No, if it was gonna be a runoff between you two, I was gonna set up a camera.
No, because here's what happened to me yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday, not as good as today.
How come she gets 2 days?
Shut up.
Oh, I see.
Because you don't even take a half a day. It doesn't matter.
I know. That's true.
So
Yeah,
yesterday,
that's a good point.
I
You
also
can have my day.
I also go to the gym. It's cardio day. I'm on the treadmill,
Sure.
huffing and puffing like I do.
Totally.
You know, fat
Yep,
kid
yep,
running.
yep.
Oh, this is a cute story.
And the way that the gym's set up is like there's it's like a big it's like gladiator setup, right? And so the spectators are the treadmill people. They're on the outside, and then the front row
Right.
people are the elliptical people right in front of the row of the
very
treadmills,
nice.
right?
Sure.
So every time I'm on a treadmill, I'm looking at somebody's ass that's on an elliptical. Not always an enjoyable experience.
No,
Sure.
Sometimes nice. Not gonna lie, sometimes.
because there's a
it's
little
all right.
creepy crawly up the trail.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're thinking, oh, well.
Celine Dion, pull
Really?
it out. Pull it out.
In any event,
A wedge salad there.
so there I am, huffing and puffing like Fatty McGee on the
please.
treadmill.
I'm appreciative. Yeah.
It's terrible.
No.
There's a woman on the elliptical in front of me. I know, I got something on the mic.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
liked it better when we did accents.
There's a woman directly in front of me on the elliptical who, through the course of this, she gets off of the elliptical and moves away. And then I look over about 5 minutes later and realize that she's just moved 6 machines down.
Oh.
And I feel like I'm the cause because there was no one else in the gym.
Okay.
There was nobody else there
That's 6
on
machines.
any
of,
other machines.
6 machines of not listening to you.
Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Oh.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
She wanted to see where your hands were while you're making that comment.
I'm pretty sure she was like,
Do you
what?
run like this?
First of all, why isn't this boy in school? Second of all,
Why is he staring at my ass?
why is he making that
Oh.
noise while he runs?
You know, that could actually have been a valid thought if in the grand scheme of things, if thought you were a guy
Yep.
and you were behind her, she might have felt like maybe you're You were excited
chasing
over.
her.
That's
I was
right.
sexually
Why
harassing
is this
her.
asthmatic
were.
young man on the treadmill behind me?
He seems to have the Benjamin Button.
I was coming here to meet someone, but not him.
Not-
Wow.
It wasn't my finest moment when I realized that, oh, you moved away from me.
Oh.
Sorry about it, lady.
If I'm in
Maybe
the
it was
gym,
just
none of
a
them are.
different view.
Sure?
Maybe.
Sure.
Was it
Maybe
closer to
that was-
CNN or a TV or
But
something?
maybe
No.
that's how she keeps going on the elliptical. To be
Just
like,
tries them all out.
yeah, exactly. Like
Is that how you
20
do it at
minutes
the
on
Is
this
that how you do it,
one.
Marnie?
it is.
Skip
It
six.
is.
All
I'm
your
like,
time
10
in
more
the
minutes on
gym?
one.
yeah,
Kicks it.
I'm like, I
She
can't.
just walks
I
up. She
kick
just
the
walks
shit
up.
out of things. That's all I do.
I've spent some time with you in the gym, Marnie, and I don't. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I don't remember you actually going through every machine for different view.
Okay, that my surprise face came up when you said you'd been at the gym with Marnie. I was like,
There was a time.
There was a time.
Maybe cut to commercial if you're in the reviewing of that, so you don't see my judgy face.
Got that in post.
Who are we judging here?
There is no post. There'll be no
No,
post.
there will be no post.
We do not clean up anything. The technicals are just part of the fun.
Fair.
About 10 plus years ago, Marnie and I were frequently at a gym.
At a gym. Guy Fieri.
You guys have broken
$59.95.
Al. You finally done it. You've broken Al.
I'm sorry to be so amused by the expression. Marty and I were in the gym. It's like me changing brakes.
Spit coffee in here.
Don't die. No one die.
my
Please,
God.
no one die.
We haven't had an actual spit take in a while.
In a while.
right.
A long
Oh my
time.
God.
All right, I'm
For
done.
real.
Shake it off.
Well, Clayton, when you and
You
I
were
went to
saying-
the gym all the time.
And I was believing. See? It's a give and take.
You and Joey Jacinto, he was training you for the longest time.
That's right.
And I would come over and watch, and then occasionally.
No, I am
There it is.
100% on board.
It all makes sense.
I
all of a
was
sudden.
watching Marty's trainer at the gym.
What was his
Yep.
name again? Hacienda.
Oh, yeah.
Jacinto.
No more
It's-
question
that's
marks.
Al, it's all coming back to
Yeah,
you.
see?
Like a bad Celine Dion song. Oh my God.
Martin, what'd you do?
She signed up for a gym.
And Clayton watches. Wait a minute. That didn't work out as well. I feel. Oh boy. Wait, we skipped Tim.
Oh, what?
What did you do?
What did
this
you
did I
do
do?
this week?
What did I do this week? I've been moving, so it's been clean, and so I've realized that Sisyphus was the one with the rock, right? You
Sure.
push it up and then
Yeah.
back down.
Did
And-
he say
sorry,
Sisyphus?
I'm
I
going
thought he called you a
great.
sissy.
I'm like,
Do you want
so-
me to beat him up? I'll beat
Right
him
to
up.
name
He called you a
call.
sissy.
Settle down there,
Yeah.
Tiger.
Yeah, he called you a
Anyways,
sissy, brother.
Just because you went to school, I don't need your shit on this Sisyphus.
Yes,
I've
it's
been to
Sisyphus with a
okay.
rock.
The true
How did you even know how to spell that? Traditional
Sisyphus?
spelling?
Yes.
some Y's, some PHs.
Yeah.
Okay, and what story is this guy from?
So my he is his great torture is that he has to push a rock to the top of a peak and then it rolls back down and he has to do that every day. It's
an exhausting journey.
It
Yeah.
is, and I realized that moving is essentially the same thing because if you're trying to live in the same place that you move, you've cleaned the bathroom, but inevitably you're going to have to use that bathroom.
Yeah.
And when you do, you have to clean that bathroom again.
Sure.
And so
That's why my house right now is filthy. Cause
Yes.
it's just
I just
gonna-
leave it dirty.
Yeah.
No, fuck it. Also,
They make people that do that.
they make people.
Mary Maids is
So,
a,
so
Well,
apparently,
Sisyphus cleaning
Sisyphus
company.
is the definition of insanity.
no, I just think torture. It
was his punishment. He was punished for his self-aggrandizing craftiness and deceitfulness by the Greek gods by being forced to roll an immense boulder up a hill only to watch it come back down and hit him, repeating this action for eternity.
oh, I can get on board if it's the Greek gods. If it's out of that other fucking book, I'm no.
No. We like the
Clayton's
Greek gods. We
probably
believe in
naked.
them.
Yeah, well, that's true. And Al just saw some of the places they
the-
were pushing rocks.
The biblical Sisyphus?
Different. Yeah, no.
That's Job, right? Wouldn't that be the biblical one?
Yeah.
I've led us astray, I feel, with intellectual.
No, we
No,
learned
this whole
something.
show is astray. That's what this show should have been
So-
called.
so the-
is
No,
led
you
astray.
just confused the shit out
the
of
moving
us.
process, at this point, you're in the clean out, pack, store, and get ready to go, right?
Right. Well, so we take off on Thursday.
Okay.
And the great realization that, if we stay in a hotel, we don't have to keep
We
cleaning
don't have
the
to clean the
bathroom.
bathroom
Yeah,
anymore.
brilliant.
Oh,
like that.
okay, gotcha.
Best
They found the people
$200
that
I
cleaned the
ever
bathroom.
spent.
Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Very
Okay,
nice.
cool. So, and then are you moving
Now, does the hotel have a
yourselves?
bar?
You don't have to clean the glasses either. Then
Is this a self
We do like a
or
bar.
is it being loaded onto a truck and you'll just meet it there?
Well, we have the no. We price that out, and no, thank you.
That's a lot of money, sure.
Yeah.
But U-Haul will rent you a large truck
Sure.
for $200, and
Yeah.
I can make that happen.
That's pretty
Yeah,
much all the
yeah.
moves I've made in my life. I've done it that way, and I don't know why it's just a control thing, but I've always done it that way. But yeah, good times.
do you remember when you saved our life? When we were going to get Carlos stuff in New Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
And you like swerved
Well,
around.
because there were
we
people in
almost
the middle of
died.
the
There
road.
was no two ways about it, and I'm not even lying.
Well, it has nothing to do with his moving story, but I thank you for
No,
reminding
oh
people
my
that
God,
I've saved
just,
lives.
That just, whenever I think about the U-Haul kind of thing.
I hope
oh,
it says that on your business card. Clayton McKee
yeah,
saves
saves
lives.
Saves lives.
No, because of the U-Haul thing.
Now,
Because you had the Hummer and the
Right.
trailer behind
We
us.
we moved somebody
Yeah, we
back from
almost died.
Albuquerque, and we drove in the middle of the night to Albuquerque, and on a long stretch of highway there were no lights of any kind, and there had been a wreck, but there were no
terrifying.
lights
Terrifying.
of anything. So people are literally standing in the middle of the goddamn highway, and we roll up, and like all of a sudden there's just people and a truck and shit, and I had to dodge,
You snap, and that's all he had.
and I'm
That's all
pulling
the
a
time.
15-foot trailer behind me in a big Hummer,
Yeah.
and we just rolled through, and like we passed it, and we both were like, "The fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
Was that the Twilight Zone? Because
Yeah.
where's Rod Serling?
I don't know why they were staying in the middle of in the road, but that was and no lights.
as a point of interest, when you rent the U-Haul truck
Yeah.
and you go through the Arby's and knock out the overhang because
Mm-hmm.
it turns out that thing is the feet.
Yeah,
Did you buy the additional insurance?
I did.
Good.
So I just walked away from that.
here's your
Did they-
truck.
Did they withhold your horsey sauce?
Oh, see.
No, they
make
they
you pay for
just
it.
kind of were like, please tell me you're insured. I'm like, I am, and here's the paperwork.
Very nice.
Oh, does that cover not only a truck, any object you might hit?
We're assuming so. They never found me.
Hey, you've never been back to Arby's.
Yeah, strangely.
Just in case. Just in case.
The chicken sandwich, she ain't what she used to be. Let's just say it.
I like it.
Is that a metaphor? All right.
Do we have a drum roll?
Do I need?
Oh, she knows what she did last week.
I do. I do.
Oh, my God.
I also know what happened today.
Did you buy a car?
No,
Oh well, I'm wrong.
but maybe within this week. Plumbing started getting fixed today.
Yay!
Like nothing.
Not
made me
innuendo.
happier.
She doesn't
Not
mean her lady
innuendo.
business.
No. No,
I already
no.
had those fixed.
She ain't talking about her
I'm
linen.
getting the pipes cleaned out, replaced. Some call it a hysterectomy.
Little DNC.
Exactly. Aaron's
Well,
busy.
Yeah, there you have it. Bitch, get
I'm
to
suddenly
work.
very uncomfortable with this metaphor.
Aaron's busy.
What's
It went awry.
Well, I am awry.
Close I've
Oh,
ever come to getting your name right.
That actually is really true.
We've again been led astray.
Yeah, I just want to point out Tim got it right away. Thank you so much, sir. No, but that started today, and that's huge because that has been a month in. Like,
Sure.
oh my God, I'm so excited.
And Mom's being careful around the crew. She's not tripping over anything.
No. I'm like,
good
stay
boy.
over there.
Yeah.
you
Stay
should
in
just get
that
like a
room.
kitty gate for her and just keep her in an area of the house.
We have one.
I'm
It
sure she'd
wasn't
appreciate
It
that.
wasn't
That's gonna
effective.
go over well.
It wasn't effective like the first day. But it's more about getting the those things that like come in the packaging and you can pop them. The
Bubble wrap?
Bubble
Bubble
wrap
wrap.
stuff. Yeah, that's what she fucking needs.
Just wrap her up.
Just, yeah, just stand there.
Just get a bottle of water and spray her when she goes near him.
Well, I'm just gonna say that.
I'm not going to say it's a bad idea.
Step back. It's not a bad idea. I like it.
What's the thing with the rubber bands?
Oh,
It's called aversion therapy.
Diversion therapy.
You have to call him.
Pays $500 for this rubber band. I don't feel any
Oh,
different.
Lord.
Have you ever seen Sordid Lives, Tim? The movie
Yes,
sort of.
yes,
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Where she's
Funny.
snapping her wrist with a rubber band, trying to quit smoking.
Very,
I picked the wrong week to quit
quit
smoking.
smoking.
If I'd have known Sissy was gonna die.
So yeah,
Your
so
story's
that's
riveting.
exciting. Yeah, typically it's not about you, so you're not sure what to do with it. But yeah, so that is a
Okay,
delight,
so-
and I'm excited.
So that's
Happy
gone.
news.
Now, so in the car thing. So you said you may know by the end of this week. So does it mean you've gone, you've looked, you've done that, even that part? Have you driven something?
I'm going to get it will be a 2018 Super.
You're gonna do another Forester.
No.
Because I saw one in traffic the other day, and they are a little bigger than what you're
They
currently.
are.
They're a
yeah.
little bigger.
Yep, they're a little bit higher off the
Roomy.
ground, so
Yeah.
I'll need a
Step stool to get in.
Right.
Maybe you can get those ramps that just kind of roll out. You open the door and they just comes right out.
Yep, and it's a
People
or
get
I'll
'em for
just
their
get one of
dogs.
those things, it looks like that can opener, like that you had to use to that you used to use on damn it, I had words.
Cans.
Tomato juice, right? Like or pineapple juice, and you do that.
Use can openers
and
on
then-
Oh, then you had to
Right?
open the other side.
Yeah,
Yes.
and now they have
listening.
it. Now they have it. You for a minute. You heard tomato juice. Thought Bloody Mary.
She's not wrong.
Yeah.
Fair point. But now they have them for your car, so that you can either if you do. Like if something, so you can get in and out of your car.
Oh
Yes, I watched
That's
it.
what it
I feel like I
reminds me
just
of
played
every time.
charades with you.
You did kind of. Thanks.
Is it a jackal? Is it a jackal? Is it a jackal?
I'm exhausted.
Two turtle
Anyway, so that's a delight, and I'll be getting one of those.
And what's the estimate on the work, so we can add 3 weeks to it?
The estimate on
Exactly.
the work
The timeline.
for the house.
Yeah.
It will be done in under 5 days.
Holy
that what you
shit!
meant?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Well, I
Oh.
guess if you throw enough money at anything, the crew shows up
Well,
and they
no,
just
they
boom.
were like, it'll be 4 to 5 days, and that's why the concern. Because I had to come up with the half. Writing that check today was interesting. I honest to God made a mistake.
Oh.
I'm like,
Oh yeah. Okay. I was available for hand holding, but that moment passed.
no, that went away because it was like, oh my God,
Right.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, but that's half, and then you have to, weird. They get done with their job, they want the other half.
Yeah.
Tim was told no math.
I know,
Look at-
I know. Trust me.
Look how sad he is now.
Sad
Anyway,
Tim.
so
Yes.
in 5 days, I have to write another
Yeah.
check about that size. So it
Or 2 weeks, depending on how it goes.
Sure.
if they take more time, then that's better for me.
Like
But-
contractors, they'll inexplicably just disappear for 3-4 days.
Good.
You have no phone call, no nothing.
Check the bar.
Check the bar. That's a good call.
That's
Anyway,
where I
so
always
I'm
was when I
I'm
disappeared
so
as a
excited.
contractor.
Oh
Those
yeah.
guys are
Just be on
on
the other.
it, and
Even though it's a horrible amount of money and everything, just be on the other side of
Right.
plumbing issues.
yeah, I'm just
Both personal and
all of it.
homeowner. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I know our business.
I
true.
had, shit, I had to start.
I got my own gynecologist. We don't swap stories.
How's your plumbing?
You're gonna feel a slight pressure.
Kate,
True
she
story.
hates it when I bring up my gynecologist.
I don't mind the swelling, but I hate the itching.
There's a salve for that.
A talc, a balm, an ointment, any of those things will work.
There's a there was someone I worked with who on their desk had like Gold Bond powder and some kind of lotion, and one of the managers
making
walked by
paste?
and she goes, "Sometimes you just know too much about your coworkers." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's when it's time to bring the backpack."
Sure. Yeah.
Hide
Yeah,
that.
for real.
Hide all
Could you
that.
keep that in your desk drawer?
Yeah, no, because it's all of our desk drawer. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Or it's like-
I understand.
We switch, switch aside.
That's Val.
No.
It's like, that's Val. Don't shake her hand.
Yeah, don't shake her hand.
Just wave. She's a waver.
She's a waiver.
She's a waver. Don't you be shaking her hands now.
Oh wait, I gotta write this down. Quick, wait.
I love it.
What? Don't wave at people?
No.
No.
Something you'd think about.
No, I thought about something for
Whose day are
thought
we
for
on?
vulgarity.
Okay.
Oh,
ahead.
Amina, if only we knew. I think it's Al's, except he made his day,
Whose
Cat's
day?
day, my day.
Well, we've
Shay's
done-
day.
Shut the fuck
What?
up.
What are you
Well, I
worried?
did nothing, so I had to go with your lives because I've worked.
Do the days pass differently in Kenya? I don't know. Does it matter?
She's just lost track of whose story we're
We
on.
started at 7 o'clock. We started 40 minutes ago, and we've just
Oh,
not
math
got
aside.
around the
If
table
the
yet.
train
Not
leaves
completely.
Phoenix.
Oh,
So-
that's an
Right, if
awful
the train
problem.
leaves
Yeah.
Kenya and Phoenix at the same time,
I love when he yells at the message board like it's a person.
she can hear it. She
It
knows.
is.
Well, it's currently 10 persons.
Yeah.
So
I feel good about it.
sorry, folks.
Okay, so did nothing this week but work.
Good girl.
Very nice.
That was it. The end.
Well, after last week's
right.
45-minute dissertation about the Greek Isles,
Oh, and talk about pluses and minuses.
It's a cumulative average. No, you're
Exactly.
fine. You're fine.
I'm sure you'll make up for it later on the
Days
show.
on the Riviera, days at work. So,
it.
super
Well,
fucking tired.
Would you like to tell a little story? There's a little story I'd like to know more about. You had to write on the chalkboard multiple times that I will not scream in patients' rooms. What happened?
Yeah, what was that about?
Not, and again, for clarity, not at a patient, but just in the room.
Yeah, and it was twice. So
You were watching the Tonys.
day 1 or 2. No, day 1, because I worked with the nurse again last night. Something came disconnected that had blood in it, and the blood kind of flew.
Oh, yeah.
And then I tried to keep the blood from going somewhere else and made a very, very bad choice of like how to get a protective gown off. And I don't think I'm going to be in any instructional videos because it just went right in my face.
Oh.
And I went full Carrie at the prom.
Oh, God.
And that was a legitimate, like, what is going on? And like trying to like get to the sink with my eyes closed.
oh, Hannibal
Fun
just had a
times.
heart
Fun
attack.
times. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Hannibal
Had
the
lunch
cat,
right
yeah.
after.
Yeah, right?
But then the other day, there was not a malfunction, but just a
Fantastic.
slight zigging and zagging
Oh.
of different things, and we thought something very important got dislodged because there was a popping noise.
In
and
you?
Just in general.
Okay, all right.
Talking
And
about a
so
patient's hip here.
I went like, oh, shit! Now, the fun part was is I was in the room with 2 women. So I was never accused of the screams.
Well played.
And it turned out to be nothing. It was just a noise.
Okay.
But it just had a noise. It made a sound like something else.
Something terribly wrong had happened.
And something did kind of go awry just prior. So I was kind of like panicking. And
All right.
But that shit was very dramatic, and someone said they shit their pants, and I peed a little bit, and
Did it wake someone out of a
then
coma?
later
Ooh.
I was, was taking a break and sitting down and collecting my thoughts and trying to think about where else I can work, and so I did that thing with it. I did
What if the construction crew on the new tower's hiring?
Exactly. Then I realized those fuckers have to walk 18 stories. If they're working on the top story, the elevator's not built yet.
No.
Those fuckers are their little lunch coolers. They have to walk up because we're on the 12th floor, so we can,
But every day you could reenact the village people.
there's some cuties over there too.
Okay.
And trust me,
I'll come visit.
there's some good
Young
visiting.
man.
I
There's
was
no
once
need to feel down.
I was once in your shoes.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, young man. Well, maybe not your shoes, but so.
Not yours.
Just because I have small feet.
So as I wrote that, and everyone was sitting around, and they're like, "All right, what was the Facebook post about? What did you do?" And I was telling the story, and 2 different people were like, "Oh, we thought that was," and her name's Taguba. They were like, "We thought that was Taguba," and I'm like, "Well, me, Filipino woman, could go either." I sense your confusion.
Write down Filipinos.
They're gone. Yep.
They love me. They love me. I work with all
I
of
don't
them.
think that they do
We
at all.
might.
But it was just
They
funny. And
bigly
she was,
love you.
and she's very quiet.
How many sheets deep do you have to flip
yeah,
to
yeah.
get to the list of people we've offended?
They love me. So
Oh.
that was it. So that was it was funny, and it lightened the mood for the morning.
For the morning shift.
And we got nothing accomplished because we all just sat there and laughed for like 20 minutes. Then finally we're like, all right, we should probably talk about our job and get somebody home and somebody to work. But that was the excitement.
Okay.
So from pictures of castles to screaming and blood in the face. So good times.
Nice.
Well,
Wow.
it's a give and take.
Yeah.
You deal with one to get to the other,
Take
and you figure out which way that's going.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the week of past is terribly exciting for me. I did after a couple weeks of not visiting my mom and texting and talked to her. I just hadn't seen her. Rolled up, and then mom had done. She's in preparation for her younger sister coming to visit. She does annually. Susie coming to visit.
Has it been a year already?
Well,
Yeah, she didn't.
August?
She came last year, but she didn't come the year before. So she's come like in July or August.
Yeah,
She'll come out.
yeah.
We just haven't got the exact date yet. So Mom's pretty funny because she had new air conditioning installed and the pool has been redone and all this kind of stuff. So she said that she sent her sister a text saying that the accommodations have been upgraded and the fee is going to be slightly higher this year. Well, when I get there, she's got she bought two new inflatable air mattresses, and they're deluxe because they've got the drink holder built right in.
I like
Love
that.
it.
So she
That's
wanted
just good planning.
Yep.
she wanted me to bring
It's a thinker.
one of my air tanks to fill it up. So
She's a thinker.
I ran to Home Depot
just
and
a
got
hat rack.
got an inflator, a little power, because nobody is going to blow up an air mattress. We're not lying.
no.
I don't care how good. I'm not breathing that well. And
No.
this young man's huffing on a I almost said windmill, a treadmill at the.
True.
The
I'm
fitness
huffing
center.
and
Ask the
puffing on that
lady.
windmill.
Yeah, ask that lady.
So I had to run, get her inflator. So we got it all hooked up and inflated the little sucker. Immediately she took off. It cracked me up, Mom. And if you're listening, I know you are. It was so funny. She was so excited with the new air mattress that she picked it up like a 5-year-old would, and she started making a beeline for the door, hitting every table and chair and wall, and it was just cracking me up. And I'm like, hang on.
That's
I grabbed
fantastic.
one end of it, and I just opened the door, and then we went out together in a
Orderly fashion.
orderly. But I'm like, oh my god, it was cracking me up because she was so excited to get it in the water. It was just funny
That's
to me.
fun. I
So
love
got
it.
it in the water. It floated. I mean, I think that was
And
part
it
of the.
seemed like it was a beautiful day today. Like, I feel like it's not that hot.
It was a really good.
Oh,
cool
it's our
day today.
it's our cooling trend right now before we get to 117 in a couple days.
Hey, the fact that there's a cooling trend in June, that's
June.
a new
That's
experience.
new.
So anyway, so that was part of what my weekend was, and then of course, if you follow me on the Facebooks or our page, you probably saw this picture already. But on Friday is when this all started. This is the picture. This is the picture that we took Tim when I met Tim, who was here in studio with us. That's outside of Stacy's on last Friday night. And did you guys come there to watch Drag Race, or was it just odd that you happened to be there?
We were just stopping by to have kind of last drinks with friends.
Okay.
In town.
I love it.
And you looked like a quite capable individual who could maybe take my picture, mostly sober.
Yeah.
You know, good
Yeah.
thing. And so
That
and then-
early at 9:00
and-
on a
oh, yeah.
Friday.
And my husband, who's older than I am, is familiar with you. And so
Wait,
I feel like that was written by a press secretary.
that's not usually
Wait a
how.
minute.
That's my new
Some thoughts
favorite
and
thing.
words
That's
have been
usually not how I
redacted.
roll, Tim.
I'm just
Right.
trying to figure
So-
out
so-
who. Wait, I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah.
who Tim's trying not to piss off, Clayton McKee or his husband.
you
Could
know,
go either way.
It's wise to keep
It's
all
right.
parties happy.
I like Tim's brilliant.
yes.
I
Kara,
love that.
careful there, Sarah Huckabee.
Don't run out of the room.
Sanders,
Spicy.
Huckabee
Mistakes were
Sanders.
made. No. So he whispers in my ear, "Hey Tim, do you know who that is?" And your voice clicked right away, and it was like, "Oh, cool! Wow!"
I was
Yes.
hoping your retort to him was, I don't know, some fat middle-aged white guy. I don't know who the hell it is. But you figured, okay. So you didn't realize that at first. I
No.
thought for sure you had.
The hat threw me.
Well, yeah, because I didn't do my hair.
Sure.
Does your husband casually refer to him as fucking Clayton McKee?
No,
That is a lot of
No.
people do.
Because that title really precedes his name a lot.
but
We say that.
That asshole, comma,
Clayton
Clayton
McKee.
McKee. Parenthetically. Asshole.
That's great.
Charmer, though. God damn it. I'm a charmer.
Absolutely.
Look at that smile.
That's,
And
so,
I offered, just to interject through all this with the photo taking.
Please do.
I interjected or tried to stop somebody from taking a selfie and offered to take their picture, and they were like, "No, I want it to be a selfie." And I was like,
yeah, why is that a thing now?
"Really? Like that's your option?"
Because I know my good side. You don't.
well, no, but there was
But if you point me towards the right
Optimal
direction,
angle is
With
right
the-
here.
that's true. I was
with the group of all four of them to take a decent picture. Nobody's arm was long enough to
Right.
take that picture, so I took it.
Yeah.
Certainly not
like
these.
it.
And I
stupid
wish,
things.
if actually, do me a favor. Do you have that picture on your phone?
I do.
Shoot it to me. I don't think I have the picture of just you and I, but I don't think I have the picture of the four of you together.
Okay.
Shoot that to me right quick in Messenger, and I will show people how quality photo I took.
Or you could introduce it as a way to.
Holiday.
We could see his husband.
Well, we could do that too. Now,
we could go one of two ways.
two.
here.
Sure.
We're doing two things. We're doing two things.
I feel like we should have company more often because it really points out how narcissistic we really are.
There's an
Tim,
element.
send me that lovely picture of you and your husband and your friends because I want people to see what a good photographer I
I know
am.
exactly who we could. I know somebody we could get over here and see how narcissistic that would work out. We're just
Who are
talking
you
about him
threatening me with?
pre-show. You've been blocked by them.
Oh my gosh, that would be wonderful.
No, it would
Let's
not.
do that.
No, it would be a horrible show.
We would never be able to broadcast that show.
Right,
But that'd
like-
be a really good time.
Like the Stacey Lewis show about being anti-Semitic. That would be a great one. Oh, for God's sake.
Come for the medicine, stay for the screaming nurses. I love it.
All right, hang on. Let me get
Look at
to-
that. We made it through that part in under a day.
Well,
Let's see. That's lovely. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. My gosh.
I'm a time saver.
You know, Amina,
You are.
I feel like that's a little bit long for a tagline for Al because so far I've got Clayton McKee saves lives. Kat Carlson gets shit done.
Oh.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
don't forget Charmer. Charmer.
Saves lives. I got you. No.
Fuck you. You
Turns out-
spelled bar wrong.
Yeah. The committee rejected Charmer. Almost immediately.
Okay, now Tim, if you would please tell us who is in this picture. Aside from you, we
yeah.
recognize you.
So if we go right to left,
Okay.
that's me, of course.
Okay.
My husband Jimmy, and then these are our
with
friends.
the safety belt on.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
got it.
So,
I love it.
Safety
there's a
first.
story about that. so my
Is he
dear
strapped in?
husband, I love him so much.
It's good to say in public
yes,
settings
yes,
like this. Yeah, I
absolutely.
understand.
Also, prior to
Fair.
a move, it's also
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
to make
no
sure you're
aid.
committed.
Oh,
Super
the-
smart.
I mean, no, that is a true thing. That the strength. It is quite the test of the strength of any relationship, but even ones that you would consider particularly strong.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know it broke
Yeah.
one for me.
But so
Well, we got back together. It's fine.
All charges were dropped.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, anyways, the other two people are our friends, Nick and Bill, and they're super good guys, really fun.
And I don't recognize your husband. I don't know why he would have known me, but
So,
do I know him? I'm gonna feel worse if I know him.
I think from bar days, just
Okay.
you hosting a lot of things.
Aren't
Sure.
they
Also,
all bar days?
How are we spelling
yeah,
days?
fair enough.
Could you narrow that down?
Wasted days and wasted nights.
They've been bar decades.
Right.
Yeah.
Possibly the mid '90s. I
Okay,
don't know.
yeah.
But one of our friends, I think, was your roommate. Oh
my God.
Quentin.
Quentin Rinker?
Yeah.
Holy God, the Q. You remember
Yeah.
Q?
Yes, so that
Yeah.
goes back a little
Wow,
bit.
Quentin Rinker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I was a roommate with him, but we lived behind the Five and Diner on 16th Street in that apartment complex. That's when I lived with Quentin.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say because that was a
We
while
got rid of
ago.
the roommate he had, and we actually hated him so much, and he wouldn't move out. We actually put his dog on a plane and shipped it to his mother.
Oh my.
Yeah, the dog was not harmed, but I mean, like
That's back when you could do that. You can't ship dogs anymore.
As long as the
been
dog
23
is
years ago.
inside the plane, because if it was on the outside, you could run, as a Republican candidate.
only if your name
Valid.
is Mitt.
Yeah.
Right? I like it. That's very.
Is it sad that
Mitt.
Okay,
I
so
miss him?
wow,
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Full circle. So Quentin, yes, I very much. I haven't seen Quentin in a long time. We are still connected via the Facebooks and Mickey Montanez.
Yes, yeah. I think he said Mickey was probably the one that would say fucking Clayton McKee.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Absolutely, Mickey would. Sure. Yeah.
So-
Wow. And mom remembers Quentin. She hasn't seen him in years either, but absolutely. Well,
Tucson Quentin?
and no. You would not. You probably wouldn't have remembered Quentin. White kid. I lived with him in the apartments behind Five and Diner, and this is back when I worked at Winks. And I mean, he and Mickey were part of the Winks crowd, and they were always there for karaoke as well.
What's his last name?
Rinker, Rinker.
Thank God for
Everybody
Facebook.
look him up, would you please? Because I'm just going to give out. Next is his phone number.
Okay.
Get a pen and pad.
I'm gonna go friend request him.
No, Quentin Rinker.
No, why not?
Why not?
It'll just confuse him.
Well, I'll be amused if I'm already friends with him.
Okay.
You probably aren't. Anywho,
I checked that too.
So that's cool. I did not realize that. Okay, I just been around forever. Well, how does he not know
You're
this
a
one?
staple of the community.
I am the community.
I do know him.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I know.
He's
Yeah.
the governor.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, I'm glad he remembered and pointed out, because this connection would not have been made. I guess.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, I had thought of, okay, what kind of stuff do I want to do before I leave? So we've been going on an Arizona food tour. We had brunch at the Hotel Congress in Tucson, and
Oh, fun. Yeah.
all these different things. And it was like, it would be really cool if I could, just listen in to the recording session of the show. And but I don't know them. I don't know. It'd be weird to contact out of nowhere And
just so
the
happened-
universe brings things
I liked
together
it.
sometimes.
Wow.
I think it's great. Now we have Meow wanting to know, Meow Cal, if there's going to be.
There is a lottery that we do for
yeah.
tickets to get in
No,
to see
no.
us.
That's what I was wondering.
Well, we did do one live show in front of an audience.
Please
Yeah,
send
God in
$100 and a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Care of.
Write your name on the back of a five $20 bills. Send them in.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Small bills, non-sequential.
Non-sequential.
We will
Exactly.
perform The Money Kept Rolling In from Evita every time the ballot
Exactly.
comes in.
And the money got rolling in.
I love that screeches. No, it has to be the actual sound. We can't go with the name. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
There you go.
God,
Did that come out of you?
Yes.
Oh, very impressive.
That
Wow.
was something.
And lifelike.
Oh,
It's like my twin.
Thanks, Val.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
God.
the sound effects guy from Prairie Home Companion.
there you go.
Not nearly as talented as that. That guy had it going. Oh, do you not miss? It's because it's no longer played locally. Well, actually, when Garrison left, it changed everything to me. But
too.
her girlfriend absolutely despises that show,
The singing.
the singing, and I was charmed by the whole damn
How
show.
could she
lovely.
hate singing?
I
It's like
love
how
the-
you hate dancing. I don't
The
understand.
ketchup council, and all of the different stupid
That singing.
stories.
Yeah.
But I loved all of it, and I love the stories from Lake Would Be Gone. I just love to listen to them.
Absolutely.
I miss it. Oh God, bringing back the memories now.
Hey,
Oh my
Grandma.
God! Like we've been a goddamn hour already.
It's good.
It's exciting for all of us.
We were
Terribly
just bragging
exciting.
about being under time.
Yeah, I know it.
No,
Well, now we're on time.
Good work.
no, we're not. No, fuck that.
Oh,
What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little dance break because we can.
Sure.
We're gonna come back. Al's gonna give us our drinking word in just gay moments because that is how we roll. And then I think we're gonna be able to do a little what do you call it? Headlines with
Headlines.
Marnie if she's got her shit together.
wow. I
Actually,
don't want to talk about it.
I'm just adding words to what I'm saying because I didn't have my shit together in order to get this all done and put up together. So now I do. Here we go. We'll be back right after this. It's Q Talk America.
It's enough for today. Spicy's gonna go bye-bye right now. I need a big boy nap.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
If you think it sucked so far, just wait till after this 30-second dance break.
Well, the squirrels are back in the attic. Your dad won't call an exterminator. He says it's personal this time. Where are you? It's very loud there. Are you taking a Zumba class?
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
What?
Gesundheit. Okay, now what's the word?
What the hell is
Bless you. Now what's the word?
I don't know. Sisyphus. Sisyphus.
I've turned it into onomatopoeia, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm in.
Oh God. Okay,
Godmother.
Sisyphus. I guess that's how it's
I
gonna
feel
be-
like I'm just gonna turn it into like a scathing, derogatory name. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it's just gonna become a slur.
Yeah, I feel that's
Listen
appropriate.
here, Sisyphus.
It's,
I
yeah,
like
it's
it.
all how you use it.
Yeah, I like it.
Sisyphus the fuck down.
I Sisyphus the
Ooh.
fuck out of her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I Sisyphus the fuck out of her.
Whatever. You don't know.
My.
That's what
You
she
don't know.
said.
You don't know.
You know,
A
you
little
get-
bit
Marnie, you've
Greek
come a
myth,
long way.
A
I
little
know,
bit
right?
oral sex technique. It's all
I
good.
used to crawl
We're on
under
the Isle of
table with
Lesbos
all
all
this
of a
stuff.
sudden.
I got
We
it.
haven't had any topic of lesbian bed death in a long time.
In
So
honor
Have
of
you
Wonder
ever seen
Woman
that
Day.
her feminine and her Sisyphus.
Well, speaking of that, I got to make sure that Harrison is up for seeing that this weekend because I saved it for her. So
Oh, well, if not, you'll figure something else out. Marnie, ready to pull this off?
Perhaps.
Okay, I got faith in you.
I'm
We'll
going
see.
to-
All right, here we go. Headlines, boys and girls, coming at you live and in person. It's Q Talk America, show 308. This is the 13th of June, 2017. Good luck. Man who ate 7-Eleven opens an alternative.
Prawn mistakes.
You can now get 45's voice on your GPS.
Astoria for Meow Cow.
The lawn must be mowed.
5 cool facts for LGBTQ.
It's for school, officer.
There's going to be a rat cafe.
And dog poop dispute ends with an injury and jail time. These and more accurate stories coming to you right now. It's Q Talk America. Hold your wig and keys.
I have a question.
You can, yes.
Did you have to rehearse saying dog poop dispute? Because it feels like it's hard to say.
Dog poop dispute.
unique.
Aluminum linoleum. Aluminum linoleum.
No, I didn't.
I forgot what the second word was. Dog poop. What?
Dog poop dispute.
Oh yes.
Oh, now I can see it, but I didn't. No, I just read it right off the
Struck
prompter.
me as hard to say.
Didn't go
so-
European on her at all.
No. Well, how would you Europie that?
A little bit of Sisyphus.
Sisyphus.
Sisyphus and a lack of. Oh, I feel like they're introducing themselves to each other.
know
What are you,
what's going-
girlfriends now?
What?
They're matching up their grinder accounts.
I feel like it's,
I'm swiping left. I don't know. which
she's
way to
teaching him how to
swipe
use
now.
Grinder. He's married.
Making sure they're not going up the same people.
I don't think they're going to be doing it at all. I think it's like the Genius Bar at the Apple Store down there. They're trying to figure out
Well,
some
Marnie's
shit.
been often enough, so
Yeah,
she could probably teach a lesson.
To what?
It's like the Genius Bar at the Apple Store down
Oh,
there.
no
Yeah,
shit.
you probably know the routine over there by now.
Oh,
All
my
right,
God.
go ahead with your story, sir or ma'am.
Wait, Amina, my screech sounds like a newly hatched dinosaur.
It
I
was
just
Well, it
realized
kind
reminiscent.
of did. No, it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or a pterodactyl. That's what I always like to think of it as.
No one likes to be imitated.
Every time somebody says pterodactyl, I can't help it. I have to make that noise.
Oh, all right. Well, if you can't join them, beat them. Seems to be the philosophy of a former 7-Eleven owner in Boston, Massachusetts. A gentleman by the name of Abu Massa is so angry with the convenience store chain that he's made it his mission to compete with them directly. Musa told the Boston Globe, "My goal is to get them to close." Massa recently opened his own convenience store called the 612. As opposed to the 7-Eleven that offers many of the same items that 7-Eleven does, but specifically not hot food. That's because the chain's policy towards hot food is the issue that got Massa all hot under the collar to begin with. Massa said 7-Eleven corporate offices demanded he offer hot dogs, taquitos, and pizza, all tasty products from the 7-Eleven, at his
I love a
franchise,
taquito.
even though he says they didn't sell. He told the Globe that there were days that he just simply threw out hundreds of dollars worth of food that didn't sell, but he had no other choice because that's what his corporate instructions were to do. He says whenever they want, start over. This is hard to say. The other one was easy. This is hard. Whenever they want, they can bring into the store. We have no option, no choice but to accept it. Musa told CBS Boston because they said, you signed the paperwork, you have to do it. He said that the contention over hot foods led to other conflicts with a legal battle over Massa's franchise rights. Ultimately, he settled out of court, according to the station, but instead of going gently into the good night, Massa decided to piss them off and go with 612, his store directly across the street from his old location, which is still open under new management.
You just gotta hope that somebody walks in and goes, I needed a hot dog.
Well, he says a lot of the customers from his 7-Eleven days have actually come right over to his store because they're on his side for the fight. But he says that he knows the price of everything in the other store, so he sells all the exact same items cheaper, which is making everybody come to him, with the exception of hot food.
There you go.
At time of press, 7-Eleven corporate offices had been reached out to but had not commented.
I'm trying to think if I've ever sampled anything from the hot food section of a Circle K.
Oh, I have.
Slash
How do you
7-Eleven.
think I know the taquitos are fucking delicious?
I enjoy the hot dogs they have there because they've got the big ones like for the promotion for the Diamondbacks. They'd have like the Diamondbacks
Size
dogs.
queens. Always back to that.
No, it's not.
And they stick them on those rollers.
The
They
rollers.
slow cook them for a good 8 to 14 hours before you
Days.
get to
days.
Because according to Musa, they're not moving. They're not moving like they used to.
Musa and squirrel.
If you want a luxurious
Oh.
convenience store food experience, though, Quick Trip is the way to go.
Now
I
I've
do
heard-
enjoy the
I've
quick
heard
trips.
this.
I do enjoy the quick trips. Yeah.
I guess I've just heard of restaurants recently. So
As it turns out, Quick Trip also pays their employees better than anybody
They
else.
do.
Yeah.
They offer benefits that no one else does.
Also,
and
like the
full-time
Starbucks
jobs to
of
their
that.
and they're
employees. Yeah.
on their goddamn game because
Yep.
usually when you walk in, like the one down here on Indian School, like about third, fourth, whatever it is, there's like 5 people at any time on staff, and like you're in and out. They don't
Yep.
want you lingering.
Turn and
They-
burn.
Well, they want it to be literally a quick
how do you
trip.
make your money? Volume.
Quick trip. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Volume.
Now,
Location.
now,
location.
do we believe the 7-Eleven business was like their original hours? How'd this name come up?
I have no idea what 7-Eleven. Look at her googling.
Because I feel like
Even as we speak.
right, that's got to be like the hours they were boasting.
Don't
Maybe
know.
I don't get it.
Don't know, but they were always part of the MDA telethon with Jerry Lewis.
Took me 50 years and 1 month to ask this question. Duh.
It's
fuck.
an interesting time right now. Stand by.
How did 7-Eleven
How
get
lucky
this?
we are to be alive right now.
Look around. Look
Margarine? Anything?
Anyway.
Your first story.
I can't believe it's not butter.
around. Parquet.
Delightful woman and delicious
Is that
bread.
right? Is that right?
Oh god.
Well, wait, delightful woman,
And a
delicious,
delicious
pride.
spread. Hopefully not at
Careful.
the same time.
Those are the bells of
That's
innuendo.
the panties the day you're wearing today, isn't it?
Help. Oh, send help.
Marnie, it's too late.
That's a good call.
No
They
one's
watch
sick.
it on delay.
Why
Your
I
proof
sit
of life
closest
video
to
is
the
not going to
door.
help. By the time some of the listeners hear this, she'll be long gone.
Just hold up the day's paper
know, right?
so we can prove you're alive.
So, prawn.
Shrimp.
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 Queer.
Or
I mean, I thought we were just calling each other names. Did I misunderstand the game?
That was such a wonderful volley on Will and Grace.
Shrimp queer. I thought we were $25,000 pyramid shit.
I gotta
God.
find that right quick.
Syphilis. What's the word?
Sisyphus.
Sassafras.
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 Susan Sarandon.
Oh my God.
So,
Do you want to know about 7-Eleven now?
go ahead. I like it. Go ahead.
Well, can't we get rid of her story first?
No, I
Go
timed
ahead.
that for right when she started.
That was
I've
nice.
been sitting on it.
Go ahead.
So 7-Elevens were originally called totems.
But I'm sure there's a group of people protesting that
Mildly
shit.
racist, but also
Also sounds like
indicating
scrotums.
that the things that you bought, you should tote them on home.
Oh, the danger of
Oh.
homonyms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Protesters be gone.
They also have a big fucking totem pole on
yeah.
them, making the tea over here.
So close.
And then,
Oh.
in 1946, the totem's name changed to 7-Eleven to reflect the store's new extended hours, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Look at you, winner,
7
chicken
days
dinner.
a
I mean,
week.
there's got to be some because it's not like.
How did they go to 24 though?
Well, I think it's not really a convenience store if you're open the same hours
Well,
as a grocery
there's
store.
got what, but
not
what year?
convenient at
What
all.
year did they get convenient?
I know.
Stand by.
I
let's
feel like
ship
in
you
our
a
lifetime.
regular
I
story.
feel like in our lifetime.
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
I
that-
don't. Yeah. But we had we I think we had 7-Eleven and Wilson Farms is the one where I'm from.
And,
Okay.
and it's regional. Not all of them are still 24 hours.
Okay.
They close in Pennsylvania because of the Amish.
Right.
Wagon crossing.
And in Utah because of the Mormons.
1963.
Oh my
The store
gosh.
started keeping its doors open forever.
I did not realize that.
Remember that time they closed the
and
Denny's for Thanksgiving and they had to buy locks? They let their employees, they let the slaves out and have a day off. And
Massa.
Denny's didn't have locks on the doors. They had to retrofit.
I've always thought that was funny. Why are there locks on a 7-Eleven?
Well, that's in case something bad happens.
Well, I
right?
get-
Yeah.
Denny's aren't the site of many shootings, but
Oh, what?
No, but
now
there-
you
But a
get
lot
it.
of nutritional injustice.
do you remember all the stories about that, about having to retrofit?
I remember hearing something, probably
Yeah,
from you.
I found that was very clever.
What are we
Go
doing?
ahead.
Marnie's in the
I'm
middle of a
just-
story.
We're waiting on you.
Well, this isn't
You weren't so
Meow Cal's
slow.
story, but it's about the Kofifi.
Oh,
Oh.
Kind of.
Okay.
All right.
So in 2017, we were giving gifts in the form of incoherent tweets from our president and, insights from porn purveyor Pornhub.
Pornhub.
Sure.
The website released a glorious infographic that I had sent to you, Clayton. I don't know if you were able.
I'm sorry.
That's
I was busy
okay.
looking at
No,
Will
no,
and
no.
Grace quotes.
That's okay.
I'll get it.
The website released a glorious infographic that details America's most frequently misspelled pornographic search terms by state.
That map. I already had that.
Oh, did you?
No, I had that.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
So Pornhub rolled out these stats at a request as a response to Donald Trump's Kofifi tweet. And naturally, Pornhub's announcement led to this joke, which was, man, it's difficult to type with one hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? However,
Why are the buttons sticky?
Yeah. One person says they masturbate on their computer. The other one says they play solitaire.
Right.
Are we at the same place?
I don't know.
All true.
Right.
All true.
Yeah. However, the most and also the least shocking find in the infographic is that the basic word porn is extremely hard. No, sorry. What do people often type instead? Porn.
This is these are all the states. You may recognize the map.
Wow, porn is very popular.
Now, keep in mind, this is not Meowcal's map.
So
of
this
course.
is not accurate. Further
It's
South
not
Dakota
accurate.
is
No,
not.
No, it's not.
So the N and the M really throw some people.
It really does.
And one almost spelled
Especially-
lesion.
Well, but if you're typing one-handed, we'll assume most people are right-handed. The M is farther over than the N, so you have to reach a little farther to get to that end.
Let's look at some irony here.
Yep, yep.
You had to type Pornhub to get there to
There
begin
you go.
with.
Sure.
So now you just can't fight. You can't. Once you get in it, you're so excited you can't type porn.
Yeah, that's all. Then your hands
Right.
checked out.
As soon as
You're all
that
done.
website
Got work to
loads
do.
right up,
Yep.
Yes.
You know,
A mouse isn't going to touch
work,
itself.
Work.
Well, the Urban Dictionary, the top definition is porn.
Oh,
Top
okay.
definition. You meant to search porn, but you made a typo and searched porn on Google.
I like that it's got the correct terms in the right. Like we couldn't
Right,
figure out
exactly,
what
yeah.
lesbian was.
I'm a little concerned with the last one that says stepmom.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We did. Well,
Okay, I'm upset in like 8 different ways. First off, how did they misspell it? And then why were they trying to spell that?
Yeah.
And what state is it? So many
Minnesota.
questions.
Oh, we got
Minnesota.
Filipino.
Oh,
Oh, and
stepmom.
Asian.
Oh, no,
Oh.
that could have been Jamaican porn
Oh,
about stairs.
stepmon.
Stepmon, yeah.
Oh, stepmon.
Does it say caution under Michigan? Because that seems fair.
Carton.
What the hell's henty?
What's henty and why is it so popular in that?
Google
Because-
hentai. I looked at
yeah.
it too. I forgot
Way
what
to,
the
way
definition.
to go, Wisconsin.
Hentai isn't that Jap animation porn?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
You
Way to
have
go, Wisconsin.
Spell that
coming
right.
out of all sorts of places.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
need to watch cartoons doing it. I don't want to put real people out of work.
Well,
animators
Al,
can
make
animate
someone
anything.
great again.
So what
Al,
I'm
as
noticing.
an entertainment person, you should understand that the effects budget would be enormous.
It's true.
Well, I love that it looks like Indiana Miffle is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
Also
took away our
Utah.
map.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Is that-
MILF.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Supposed to be-
Go to the
Salt
far
Lake,
right.
or Utah.
They're
Pardon me.
yeah.
Wait,
What the hell is it
or I'm
supposed
sorry,
to be if it
not
wasn't
MILF. I
MILF?
meant Nevada.
No, that's
MILF.
Ohio.
It's not on the list. Porn,
No, they didn't put that as the correct term.
Ohio has Miffle
ebony,
and Nevada.
amateur,
so does Nevada,
compilation, Filipino, Asia. What?
They're just going for MILF.
MILF.
But why is the correct term not listed on the right? I
Because
have
I
don't know.
trusted
It
you
may be
to figure it
cropped.
out.
Yeah.
Oh well, obviously in was it Louisiana?
I needed a guide for lesbian, but MILF I'm okay with.
They're just playing the odds.
You don't know. You can't prove it.
And who'd have thought that Filipino would be real big out in Hawaii?
Imagine.
Well,
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Super weird.
But
ebony
amateur
in
Couldn't you just
Florida,
type? Couldn't you
right?
just type cousin? I mean,
That's a whole different kind of porn.
Yeah.
It's a different genre.
Yeah, I thought that there's a
Hentai
lot
is
of
straight, isn't it? Oh.
lots of stuff going on.
And she spelled porn wrong in the room, or he did. Hi, Anant. What is
Yaoi.
Yaoi?
So Yaoi is.
Does that mean it hurts?
we picked a
Yeah.
good week. We picked a good week
That's
for you
a-
to come in. Apparently,
That's a big one.
Yowie!
That's
Get
one
the
big.
henty
That's
out of
one
here.
big totem you brought to the 7-Eleven.
Open 24 hours.
Take it home.
Yeah, take that home.
Do not take this as any indication of my proclivities.
Yeah.
But Yaoi
Too
is,
late.
Yeah.
is,
No,
we're
is
judging
like
you.
basically
Judged.
young twink porn, Japanese twink porn, but made for
So there's no hair anywhere on
comic
anybody.
Book, comic book.
Oh,
right?
comic book.
Comic
Yeah.
book.
Sorry.
Of
Right down.
of like Japanese twinks, but I believe it's made for straight women. Because that's the
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, we're gonna need one of your diagrams on that
diagram.
Somebody's gonna have to draw that. Also,
by.
no car fuckers. That is true. That is very true.
one.
We're gonna diagram
So-
this in
There
green.
is
Thank you
hope
for
for the
that.
nation.
Gay
Yeah.
Japanese
Maybe.
twink porn in
Yeah.
cartoon
So-
form made for
Wait,
women.
so imagine this. Imagine this.
Draw that up.
Too late.
Yeah.
Twilight, right? If Jacob
It's
and
boy
Edward
romance.
got together.
Nero says.
And Edward was Japanese.
Yeah. Well, if they were both Japanese
Well,
and it was a
yeah.
comic book.
And again, but
Yeah.
still read by the same people.
Yes.
Because that is, okay.
Yeah.
What I'm really getting out of this whole story is that some people are very specific.
Very.
with their-
I love Nero says it's not supposed to be porn, and neither is your computer. Nero, but-
But we all
Interesting.
know.
And usually created by
Porn.
female authors.
Yeah.
oh, it's boy romance, Nero says. Nero,
Yeah.
is there something you'd like to tell the group?
So
No judgment. You're in
As
a safe
opposed
place.
to
That's right.
Say
Bara,
it loud, say it proud.
that's
As opposed to
exactly
what?
for men.
Oh, when a Nant knows, a Nant, you're supposed to be working.
I'll take those.
Well, he is with the
100
other hand.
points.
Nero
Oh,
said it's for fag hags.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
Yuri, what's Yuri?
I've
Girl
never
on
heard
girl
of that.
romance.
Oh, for God's sake.
There's
This is.
so much happening. Japanimation? Jesus.
All right, I just
don't
got to
have
tell
to
you,
know the
I have
words,
never
you
felt
just
older
consume
in my life than during this conversation.
For
I can't even
real?
imagine the emoji for this.
Yeah. I just found
It's
out.
still eggplant.
I just found out that,
Right.
that the gays went for aubergine. I just found out that the gays.
No. Like
Your colors are pink and
How do you
pink.
spell that? Blush and bashful.
I don't have the counter
I
space.
know. Oh,
can't even
oh
begin to
fuck
think
you,
about
Al.
it. Great.
I'm loving an ant.
I know. If judging people is wrong, then why does it feel so right?
Good call, Aaron.
Aaron,
Good
that's a
call.
very good point.
Yeah.
That's a good
Show would
call.
not exist at all. I date bisexuals. I know everything about fag. Oh, and
love
Nat's
it.
work doesn't start till 11. Good for
Oh.
you.
And what
I
do they
like
call them?
it.
Fruit Loops? What's the other
What?
derogatory term?
Fruit flies.
Fruit flies.
Oh yeah.
See, I like that though. It's kind of a throwback to In Living Color. You have your fly girls,
Oh,
Oh,
and
good call.
Oh,
It's a good call.
and apparently the fanny pack is back.
No.
2 snaps
As my
up. Yes,
14-year-old
it is.
niece told
Yeah.
me.
I've
No.
seen it.
Fanny pack is
I have
back.
seen it a
It's
lot
back.
of late.
Guess who
You
has
can
one?
try.
Aaron.
You can try to bring back fanny packs and puka shells.
Okay.
Mama ain't going.
She was wearing a grandpa sweater, and I said, "Honey, it's 97 degrees outside."
Yeah.
She said, "But it's chilly inside." And I said, "Still, as a human that can feel temperature, it's 97 degrees outside."
I have a question
Sweater
about that.
over your arm.
Also,
Although, I do have to say that on the way here, Al and I had a conversation about, it must be time to start carrying a sweater everywhere we go, as we were freezing in the sushi
a
restaurant.
wrap as an elderly white woman.
Yeah.
No, but a grandpa sweater, boyfriend jeans, honey, are any of these your clothes?
Yeah.
Well played.
Oh, the best is when you see those guys outside, not inside, wearing fucking beanies, like
Toques?
wool
Oh, yeah.
hats in the middle of summer. You're an asshole.
Yes.
Your noggin's not that cold, dumbass.
The swamp ass going on right now because what you put on your head.
Is-
You have a point.
I have a question about
Yeah.
the grandpa sweater.
Yeah.
Are they now calling the old Cosby sweaters
Yes.
grandpa? Shut up, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
for real.
Oh.
because of the date rape.
I understand.
change to protect
Show
the
me on the
innocent.
sweater where he
Yeah.
touched you.
Show me what state that's misspelled.
Cosby porn.
You misspelled guilty.
Crosby.
Oh, my God.
Unfortunately, Steels and Nash also come up.
Yeah, there you go. Well played.
You've
Well
added an
played.
R somewhere. I'm
like
sorry.
that.
Well, that's the misspelling of Cosby
I
porn.
understand
Crosby
that. I'm well aware. How
I
to
wasn't
spell.
sure. Sometimes we gotta hold your hand through this.
Damn.
Sisyphus.
Let's see.
So many layers.
Let's see if this comes through
kinda
like.
have.
Let's see if
There's
this
good
comes through like I wanted to.
Shrimp? Queer?
Still one of my funniest favorite moments on
That
TV
is a
ever.
scene from
love
Will
it.
and Grace that just cracks you up every single time.
Shrimp? Queer?
Is that Karen's wedding or J Lo's wedding? I can't remember.
I think it's J Lo's wedding, and it's Jack sitting at a table with Rosario, and he's like, shrimp, he's queer. But I think there's another time where he says it to Karen. I feel like there's some other
Yeah,
witness.
she called him queer a
Oh,
lot.
all right. Well, we're going to
She
continue
was
on
very insensitive.
our headline section. If you already have a miserable commute to and from California, if you're moving or to work, and feel inclined to make it worse for yourself, then Carta GPS has an offering for you. The navigation company has recently added 45's impersonation voice to his repertoire of voices that can tell you where to go. Meaning that if you want somebody to tell you to go straight ahead, it's tremendous, or you have reached your destination, let's make navigation great again, you're in luck. These are actual real quotes from the device.
Nope.
We've absolutely no idea who would want this or why it seemed like something to bring to fruition, especially when the current political climate is extremely fraught. We're just surprised it doesn't lie about where you're supposed to go. We'd imagine a more true-to-life iteration of this software would tell users things like, turn left. No, I said right. Oh, sad. And believe me, you do not want to make a U-turn. Nut job. At any rate, you can snag Trump's vocals for your GPS in the Carta GPS iOS or Android app via the download section. You can also get a voice that sounds like Bill Clinton, which is arguably much less unsettling than 45's.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
I don't think I could make it to the cart. Because his face, when you pull up something and that ugly fucking face is going at you.
Is going at you?
Well, you know what I mean? Like because they always find like aggressively
poking
horrible
at ya.
pictures of him to put online. Like
Sure.
Because he's a horrible person,
Right,
with a horrible face.
But they just seem to find the most terrifying close-ups to put on like the top of their page. It must be
that's
like
what his
clickbait.
face looks like.
But they could pull back a little bit. You know what I
what
mean?
his
How do you feel
face
about Cleveland?
Yeah.
Still like that. All right.
What was
Go
what
ahead.
was the short guy's character's name on
Beverly
Beverly?
Leslie. Beverly Leslie. Leslie Jordan.
So, Meow Cow, see if you can help me out with this, if you agree or not. There are 11 strange habits. Every
Disagree.
Minnesotan, stop it, will defend to the death.
Okay.
11 strange habits. So,
Yeah.
if you have a can of Coke or Pepsi or something, what do you call it?
Some call it soda, some call it pop.
Pap.
Pap.
Right? So Minnesotans are going to defend to the death the fact that that's pap.
That's pop.
Give me a pap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's popping.
Have you guys ever?
Yeah, because I call it soda now, and my family makes fun of me because it's pop.
Because in Buffalo, it's
Yeah, Niagara Falls
okay.
is pop.
Niagara Falls. Okay.
Well, in fairness, it's soda pop.
Absolutely,
But we never use that
No,
word.
no, I
you
understand.
would never
Oh,
hear
soda pop to get this against
Yeah.
your head.
And,
Right.
and the other thing I
Might as
remember,
well suck a dick. I'll have a soda
Right.
pop.
They don't make
Stop it.
but they don't make fun of you for that. I don't know why.
That's right.
Ain't you ever heard of leftovers, Alfie? But the other thing was everything. For a time, I remember growing up, everybody called no matter what you wanted to drink. I want a Coke. Well, what flavor? Well, I want a Sprite.
That's a Southern thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they would. Everything was a Coke. No, it wasn't Pepsi.
Right.
Well, I have a Coke. Well, what flavor?
There have actually been like extensive studies done about this and the regionalness of what we call the American soft drink.
Sure.
And it is. It's the northern Midwest that call it pop, and Utah for I don't know why, because they came from the northern Midwest.
Okay.
It's the South that just call it a Coke, and it's most of the rest of the country that call it a
Well,
soda.
and Coke's based out of Atlanta, Georgia, so that would make
There's also a part of the South that call it a Pepsi, not a Coke, but it's still like universally.
Yeah.
They mean all sodas.
So, in Washington and Oregon as well. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know when I changed to soda, but I always say just
When we moved
kind
here.
of pop. Plus, I know how that sounds.
Yeah, no, it really does. But when we moved down here, that's where it all of a sudden I heard it, and people kept saying, "Oh, what part of Wisconsin are you from?" And I wanted to pop them right in the goddamn throat.
Let me teach you what pop means.
Fuck you.
Do you
I'll
remember
give you
the-
a pop.
More lessons
I'm
not
from
onomatopoeia. We're just full of
Wisconsin.
them.
Do you remember the Shasta commercial?
Maybe.
I want to pop. I want to Shasta.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
I want to taste pizzazz.
Because then I moved out here and Shasta was pools, not
Yeah,
people didn't
good
know it was
call.
soda. Because people would ask
a
for
good call.
you would say a Shasta, and they are like, oh, you're gonna get a pool while you're here.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Because
right.
Shasta's a
Pool company.
Pool company, right? There's another game that when you were young that you would play, and you'd go along and you'd say duck,
Duck, duck, goose.
gray duck, 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 gray duck.
Nope.
Absolutely.
The fuck is wrong with you people up there?
Playing duck, duck, gray duck.
What
Well, there
size
are
was
people.
the bus that brought you
there are
to your school?
There are people in Minnesota that
How
will.
often are you required to wear a helmet?
There are people in Minnesota that will absolutely disagree with that statement, and they'll say it's duck, duck, goose, or chicken or some shit as well.
It's never
But-
been chicken.
Whatever. But
always been
playing
goose.
duck, duck, gray duck. We may be the only state in the country that prefers gray duck to that other game, but we're not going to budge on this one. It sounds better, and why would a goose be hanging
How the
around a
fuck
bunch
does that
of ducks?
sound better? Duck, duck, gray duck. Duck,
It's
duck,
duck,
goose.
duck, gray duck.
I never got the point of that fucking game anyways. I felt like it was racial profiling.
Well, you'd say purple duck.
It was a
green
very.
duck.
I don't
Okay.
see color.
It was a foul game.
Yeah.
No one in
Shut up.
Minnesota said that. Said what, Aaron? Said what? Go ahead and let me know, because it was gray duck. Always gray duck. Putting away your winter gear as soon as the sun comes out. True fucking story. It would be 45 degrees, and back in the day, you had the
Right.
T-tops or whatever
Oh, yeah.
on a Camaro or something.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were off.
Oh, first sunny day in February, the lady across the street would be laying out, and you'd see her.
Totally.
She'd shovel. She'd shovel a little path. She would lay there in her bikini, and she would get a tan in February, freezing her ass off. And anytime because
So
here
funny.
you can do it, you can lay out in the
Well,
sun.
sure.
In February, but I would always think that I'm
Not
doing Beverly proud. I'm laying out.
Right.
not
I love
Minnesota, but in Missouri, Duke's mother had a '72 Buick Skylark convertible, all white.
I love
And it would be fucking January. And as soon as the ice melted or the snow melted, we put on a long sleeve shirt, dropped that top, and drove everywhere. It was cold as fuck. We didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care. No.
We had sun. It was roads were clear.
And it was wishful thinking is really what it was.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
kind of like,
Well, it was
it's spring.
as long as it's
And
then
they
it would
would
fucking
bring you
freeze
outside
again,
for
and
gym
then you were
class at the first sign of a thaw.
That's right.
yeah, that
Which was
a bad
always
idea.
but there always be that one day. It was always my favorite day of the year when it just wasn't not cold. It was actually warm. Like the difference between it's not just that it's not cold.
Right.
I'm actually a little
It's a
comfortable.
little tepid.
Yeah.
I like it. You would go up north every weekend. Like that was the thing in Minnesota. Like, what are you doing this? Like, oh, we're going up north. And not north, but north.
North.
Going up north. Hesitating at four-way stops. Do you guys ever, like, when you pull up to a four-way stop, what is the rule?
I quadruple check to make sure the car to the right goes first.
Car to the right goes first. Okay. So in Minnesota, by the time that you get done with, no, you go. Oh, for God, no, you go.
That's Canada.
That by the time you get done with that shit, you're gonna
so
have
polite.
them over for a barbecue.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there.
And
for
I always sit there
days.
because I'm always like, one of you fuckers doesn't have a stop sign, right? Like, some kid
Right.
tore it down.
Sure. Yeah, and absolutely, it's one of the funniest things. And Aaron, my Aaron, being in the car with me, oh God, does that drive her nuts? Could you go? Like, why are you just still sitting here? Oh, we're being polite.
Well, then I know the answer is the car to the right, but the car to the right of who? We're all to the right of someone.
So the car to the
Exactly.
right, the car to the right rule applies to if more than one car
Okay,
arrives
guys
at
at the
the
same-
intersection at the exact same time.
That's right.
Which happens like
Right.
once a century.
Otherwise, it's first come, first served. Or when this fucker hesitates, I'm going.
yeah.
Yep.
First sign of a Minnesotan.
Right. Yeah.
Minnesotans are going to discuss the weather at every opportunity.
Oh yeah.
It's cold out today, Never eating the last piece of anything. You will, like, back off. If there's
One little
just
corn nut in a
one little
bowl.
corn nut in the bowl. Oh, God, no. You go right ahead. Oh, no, I just couldn't. Real full.
Yep.
You know.
Again, I like hanging out with those people because I go, oh,
It's
thank
mine
you.
then, yeah.
I'm with you.
Do you know what we say about you folk?
Yeah.
You don't want it? You just don't. No. All right.
That's
it's mine.
just, well, that's real rude right there. I don't think anyone
There's a
could be
lot of
rude.
things that are way ruder
No.
about me than the last corn nut. That's for sure.
If you've
Way
met
ruder.
me, taking forever to say goodbye. Take forever to say
Yeah,
goodbye.
you got to
In
plan at
Minnesota,
least
goodbye.
30 minutes ahead of when you really want to depart.
Oh.
That's right.
That's a back home thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my family too.
Yeah.
Christ
Bringing-
Lord.
Bringing a hot dish to every gathering.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Tater tot hot dish. If you've never had it, you should have it for you. I'll make you some. Always being ready to help. Always being ready to help. That's a,
Oh, I have
think a
Can
real
my sister
Midwest
help
thing.
you with anything? I
That's
learned
nice.
that.
You're
I
shoving
learned
people
that.
out of the car. I
I
love
learned
it.
people from my other sister. My sister Nancy will sit there with her glass of wine and go, "Can my sister help you with anything?"
And Debbie'd be like, sure.
And she's happy to help, and I'm just delighted by that expression.
That's
sister help
funny.
you with anything?
Can she? Saying
This is all ready to go.
oofta and you betcha
Oh,
are just some solid things that Minnesotans are going to say. We're not going to let it go.
I feel like we're getting a language. It's gonna be a
No,
test.
that's
later?
that's the 11 things, but it really is. It's kind of that. I read that list and I went, that's exactly me.
I know, and there's ones like proof that you're from here, proof that you're from there, that you've lived in Phoenix too long, and I love those because they're always
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that's kind of point on.
I know. When I read through this, I went, oh shit,
And just for double checking, I want
Yep.
to make sure all these people who bring hot dishes and whatever.
Please then. Yep.
What is it they're looking for in the porn world up here? We got to make sure.
Stepmom.
Stepmom.
Yeah.
I can't reach your table. I'm gonna need a stepmom.
Oh, that's because they're aiming for Jamaica man. They want to get out of there and That's right. You can only refuse 3 times. Meow Cal is spot on. You're supposed to. They and I thought it was bullshit. I have a book that I got. I laughed
There's a
my
science
ass off from Phoenix to Minnesota. It's called How to Talk Minnesotan. And it is one of the fun. I mean, talk about reading something.
Yeah.
Going like, shit. And reading it on the plane to Minnesota was hysterical.
And then
And
being
I'm-
hypersensitive about everything you do. That's like,
everything.
oh my God, they've noticed I do all that shit.
God.
Jesus
How
Christ.
did they know they wrote the book about? Oh God! So talk about throwing the book at you right there. God, duck, great duck. But it says in there like refusing 3 times, and then you can go back, right? So
And have the last piece.
So I get to this
I hope
wedding.
I'm 9 so I get the chicken.
I know, God. I hope everybody says no. I hope Kat's not there.
You get one shot, bitches.
Yeah. The Minnesota wish list.
It was so funny because I get to this wedding and they have the reception at this house. We get back there and they came out and they said, "Oh, there's some more. Now go back in there. There's more food in there. Oh, so much. Eat up. No, just couldn't ruffle. I ruffle and I heard myself. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Me and me out, just put it in there.
Oh, I just did that out here with that.
Oh, I actually do that too.
I love it.
My bad.
And so then
Get your finger out of there.
They went, so they walked away.
Whatever makes that noise, stop.
Seriously, when I run into people, the noise I make is, "Are you okay down there?" I'm sorry, I didn't mean to knock you down.
Sorry, get out of my way.
Clearly you're between me and my coffee.
Yeah.
so it's your fault.
But it was just real funny. 3 times, and I all of a sudden I went, oh my God, I am the book. Like I realized that we do that.
I had a
And
boss
then I
once that
got
was like
back up
talking about
and-
food and talking about bringing stuff and food and this and that. I'm like, you got to be from somewhere near Western New York, and he was like, how'd you know that? I'm like, that's the constant food talk.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
haven't mentioned one party without describing every dish that was brought by every single person.
Oh, Betty down the street, you know.
You know what she brought?
Yeah. Oh.
Nobody ate it, but they love my crackers.
And the Jello salad. Oh my God.
Oh, the au gratin potatoes are fabulous.
Oh,
Cookies
God,
aren't as
they're
good
the
as mine.
best.
Mine went right away.
Well, everybody likes yours the best.
We always used to laugh at my grandmother, my mom's mom, and I know we just talked about this recently. I don't know where in the hell Grandma found them, but at the store, it was you've got your Ritz crackers, you've got your Townhouse crackers, you've got all the different ones. She always had a fucking box of multi-purpose crackers.
Oh.
And we just thought it was funny because they're for any event.
Yeah.
They're multi-purpose.
You don't
That
know how
seems
fancy
handy
you
I
wanna
don't
go.
know that they
Economical.
had those. I don't know.
You don't know if they're Ritz people coming over. They might just be town.
But you got it.
Yeah. And you don't want to offend them,
Yeah.
not at
Or
all.
make them feel like they're
Multi-purpose.
not dressed well
No,
enough.
God, for
You
real.
serve the butter of
only give them
crackers.
the Ritz, then. Did you have any kind of growing up things that in your neck of the
Now, where are
woods?
you from? Where did you?
Well, so
Get here.
I'm a military brat. My dad
okay.
was in the Marines. My memories are all like the unusual leftovers that made their way into lunch, and then reaction from friends. The first couple episodes of Fresh Off the Boat was like that.
Okay.
They have my number. The first time in the 90s where you open up leftover stir fry or something. That was just not going down.
Yeah.
It was, where is your Lunchable?
Yeah.
You are a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
So
And nobody would trade you.
sleeper.
Yeah,
no.
Nobody would trade you anything.
What's he packing? Stir fry. Oh.
Vanished to the far land.
Yeah.
The fortune cookie, no. Where's my ding dong?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole
my God,
different
that's
class.
it.
But anyway.
I can shove a message in a ding dong.
I
I'm
know.
sure.
That's
Well,
right. I can get that. The creamy center.
and I spoke to him up close.
Doesn't that say something though?
Scared.
Oh, look at
Ding
this.
dong
Children,
whisper. Look at
you
the time.
get sugar and joy.
Yeah.
Asian children, you get wisdom.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
I like
I
that.
can't eat wisdom.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
who pulled out Sisyphus
I
over
can't
here.
eat wisdom.
Yeah, yeah, but he can.
I think
he
I've
can,
tried.
Especially if it's the texture of this cookie.
Yeah, but he can vomit it. Sisyphus, you know.
I have a whole jar of
So that
fortune
went
cookies in there. I
well,
should go
you
get
know.
them. We
They're
should
not
have
as fresh as you think.
Yeah.
them. No, they're not at all.
Well, okay,
He
he's
just
not trying
saves
to.
them.
I'm well aware.
Were you
I'm
in
warning
any of
him,
that?
not you.
Were you just overseas? Were you in the States?
No,
or-
no. So I mean, all over state or in the States. My dad did his overseas deployment before we were born, but I was born in Hawaii.
Okay.
And then
I apologize about the Filipino joke earlier.
you
Is
know
that
what?
with the PH?
No one has asked me
or-
for my birth certificate, so I'm happy.
Yeah, see?
Well, you're not a black man trying to run a country.
That's
Yeah,
true,
that's true.
Yeah.
But what was my favorite place? I really enjoyed Washington State
Oh,
and
okay.
Colorado Springs.
Beautiful, both.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where Tim
And-
lives now,
Oh,
in Colorado Springs.
Oh, very good. And then, speaking of soda and pop, I lived in Havelock, North Carolina, which was not, the gem of the state, but that is like an hour from New Bern, which is the birthplace of Pepsi.
Oh, very good.
I did not. I never realized that.
I never
Tying
knew where
things
Pepsi came
together.
from.
I didn't.
Yeah,
know
I've always known about Coke, but I never
Right.
knew about the
Well,
Pepsi.
well, there's no like adorable animatronic, polar bear or
Yeah.
or taste testing. So
To me, I think Joan Crawford invented Pepsi only because I associate her with it so much. I don't associate anybody else except Michael Jackson with his hair on fire from the 80s.
That's
And
a good
Madonna
call.
for one short day.
Oh, yeah. So okay.
Good call.
Yeah, thanks.
I like it. Fine, sir.
Oh, God.
That was
fun.
one
That's a
story.
lot.
Yeah, that was one story.
Well, now
Oh,
tying it back to the Minnesota and the Midwest, we've all seen one of these storms
A twister,
somewhere.
a twister.
We've all seen one of these.
Oh.
Well, a photo captured a Canadian man casually mowing his lawn as a massive tornado whirled around in the distance. Cecilia Wessels said that she was at her home in Three Hills, Alberta on Friday. This would have been 2 weeks ago, actually, when she snapped the now viral photo of her determined husband. And here's a picture of him with the storm in the background. He was just out in the yard
Isn't that crazy?
mowing his yard. The tornado was about 1.5 miles from them and moving eastwards. There was very little wind at our backyard and not even any rain.
because there was a tornado.
It was just hot.
Right.
She said it was a shocker to see something like this, but my husband was calm, and the whole street was out taking pictures of the storm as well, staying calm, as they just did. Wessels told the Edmonton station Sonic 102.9 that she was taking a nap when the storm started blowing, causing her 9-year-old daughter to panic. She says, Mommy, please wake up. There's a thing in the sky. It looks like a tornado, and Daddy doesn't want to come inside. She said, well, we said to him, are you coming inside? And he's like, nope, I'm fine. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, I love that. Keeping an eye on it. Sir, your back is literally to it at the current time.
Apparently, it looks much closer in the photo than it actually was. It was really far away, she said. Not. And then she goes, well,
Bullshit.
not really far away, but it was far away from us, she says. Anyway,
That would scare the shit out of me.
I just thought it was...
That's the right reaction.
But being from the Midwest, I've seen that. And I've, again, it's a little ways away, or it's further. It's much larger. It looks like it's closer, but it's not. But again, depending on which direction it's going.
Nothing about that says.
I'm gonna
go.
keep mowing my yard.
Yeah.
That's
No.
okay. I had two things
Yeah,
here.
it's
Oh,
strange.
good,
like-
good. I like that.
Number one, if you squint with your left eye and turn your head to the right just a little
It's
bit,
Clayton.
doesn't it look like Clayton McKee? Number two,
I would never
He
wear
would
that
never
outfit.
wear orange.
No,
I've
his
seen your
orange-
red shorts,
His
honey.
shows say the shorts are that color.
there was a
call.
lawnmower.
Number
involved.
two, are we sure this
Yeah.
isn't autobiographical?
In
Clayton McKee.
nature, yeah.
Wow.
I don't like your attitude, Kat Carlson. Now, if it was a guy on a tractor,
Well, it appears to be a
vacuuming.
small. It appears to be a small yard.
Just
Oh my God.
that's an
Startling.
asshole, ladies and gentlemen. Not you, him.
sure.
I just,
But also,
So June, if you didn't know,
This
is
month?
Pride Month.
oh my God,
I
It is
felt
Pride
proud.
Month. I feel more proud than I did in May, and than I will in July.
Yeah.
I live an exponentially more proud and prideful life than
Yeah,
most
yeah,
people,
yeah.
and I feel like I have been drowning in pride everything
Nice. Okay. But is that
for the
okay?
last 2 weeks. And no, it's kind of weird because
I think I'm proud of Jason.
I keep looking at people and going, Pride was 2 months ago, right?
Yep. But Pride Month.
We get a month.
Fuck, we need a whole month.
We need
We
a
get a
whole
longer month than Black History, so you gotta.
Well, that's
month.
fair.
No, that's true.
You get
That's
2
true.
more
At least
days.
there's still somebody under us on the ladder.
Yeah.
So, there are these little 5 things for those who don't know, for our fine listeners, and anyone in the room that does not know. The first Pride Parade was organized by a bisexual activist named Brenda Howard a month after the Stonewall Inn riots in 1969. I'm adding myself to that list. I had no idea.
So July, yeah.
And Stonewall was a bar in Manhattan West Village that was and is known for its patronage by LGBT clientele.
Used to just be called queers.
Well, back in that
Shrimp.
day, you know.
Shrimp.
Shrimps.
Shrimp.
The shrimps are marching.
The iconic... and this gentleman just passed away. Does anyone know who designed the iconic rainbow flag?
Gilbert.
Godfrey.
Not the same.
Why you got it?
And Sullivan.
It was a one-color thing.
Is it Gilbert Baker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
Gilbert
just passed
Baker.
away.
Just passed. That's right. It was he's a still dead. San Francisco artist.
Little side note to that.
Yeah.
Remember last fall when I went to San Francisco for the first time? We took a walking tour of the Castro district, and we went. And one of the places we walked right under was his apartment, and he still has the original. He had the original flag with the extra color in it hanging in his window.
Okay.
And right below that, right below, just outside of his apartment is I think they called it. They could be called Triangle Park, which is a very tiny little. Literally, it's where almost like a Times Square where there's a couple roads go a couple ways, and it's a triangle, and they encourage people to take. They have pink stones in it to make the triangle itself is outlined in steel, and they fill it with pink stones, and people come there and they're encouraged to take a stone with them. And they keep replenishing the pink stones, but that's part of the thing because it's like a memorial or a tribute park or something.
Yeah.
I forget what they call it, but that's what the deal is. But he lived right above it.
That is
That
very
is
cool.
very cool.
I have been there a number of times. I've never.
Oh,
no one's ever taken me
If
there.
you
I've
ever,
never seen it.
if you go back, I'll try to remember. You should take the same walking tour that I did. It was very interesting because you wind up at the HRC store, which is where the camera shop
Harvey
was
Milk,
for
right.
Harvey. Right. Yeah.
Oh, and I really thought that I had.
It was like $20,
Been
but it was the
around.
best
Sure.
$20 in like 3 hours. It was
$20 is
fantastic.
$20.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I like it.
No.
True
We've
story.
well
I love
established
it.
that fact.
At different times in our
In our
lives.
lives, yeah, exactly.
And
Not eating top ramen.
and as Clayton was saying, the original flag featured 8 colors, each representing a different concept. Red was life, orange healing, or red is for life. Orange healing, yellow is the sun, green is for nature, indigo harmony, violet spirit, and turquoise was the arts, and hot pink for sex. But turquoise and hot pink were omitted to cut production costs as demand for the flag grew following Harvey Milk's assassination on my birthday, 1978.
Oh yeah.
No. So there was that. Despite his contribution to regrettable anti-LGBT policies like the U.S. military's Don't Ask, Don't Tell and DOMA, President Bill Clinton was the first U.S. president to publicly recognize June as Pride Month via an official proclamation. So even though those things happen. Number 4, while Pride Month is generally viewed as being a catch-all celebration for LGBTQI community, trans people and people of color have largely been absent from mainstream LGBT events and media. As a result, there are many trans-specific and black-specific Pride events and advocacy organizations in various cities. One of the interesting things going back to Pennsylvania, they're adding
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They're adding 2 colors.
2 colors.
Black
Two
and
things.
brown.
Yeah. Yep.
Stand by.
I feel like it's breaking news.
I'm so curious to know what you all think of this.
Yeah, that was
Because I
going
have
to
a-
be one
I
of my
thought
stories,
that's
and
where you were
Yeah.
going was to
No.
the redesigned pride flag.
No, this is just number 4 in that, in these things. So if you have that,
I do.
I think it'll be
I
great.
Do we have breaking news?
Well, it's
Sure.
that was it.
Yeah. Breaking news.
It's a newish. I like it.
Speaking of pride flags,
Ah.
breaking news: the city of Philadelphia will be using a new, more inclusive pride flag.
I'm already bored.
I know. They've added a black and a brown stripe to kind of illustrate and embrace the racial divides in the LGBT community. Like we say all inclusive, but there are communities, especially the black communities and the Hispanic communities, that don't feel as embraced.
Yeah.
By pride. I mean, we had a protest of similar nature at our own pride. So yeah, when you go to Pride in Philadelphia, there will now be a black stripe on top, and then a brown stripe, and then the red, orange,
What's
yellow.
the color of a confused message? Because that's what we got in our parade right here in Phoenix.
Well,
just sent
that's
it
what
to
we
you,
got,
Frank.
right?
Yeah. But I mean, hey, it is inclusivity. The more, the merrier.
So
And if we get a couple more
I'm
black
not even
guys,
going to do a closing stinger on that. I'm already bored with that story.
That's fair.
but if it brings a couple more black guys to
Well,
Pride,
more color, more pride.
And so now we all have to update our pride flags.
Well, that's
Buy a
the,
new flag. It's time.
That's
I'm gonna
the
be old
new
school.
campaign. More color, more pride.
I have to say, as a graphic designer, I think it throws off the whole
Everything.
right. But so I would prefer if they had moved the black and the brown stripe to the bottom.
Yeah, but wouldn't that have become a thing?
Right,
Why do we have to be at the bottom?
Yeah,
then
kinda
they're
like
at the
that.
bottom. But I because it's all marketing, isn't it? They're the foundation of the pride movement.
oh, there you go. Oh, way to sell it.
I
Look
like
at
it.
that.
Look
My
like it.
God.
So you'll be running for office when?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, have
Now-
your birth certificate ready.
When I was in Toronto, when I was in Toronto as a teenager, I had gone to some store that sold things.
Rainbow shit.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think rainbow was a thing yet, but or at least I hadn't seen it. But I bought a pink triangle pin, and just because I thought it was a cute pin from the like army surplus jacket, the trench coat I used to wear. So I had a pink triangle. I had never ever heard of it. Didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And it was like a teacher at school that I was wearing at school was like, "That's so offensive," and I'm like, "It's just a cute pin. I don't know what you're talking about." And then she was the one that told me like what it represented. I'm like,
Sure.
"Well, now for sure I'm wearing it."
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
if it's, if it stands for something like that, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but I'm gonna wear it. So I used to wear a pink triangle in school.
Was she a German
wow.
teacher?
She may have been history or something. I'm like, Mrs.
Well, I
Van-
meant, like, was her heritage German? I didn't mean if she was a
Oh
German.
no. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
Was she specifically objecting to the Holocaust ties and not the way that it's?
Or thought that I was wearing it to like mock something.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And not assuming that a 16-year-old was going to
Sure.
be like out and gay.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Kind of went the different way with it.
Yeah,
She had met you before.
And it was funny because I wore it for and no one ever asked about it.
Interesting.
Like, except for her telling me what it was, and I just bought it because I thought it was kind of pretty. It was a pretty hot pink, and I liked the. I was like, I'm gonna put that on.
That is your Subaru story. She bought a Subaru
Oh, and
having
then
no
found- yeah.
connection, and then you got a pink triangle having no
Yeah, I
idea.
didn't
It's
know.
true. That is the Subaru story.
There you
I like
go.
it.
You got Al. No, I was got a Subaru story.
I love it. I love it.
Without actually having to own a Subaru, so I'm lucky.
It's a win-win, really.
Yeah, so
You had a cute pin
it was
and
lucky
no
now,
Subaru.
Sashimi. Sashimi. Wait, isn't sashimi is sushi, right?
And I made all the same noises.
She shimmy.
I'm listening to Marnie.
Now, is there more, Marnie?
Not really. It's just an opinion piece. So I'm just gonna let it go. Because if Al's listening, I'm not. I'm done. Yeah.
On to you, Sisyphus.
Come on,
A
Sissy.
student who was arrested on suspicion of shoplifting $1,900 worth of goods from a Walmart told police she was writing a paper on kleptomania in an effort to get herself out of the theft. Now wait till you see what she was trying to leave the store with. Linda Cormany, who was 23, was arrested on June 5th at a Walmart in Gillette, Wyoming, after trying to leave the store with a large cart of merchandise, which included 3 flat-screen televisions.
Girl.
I love it.
She's an art student at Gillette Community College and claimed to be researching a paper on kleptomania, a compulsive condition which prompts people to steal. When officers searched her dorm room,
Art school's
they discovered a greater haul of stolen goods. The Gillette News reports. The woman then
She was writing a paper on syndicated crime.
The woman then reportedly confessed to shoplifting in order to furnish her new dorm room. What do you need? A dorm room? There's not even room for 3 fucking flat screen TVs. She said that she'd been forced to move dorms and that her old roommate owned most of the household items in the old one, leaving her with nothing when she moved. Cormany made an initial court appearance on June 5th, but did not enter a plea. She's due to return in court to face felony theft charges on Wednesday. The woman did not respond to DailyMail.com's request for a comment on Tuesday morning. She was charged with 3 counts of felony shoplifting and 2 counts of misdemeanor shoplifting. If convicted, she could be in jail up to 10 years.
Wow.
See, that's the ridiculous part of the story, though. 10 years for 3 TVs? Settle down.
Yeah.
She's a high school kid, a college kid?
College kid. Community college.
But, I mean, art school has papers on such topical things as shoplifting and syndicated crime.
Listen, I've told some whoppers to try and get out of some scenarios.
And I got to give her points for creativity. Because, like I
Right.
said, if you're going to tell me a lie, make me enjoy it. You know what I mean? Help me to like you better during your lie.
That's fair.
I feel like the Trump cabinet has a place for her.
Yeah.
You know? We want to uplift the youth of America.
Believable lies.
Well, and God knows Trump could
Well,
use
then
more
why are you
TVs
putting
to
her in the
watch
Trump cabinet?
fake
Wait a
news
minute.
on.
If you want to help her, why are you putting her near the pussy grabber in chief?
Yeah.
This is not the way.
2 seats
Well,
down.
We're going to show her a different way to make money.
Because $20 is
20 bucks is
20
20. All right,
bucks is
that's
20
great.
bucks.
Well, also, just as an aside, with pussy grabber, Pence, poor Pence, lost his pussy this weekend. Over the weekend, yeah, the family cat died, according to the second.
I was
the
like,
second
I didn't
lady.
hear of a divorce.
Yeah, nope, just the pussy.
Seriously,
died.
their
Yeah,
cat
That's
died.
so
was-
funny
that
that
was
you referred
breaking
to her
news.
as the second lady, because when Jill Biden came out on the Tonys, I was
Right.
like, wait,
Yeah.
I've never heard her called the second lady.
I had
before.
never
I'd
heard
never
that
heard
before.
that
That's
I mean,
what they
in
had
an
on-
announcement.
I think,
Yeah, that's what they had.
I think
thought,
I had heard it in reference, like in news stories or in an interview. I'd heard people reference that, but I'd never heard anybody be called that in a vice presidential setting. I thought that was interesting when she
It's
came
really
out.
weird.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, that was. I loved seeing her.
And the plot at the Tonys, which I'm sure he'll get into in a minute, but I was impressed with like the standing O and just for her, just that applause for her.
For,
I just thought it was
Dr. Jill Biden.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, and just seeing Joe in the audience, just
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, Uncle Joe.
I miss Uncle Joe so much.
a lot.
But how long that ovation standed and just kept going, and then it turned into a standing ovation. Like they didn't just stand right up; they just got they like fed
Built
off their
up,
own
right.
They
energy.
kept,
And Josh Gad looked like he was about to pee with excitement.
So
It was a simpler time.
anyone who has listened
2 days ago.
to this show knows that there was that I have a fear based on almost 4 years ago tomorrow when I was working on Aaron's house.
Oh, the critters.
The critters.
Rats.
Rats. So soon. Well, you guys have heard of those cat cafes, right? Have you heard of those things?
Yes,
like
in
where-
Japan.
Mhm. And they have you can go and you can have tea and whatnot, and they're just cats all over the place.
Oh,
Sure.
I was thinking this
Yeah.
was like
Rats.
an edible thing.
No. Well, that's a different area of the world,
'cause-
but no,
all right,
this
all right.
is that. And
I'm
and
glad you
actually-
clarified that they're just living
Yeah,
around
no, they're
you.
just
All right.
walking
Okay,
around,
all
right?
I feel better already.
Well, I don't buy this one.
No, with the cat
What-
cafe.
Yes.
What sort of squalor do you have to live in, though, that your aspiration is cats as companions?
Yeah.
Well,
For dinner.
For dinner.
For dinner.
Thank you. Yes.
A dinner date with a cat.
Yeah. Meow.
We all know them.
So soon there will be a rat cafe.
Nope.
Where you can dine among your rodent pals. Oh hell no. The two of us need look no more. Oh my god.
That's
So
funny.
cat cafes are all the rage these days, or so it seems only logical that some other species are getting in on the action. For 2 days this summer, San Francisco
The San
will be-
Francisco treat.
Yeah.
will be the host to
Ding,
a
ding.
pop-up rat cafe where patrons will be able to enjoy coffee and pastries in the company of the critters.
No.
In related news, Fad Rat Cafe just shut down by the health department.
Because of rats.
The San Francisco Dungeon, a tourist attraction where actors reenact bits of the region's history, will be hosting this event July 1st and July 7th. Please avoid San Francisco at all costs. July 1st
And July 7th. Yes.
Don't worry, these aren't wild rats from the streets. Oh, don't worry.
Yeah, that was my worry.
It was my concern as well. But now that I know they're not,
They're corn fed.
I'll go. Oh my God.
As Samuel L. Jackson once said, a sewer rat might taste like pumpkin pie, but I wouldn't eat the filthy motherfucker.
Amen,
Right.
Samuel L. Jackson. Instead,
Right.
the rodents of honor.
No.
Try that. Try
No.
that on for size.
No.
The rodents of honor are adoptable.
Okay, so
Domestic pets from Ratty Rats, a Bay Area rat rescue group. What the fuck is wrong with people?
all right.
What the fuck?
One of my nieces works. She works at a vet clinic.
Yep.
She's a vet tech, whatever
Yep.
that's called.
Yep.
And she brought a pet rat home. That her mom had, and her
No.
mom, one of the girls I grew up with, was like, "I'm feeding a rat,"
No.
and then it died. She's like, "We're good now." She brought home another one.
Oh, no.
No.
There's a rat. And they're like, "Do you want to go upstairs and see it?" No.
No.
Nope.
Nope. Nope. It's similar to people that have snakes. I just don't understand. I don't have
I'm
time.
not even coming in the house.
No, I'm not either.
Nope.
No. What the fuck is wrong with you? So
Kill it.
that means that if you get along especially well with one of the rats at the cafe, you may decide to make it your new friend and a permanent addition to your life. Nope, I'm
No.
not going to.
Because you buy one, then you got 30.
That's right. So, though many people are freaked out by the very idea of rats, I'm not. Domestic rats are social, clean animals that are highly intelligent and trainable. Get the fuck out of my house. Can I train that?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I train
That's
you?
the beginning and the end of the rat training.
Open the fucking door and get out. Trainable rat. So tickets.
I feel like
tickets.
I also said that to a girlfriend.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this conversation
She had a nip
seems eerily similar, and I also did not enjoy dining with them.
There's the website right
No,
there.
Oh.
no.
Poor Nero.
Oh, why
I'm
is he in the
sorry, honey,
coffee?
but
why
God.
did they put the rat by the
Yeah,
coffee?
get
I
it away
know
from the coffee.
because you'll
Well, it
never
looked just like Skinny and Sweet.
except for the little skull and crossbones.
So, by the way, the
No,
tickets
no.
to this rat cafe.
How much?
Because you have to buy a fucking
Ticket?
ticket.
It's not bad enough you're drinking
$49.99.
rat-soaked coffee
$49.99 a piece, and it includes the coffee
and the
Tea.
psychiatrist afterwards.
or water and a breakfast pastry. Because
No.
who doesn't want to eat after
With
the rat's
vermin.
been all? Yes. When you're done eating, you get 15 minutes set aside to hang out with the ambassador rats.
No.
No.
$49.99. Incidentally,
Serves
Bon
one.
Appetit.
Sauce on the side.
Incidentally, Bon
Squeezed out of a
Appetit-
bloody T-shirt.
Bon Appetit published an article about a Brooklyn rat cafe in 2014, but that story was just an April Fool's joke, as it should be.
As God intended.
Oh God!
I had to
Can
borrow
you-
your shower.
What, and poor, you don't have to go in the corner, Nero.
No, that's,
but
I think that's where Nero's gonna eat in the cafe.
oh, maybe okay, but you can like them, but it's fine.
I remember-
I don't judge.
Someone telling me one time, like
scares me.
somebody had, there was a story about mice being loose somewhere, and I called it a rat, and the guy was like, "Okay, two different situations. Mice, sure. Rats, we're moving." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I see. Now I get the difference." And that's blah, blah, blah.
Give rats a chance.
No.
Not gonna happen.
Give rats a chance.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So
good.
all we say
Yes, gotcha.
is give rats a chance.
And the fact that they're attracted to the
No.
same foods that I am, bacon wrapped around peanut butter, makes me nervous.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Makes me
Don't
nervous
stick your
for
hand
you.
in those tight
Right.
crevices,
Yeah.
Al.
You should-
Two different of God's creatures, same snack choice.
You're gonna hear a pop, and then there's gonna be another scream.
Yeah,
it's no good.
Probably coming from
Yeah.
me, and I won't get to enjoy the peanut butter
No.
or the bacon.
But at
Or
least you
your
won't have
fingers.
blood on your face.
Unless I use my other hand.
Good call. Good call.
In our final headline
my
story
God.
before we get to entertainment, two men's argument over dog shit turned violent and left one with a knife wound in his left hand, according to a police report recently made public. Ricardo Sanchez,
That
who's
shit is serious.
33, was arrested Tuesday and charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Police say Garcia Sanchez is a property maintenance worker at the West Palm Lane Apartments complex on South Sequoia Drive, and he took the issue with a resident who he thought was allowing his dog to shit on the property, and the owner was not cleaning it up after the animal. Police said Mr. Sanchez grabbed the victim by the neck and began punching him. After the victim was able to free himself, he saw Sanchez with what the police with what he told the police was a carpenter's knife. The victim said that he put his hands in front of his face when Garcia Sanchez began swinging the knife. The knife then made contact with his left hand, cutting his left middle and ring finger, police said. When police arrived, Garcia Sanchez, I don't know why they keep putting it that way, Sanchez approached them and said that he was involved in the incident. He admitted to confronting the victim about his dog and said that the property manager and several residents had made similar complaints. However, Sanchez denied ever having a knife in his possession and told police he was unaware of how the victim was injured. The victim went to a hospital for treatment of the cut. Police searched the apartment complex near the intersection of Palm Beach Lakes and Village Boulevards for the knife, but were unsuccessful, according to the report. Now, according to the report, the victim's dog was on the scene during the incident and was friendly to police and passersby. The dog's breed was unspecified in the police report. Sanchez remained in Palm Beach County Jail early Monday, and his bail has been set at $50,000. He is due again. He is due again in court July 6th.
That dog's gonna have to poop again before then.
Probably.
I thought they were going to try to figure out if that poop pile came out of that dog, like based on size. Nope.
Quick DNA test will do the job.
Yeah.
Well, right.
They're doing that, you know.
Oh,
know
yes.
they do.
I had heard that.
Little corn-in study, I guess.
It's not something you can wipe away
June
from your
17th.
records, really.
Corn in.
Corn in. Exactly. I used to text Gary and Victoria London.
Google
and Gary.
Poodle eats corn.
I used to text them all the time. That was so goddamn funny. Funny shit. if
Still
you will.
is. Yeah.
Alfie, you ready?
Yeah.
You gonna make it? It's gonna be good.
Sure, let's do it.
Here we go.
Working it out.
So the Tony Awards happened, which is really all that we care about. Bill Maher hit an interesting return to TV. A couple of shows are back on Netflix. My favorite summer show is back. Veep adds a new person. We had a death. And a TV recommendation.
We just lost Aaron.
Very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Veep.
Yep. There you go.
Oh.
Entertainment!
Yeah.
So we'll start with Veep, who learned everyone's favorite lesson. When in doubt, hire Gene Smart. Just find a way to get Gene Smart onto your show.
Oh, okay.
As Gary's mother, Southern Alabama mother. Just fucking funny. And she's only on screen for maybe 6 or 7 minutes. Steals the whole fucking show. You must be Amy. You must be Richard. And the black guy, oh, because of my glasses. Oh, it was so offensive in so many ways. And Gary's kind of like vaguely sexual and bisexual, and his dad is just full on gay. And it was Stephen Root from Office Space. He's in everything, but oh my god, it was going to meet Gary's family in Alabama while Selena pretends to be Southern to win a shit kicker's money for her library. It's fucking wrong. But Gene Smart can just steal a show out from under you with 3 lines and 1 look and a wig, and you're just done. So we missed her from Fargo because she's not in this season's Fargo. They couldn't bring her back to life, but just the fact that she showed up and I actually clapped like a stage entrance. I
You
was
see
in
that?
my living room.
That would make him watch Veep. We've got Aaron for 6 to 7 minutes.
She is good. So You Think You Can Dance came back on. I haven't seen it yet, but it started back. My TV is just set to automatically record any mention of that show.
Yeah.
So I was very excited. So my crush on Kat Deely starts anew.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
somehow
That
they'll
is
find
nice.
a way to. It's just the happiest show. She loves everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And she genuinely seems hurt, but I just love it. So that's back.
That's next week.
Orange is the New Black and House of Cards are on Netflix. Orphan Black is back. My VCR is not getting the attention and the love it deserves.
It's
out of
also
me
not.
working this
Hasn't
much.
been a VCR for 20 years.
I was going to
right?
suggest that, but
Whatever the goddamn thing is
his
called.
Betamax.
My Betamax is sweating. My 8-track tape.
Tape
is
recorder.
just on a loop.
Reel to reel.
So I'm very excited to see all of them. I think we're only 2 episodes into Orphan Black, and I've heard good things about Orange is the New Black, and that they take us from our very upsetting and in need of therapy ending of
Very
last
upsetting
season.
ending, and they just start right there and go on. I'm only like 2 episodes in, and it's gonna take me a little while because
Yeah.
that's a shared show.
Yeah.
With Sharon, so we have to wait for each
The
other.
only thing I know about it, and I've not watched any of them ever, the only thing I know about it is because I'm going to get the name wrong. I'm going to say Akeem Olajuwon, but that's
Sure.
not.
Sure.
What's her name? Crazy
Crazy Eyes?
Eyes.
Her name
Uzo
is
Aduba.
Uzo Aduba.
Yeah,
Aduba.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah.
She was on Colbert last night, and the only thing I know about the entire thing is apparently the entire season is a time frame of 3 days, and she says it shows something about the women how they would individually react if given power or something to that effect.
Okay, so you're talking about the current season?
Right? Yes.
That
yes.
makes actually a lot of sense about where they're
So
going.
she said that you really get to explore, according to what she said, you get to explore each individual character if they were to have had some power or something to that effect.
Sure.
But she said the entire season is only about 3 days in
Yeah.
time.
That's good.
Yeah, so curious about that. But I haven't I went into work shutdown,
Yeah.
so I haven't finished Kimmy Schmidt. I
I
haven't
look
finished
up
our book
Hakeem
club.
Olajuwon now. Is he a
Yeah.
basketball player?
Sure.
Well, and the problem with Orange is the New Black, that's one of those really good shows that once you get started, Sharon, we watched a couple episodes last night, and she's like, "Okay, I'm going to bed." I'm like, "Where the fuck are you going?
Yeah, because that's my.
You
just
can't leave me here with this."
Every year, I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this week by week. I'm not gonna do it all at once." And then I just brew the pot of coffee and stay up and watch it and have a nervous breakdown. And the same with House of Cards. But House of Cards is usually 4 or 5 in that the bug hits, and then I'm like, "Oh, I need to know what Claire's up to.
Yeah.
This shit's going down." And that was cute at the end of the Tonys when he came out as
Frank Underwood.
As Frank Underwood, and then Claire and Walter, whatever his name is, were with him. But
Yeah.
I thought she should have said something. I didn't like that she just walked
she
off
was
without
just silent.
speaking. Yeah. So those both start.
Maybe they didn't pay her enough to speak.
And I'm not sure if I mentioned this last week, but I
I'm
finally.
not kidding.
We had talked about. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta pay her
Well,
more.
no, yeah, because she's in a whole thing about being paid equally with him because she's getting paid less than him per episode or whatever, and it's a whole thing.
Oh, I didn't
But
know
I
that.
think they
Okay.
resolved it.
I think so too. I think
Because who's the other star? There's another show where the star did. Oh, Shameless almost didn't go into production because Phantom of the Opera chick.
oh, I love her. I don't
yeah,
remember her name.
I can't, Emily. Sure.
Sure.
Whatever. Jinx. She did the same thing and they paid her. William
Yeah.
H. Macy said he would stop working, he wouldn't go on unless
Right.
they paid her the same too.
More
He
if that needs to happen
because
all
he's
the
got to
time.
get laid at home and he's married to Felicity Huffman. So
That's right.
you know what I mean?
Priorities, people.
Wait,
Gotta have
well,
'em.
figured out he's married to a woman and he should probably stand up for women, right? What?
What the hell was that?
That's how that's supposed to work.
Unicorn booty. Okay. So we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and I was saying I didn't really get what the hoopla was about, and I can't remember last week if I mentioned it, but I saw Moana, and I cannot recommend this enough.
Yay!
What a charming
I'm
and
so
absolutely
excited.
speaking of someone's going to
Yes.
animation. What a beautifully rendered
Yeah.
piece of animation that is. That is a gorgeous movie. The songs were lovely.
So cute.
I really
And
didn't
everyone
see
always
that.
complains that Lin-Manuel Miranda only does rap stuff, and
No, it was beautiful.
I forgot that he was one of the composers, and that's where his Oscar nomination came from. Because at the end of it, I'm like, I want to know who wrote these songs. And then his name came up, and I'm like, well, he's multi-talented.
He's very talented.
A totally different style, but what a just beautiful movie that was.
And can you give us a brief storyline of the movie?
I felt like it was Hawaii, but I guess it's like an island princess who goes Polynesia,
something,
goes to
Pacific
find her
Island.
gods.
It's the
I should
kind
have
of-
gone to the Asian guy first. Thank
Well,
God.
yeah.
My bad.
Probably, yeah,
born
probably
in
is
Hawaii.
one.
No.
Oh, even better.
It's the,
Joining us now, our official Asian
Mekaleka High.
correspondent.
It's the cultures that are supposed to be the root cultures of all the other Polynesian, Hawaiian, Samoan. So these are like the root communities. Again, that there's a myth that at one time, right, they stopped voyaging. So this is not Hawaiian or Samoan, etc. specifically, but kind of a more
origin
ancient
story.
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
So and it was charming. The girl that's next to be the grand poobah of the island.
She's 16.
She's
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and then it was a young girl, and the girl's voice was beautiful. The songs were lovely. I was just amazed at how beautiful it was.
Wasn't she that's who sang
Yeah,
at
she
the
sang
Oscars?
at the Oscars, and
I
she
got
was
whacked
so
upside the
composed.
head. Yeah.
Right, with the flag. Or
Yeah,
whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
very composed, beautiful voice in that lovely song. And I mean, I still don't get what anybody was crying about, but I just thought it was just beautifully done. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But everybody at work always, because we were talking about that everybody at work was like, they just talk about it and they start tearing up. I don't know, maybe it's girl power. My vagina's not
It's a
working.
girl-
today.
yeah, it's a
Did you
girl
see
power
this in
thing.
a theater or did you watch it at home?
I watched it at home.
Okay.
Well, same,
Because
same song.
Yeah, it's been a minute since it was out.
Okay. I might have to partake in that.
So let's get So 2 things. This show called I Love Dick, and I think it's on Netflix or it's on Hulu, and I
Yeah.
can't remember
careful
which.
The
when
traditional
Hulu,
spelling.
I believe.
Traditional
Yeah.
spelling.
Be careful when you Google that,
Yeah,
people.
I know
Yeah.
exactly.
Search with
Don't
caution.
hit
Yeah,
images.
it's fine in my browser history.
And
Oh, is it an Amazon show?
I
It's
Oh,
an
it might
Amazon
be.
original
Right,
available
original.
with your Prime subscription.
Yes.
It's an
Yeah.
Amazon original.
I've tried to watch it.
I've been watching and I haven't seen it yet. I've been
Yeah.
watching all the Emmy predictions and everything, and everybody that's talking, all the critics, all the people, the editors that are going back and forth, keep coming back to this show of like, you got to watch this show. Like whether or not I'm sure it's eligible because it's been out for a month or two, or a couple weeks, and May 31st was the deadline.
Adding it to my watch list right now.
Yeah, I mean the cast.
I'm in
I've
desperate
heard
need of a
great
new
things
show.
about the cast, the writing, and you watched it and didn't enjoy it, or
I tried the first two or three, and I was like,
oh, okay. I'm a big fan of Jessica Hahn, though. I think she is that her name, or am I confusing her with like the guy?
Jessica Hahn is
Jessica
the
Hahn is,
the 80s.
yeah.
Slept with the
Right.
preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the actress's name then?
Stand by.
I just realized that sounds wrong.
Cast includes, you're very close. Cast includes Kevin Bacon, Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn.
Cousin of Jessica. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
There you
they're
go.
very close.
Sure.
But funny lady, and I love her and everything, and I always wonder like why don't they? She was in We're the Millers. She's the couple in the other
Right.
camper,
Right.
and she's always third tree from the left, and she's my favorite tree.
Third tree from the-
Well, you know what I mean? Like she hasn't had a starring
Oh, sure.
vehicle
She
yet.
plays best friend all the time because she's in the We're the
Oh.
Millers. She's in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Like you've seen her in
She's
1,000
in the
movies.
Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yep. She's like the one that it doesn't matter.
She's got like 6 episodes of Parks and Recreation.
I feel like she was in Bad Moms, but I can't remember if she was in
I
Bad
haven't
Moms.
seen that yet.
Bad Moms. Is
Yes,
on.
she was in Bad Moms.
Bad Moms. There's
Yeah.
a joke in there about her crying in front of a sad movie with the glass of
Oh
wine.
my God! Apparently they're making a sequel because on her credits is A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Yeah. They could make as many of those movies as they want to because I laughed from beginning to end. So I love Dick. There you go.
I'm watching it tomorrow.
So the Death Den
Not
has a new member. Adam West died not young and needlessly. He was old. He'd done his time.
Yeah.
But from all accounts, and I read a lot of different tributes to him from different people and a lot of different stories that were written, as I've now learned this word, contemporaneously at the time. And every single one of them described him as just a good guy, a nice man to work with.
Sisyphus.
Sisyphus wanted a more dramatic career, and then thought the Batman original script was kind of funny, and so he went with it because he just enjoyed the humor in it.
Sure.
And played it, and everyone seemed to love him. Like there was everyone's tributes to him, and some of them were written years ago about working with him, which is what contemporaneously means.
Here, one of the things that, and I was waiting for this tweet to come out, and it sure did. It was Shane MacFarlane, creator of Family Guy, or no,
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane. My bad. He came out with. I was waiting because Adam
he played the mayor.
He was the mayor, but he was such a bumbling mayor of the whole thing, and he knew. One of the things that he said was, working with him was wonderful. He had comedic timing. He got it. He understood the character and how they were writing it, and he read towards it. I doubt we get dinged for this. This is just a clip of a press conference with Mayor West from Quahog News, Channel 5.
I stand behind my decision. This press conference is over. I can't see you now. I can't hear you now. You're not here now. La 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 la.
And they said he never minded the fans. He didn't get bitter about the typecasting. Like stayed positive about it. So it was just lovely to read the tributes that came into him.
Well, and that he was apparently a little nervous. Nervous, but frustrated about the typecasting and realizing he really wasn't going to be able to break out of that. And I think it was his nephew, if I read that right, that said, but think of all the joy that you've brought people because of this role.
Because you're Batman.
Yeah,
right?
for Christ's sakes.
And think about what you've given.
Sure.
And he was like, okay.
Yeah,
and
and
then went
wore
with
it well. Yeah.
Very wise young grasshopper.
Yes, very wise.
Which always brings me back to
Not offensive,
Galaxy.
I'm not.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Okay, we're good.
Galaxy Quest, about them all being bitter at when it's Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman, and they're from the Star Trek like show, and they get abducted. That's all about the bitterness of the people that are typecast.
Got it.
And Alan Rickman is fantastic in that movie. So we'll talk about this real quick. Bill Maher came back on the air this past Friday. His first guest was I didn't write down anybody's names, and
Ice
I probably
Cube?
should have. No, that was his last
That was
guest.
later,
It was Ice
okay.
Cube. He had the professor on professor, activist.
And Marianne?
Yes. Who came on to, like, as he said, take him to the woodshed and really have a very serious conversation about race, about the use of the N-word, about what that does to people, how it was taken. And then they, like, went from that speaker, they went to the panel of 3, and in the middle, and I don't have her name either, but she was the Bernie Sanders spokesperson. She was on TV all the time about a year ago. And they didn't ask her opinion on it. And then finally, after Ice Cube came in and kind of told him off.
So the doctor is
I don't know if he's a doctor.
Dyson, Michael Eric Dyson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Dyson.
And a very frequent guest on there quite a bit, and they had a very serious conversation. And then they turned to the woman, which is what Bill Maher is mostly guilty of, is like I said, he has that little tinge of misogyny that kind of runs through his shows. And finally they asked her, like, what are your thoughts? And she's like, well, because I do have one about what you said. But it turned into what some of these things can turn into, a very honest, interesting conversation between people who are clearly on the same political side. And all of them, like, you're not racist. Like, it was stupid. It's entitled. You're an asshole for saying it. But we're clearly not going to not be friends or think something of it. Like, you weren't calling someone a name. You weren't using it in a malicious way. You just used it stupidly. Right. It just came out as a response to a really bizarre thing that the senator said, and he tried to make a joke out of a really and it just went wrong on everybody. Like, just fell apart. So, and Ice Cube just said, he's like, this is kind of a serious show, and I don't like that you hide behind comedy. And then for the rest of the show, it just got funnier and funnier. And Ice Cube was trying very hard not to laugh. And then finally he broke. Like, halfway through New Rules, he just broke down, started laughing, and Bill Maher's like, see, it's a comedy show.
So the woman on the panel, her name is Simone Sanders. She's an activist, and she was press secretary for Bernie Sanders.
And she was always on MSN. I didn't write down any names. I've been trapped in work.
It's okay.
So, but it really was.
I'm here for you.
That is what some of these situations can turn into, is where people of a similar mind can have an interesting conversation and try to find a way to make it work so that you're not just, like, writing someone off as...
I haven't seen the interview. Obviously, I have access to it because I have all of those channels, but I just haven't happened to watch it. During the interview, was it ever brought up? I'm not justifying. I'm not saying they can or can't do it. Was curious. Was it ever brought up as to why certain artists use it in their lyrics
they talk
all
about
the time?
that a lot.
They
They're
do.
like,
Okay.
And they're like,
So
we
then
can
I'll
use
have
it, and
to
they were just very, we can use it, you can't.
So again, I will go back to it's the same thing of straight people can't call us faggots, but we can call ourselves that if we want to.
Sure. Right.
Okay, like you, I can say it.
It's a topic that another comedian that kind of treads that line all the time is that Justin Sayre that I'm always pushing on everybody.
Oh,
when
sure.
he does his 54 Below stuff and the meetings, the minutes from the meetings of Order of Sodomites. Very funny stuff, but he touches on the racist side of it all.
True,
and what it means when you say, like, no blacks, no browns, no femmes, no fats, like, just how shitty you are as a human when you start limiting people by, like, color of skin.
Get some profiles.
Yeah, get some embarrassing pictures. So it was a very interesting hour that got onto the right topics. Like, they were able to discuss that stuff and then go back and turn it into politics and what they're really doing. And then I knew he had to work a little bit harder to get people back on his side, and it was one of the best New Rules he's ever done. It was truly funny, and Ice Cube was working hard to not laugh.
Okay, well, that'll be worth it right there just to watch him.
Everybody had great points. So now we'll get to the most important things. The Tonys.
Tonys.
Again, I didn't watch them live because I had to work. And I just happened to catch, like, in the late night, early morning, whatever the fuck it was, a review from, like, the LA Times that was like, if they want viewers to tune in, they can't make it so inside theater. Like, no one understands the cast on Kevin Spacey's arm. Then Google it.
Right.
Well, and that's...
it's Broadway. It's like one block in New York. It doesn't go across the country. You have to go to it. They're allowed to be a little exclusive, people.
And understandably, the article in the New York Times about it was a little more forgiving, but it did kind of illustrate that that challenge that the Tony Awards has that maybe other awards shows don't quite, because they never quite know who to play to. Right? Are you playing to the room and all these people that are going to get the theater jokes, or are you playing to the televised audience, like the greater
because
uneducated
the Oscar host
audience?
can play to the audience and get the inside jokes, but people have seen the movies.
Right.
But this is your way to get interested in a Broadway show.
Right, and I think they should just keep playing to that room.
And I do too.
Yeah.
Do not dumb shit
Please
down.
don't
We have
dumb it
dumbed
down.
enough stuff down.
Right.
You should be curious as to why Evan Hansen has a cast in his
Right.
arm, and
Wait.
go find it the fuck out yourself.
Right.
Like it
Well,
just pisses me
I
off.
would equate it to the same thing. I would equate it to something similar. I always use a vehicle or a car analogy for these things, but there's no only because I agree with what you're saying. Don't dumb it down. There are thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who get all those inside jokes, but it doesn't always play to Middle America, and not everybody gets it. Okay, so there's a
then don't watch.
So there's a car show, and it's about cars I don't like. Well, you don't have to explain every goddamn intricacy of the car so you get everybody to like it. Some people like those things. Some people like motorcycles. I don't understand, Star Trek, and all of those things.
So
I don't
when
give
you're
a
at
shit
the
about it.
Subaru Festival,
There's no reason that they have to dumb down a Star Trek show for me so that I understand every little subtle nuance.
Yeah.
There are people that like it and there's people that don't.
Yeah,
I
not
don't
everything's
think-
for you. That's what we learned from that
Right.
whole SNL about Beyonce. Not everything's about you.
No, but I agree with what you're saying. Play
Yeah.
to that room, and they get it. But everybody else who's in theater in all these little towns around they get it. It's their vernacular. They understand it.
Yeah, they're right on board. So, anyways, and the other criticism I thought was unfair that they picked on. Well, why is Kevin Spacey doing song and dance? He's not a song and dance man. He's a serious actor, and I'm like,
have you not?
Doesn't he have a
He's got
Tony?
he
has a Tony Award, people.
And he's a song and dance. The only movie he ever directed himself was about Bobby Darin because he wants to be a song and dance man. And
He's a
very
hell of a
skilled-
singer.
And he's a very skilled impersonator. Like he's one of those like Borscht Belt. Like if that still existed,
Yeah.
you could still go play the Catskills and make a living. That's where Kevin Spacey would be.
Well, Totally.
Singing, dancing, impressions.
He used to be on
dramatic
Letterman all the
monologues.
time. In addition to his impersonations, he would sing songs.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a singer.
Yeah, and he did a bang. My point is, he did a bang up job. I thought it was very entertaining. I thought that opening number was exhausting and fun.
It was super cute.
I haven't seen the opening number. I've got to go back to see that whole thing.
He did all 4 nominated
The Whoopi
musicals.
joke.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
Brought
I
the
did
house
watch it.
down.
Yeah.
How long you been in the closet? Depends on who you
Depends
are.
And then he says, "I'm coming out." No. way.
I did see it. Now
Yeah.
I forgot about it. I did see
So
it.
very clever and a nice tribute to all the shows. Lots of fun. The other thing that article was they were talking about all the inside baseball references, but they did like it when I'm gonna get everybody's name wrong.
It's okay. I'll help.
Brian Stokes Mitchell
Yep.
walked out with Jonathan Groff, and he was like, "But that was kind of cute to have the original King George from Hamilton be the same guy as the guy that's currently playing King George in Hamilton." I'm like, okay, now who's inside baseball, fucker?
Not Brian Stokes Mitchell. Brian Darcy James.
Yep, same thing. One is Shrek, one is Ragtime.
Yes.
Yes, that's the difference. So, big fun moments of the evening. Sutton Foster got to give a Tony to Gavin Creel, who was her Jimmy, her true love in Thoroughly Modern Millie. So she won the
Jimmy.
Tony for that, and she got to turn around and finally, after 3 nominations, give Gavin Creel his Tony for featured actor in Hello, Dolly.
Yep.
Kevin Kline won his 3rd Tony and seemed to not really give a shit if he was there or not. It was he started off with the British accent and ended up with
odd.
like a semi-political speech about the endowment for the arts and humanities, and he lost the accent midway through, and then he just kind of walked off stage. I'm like, is he high? It was
maybe.
very strange.
Could be.
Could have been.
But his 3rd Tony. Oslo came up big, which turns out was about the peace accords in Oslo. Interesting. And the one thing that they did that I thought was interesting was all 4 best playwrights came out and told about the work and what the show was about.
I thought that was cool too.
In years past, they've done little, like a scene from the play that was always a little
like, what?
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
because you'd have to try, but again, you had to figure out what the play was
Right.
about, and if you wanted to see more, it's like a preview. Do you want to see more based on this, or are you like, it doesn't seem interesting at all?
Totally.
And I thought all 4 stories that they told sounded very interesting. Mm-hmm. But Oslo won. Jitney got best revival of a play, and then the thing that I was dying to see, turns out Little Foxes, my favorite Betty Davis movie. Laura Linney, I guess, got this whole thing up and running with Cynthia Nixon as her co-star. They swap roles. So depending on what night you see it, you might see Laura Linney as Regina and Cynthia Nixon as Birdie, or vice versa.
I didn't
so
know
what
that.
they did for the Tony Awards is they went with who played what on opening night.
Okay.
So Cynthia Nixon went into featured actress as Birdie, and Laura Linney went in as Regina. And if you haven't seen the movie, wait for it on AMC
What is the
Classics.
reasoning for alternating the roles?
Just to do it like a repertory company, switch up the
Okay.
roles. You know, and they're two completely different. Birdie's the kind of like beaten up, trodden down aunt that's kind of out of the loop, and Regina's like the queen bee that's like literally trying to run the family and kill her husband and all this stuff. So what a great way to stretch your acting muscles than
That's
to
really
switch
cool,
every
yeah.
other night. Yeah, and two great actresses. So because Laura Linney can do no wrong. The boys from La La Land now have won an Oscar and a Tony in the same year.
Yep.
So they won for Dear Evan Hansen, which won book and musical,
And
supporting actress.
they have an opportunity to fast track their EGOT
Got-
all in a year because they have their Grammy, right?
Yes.
For La La Land.
Yes, I think
They
so.
have their Tony for Dear Evan Hansen. They wrote the music for an episode of television, and the cast album for Dear Evan Hansen could and possibly might win a Grammy. So they have a slim little opportunity
To do it all in 1 year.
To do it all in 1 year.
Yeah. So
Can you imagine?
And how cute were they?
Oh,
They're so cute.
Totes
they
adorable.
are-
I'm excited. Yeah.
And I was hoping to go watch some Asian porn with them in it later.
The haiku?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. For the older woman in me.
Hey, T. the miffle?
The nipple, yeah.
The
So
miffle in us all.
That was absolutely charming, and best actor in play went to Ben Platt.
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 Oh, I was gonna throw chairs out a window if he didn't. Like,
Oh, and I think the whole world was.
knew. Yeah, everyone knew.
And came out and did that song in character with that weird posture and those weird gestures. And
He was spot on.
And that's
just
and people tear up at that. That's not the number to cry to.
oh yeah, there's more coming.
There's more.
That's just
so
the
much
opening
more.
salvo.
The ones available to you on the internet. The one I want you to go find is where he performs For Forever.
Okay.
I think he's on the Seth Meyers show. And watch his face as he sings. And if you don't cry with him, you have no soul.
It's a beautiful performance, and what could easily just be a one-man show that if you pulled him out, but luckily everyone's
He
doing
could do
so
it,
much.
yeah.
And aside from the glove song, all of those songs could be arranged slightly differently and be put on the radio, and you could pretend
sure.
it was by Ben Folds, you could pretend it was by she
yeah.
and him. Like there's folksy, like there's the one song us and I or something. You and us.
It's only us. There's only us.
That I swear to God is just right off a She and Him album. Like just change one lyric. So really well done. He was great, won the Tony, great speech, but his father, in a little bit of Oscar trivia, was the producer of La La Land, and he was the one that won the Oscar, and he's the only one that didn't know that they had lost. So his speech was before, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because, the tall guy had it kind of coming
Yeah,
in his ear, and
yeah.
the third guy was like, no, and they made him. Well, that's his father, who produced Wicked. It's 2 years in a row nominated for an Oscar, and that's who he was thanking in the audience. And so there's a little bit of nepotism, but he clearly
Whatevs.
wins the day in this show because I mean they panned to different people in the audience as he was performing that were just openly weeping, which I was like, clearly they've seen the show.
Yeah.
And then the moment of the gay moment of the night and the biggest miscue in CBS history, Bette Midler wins for Hello Dolly, which won for Best Featured Actor and for revival of a musical. And okay, you're in gay hog heaven. I don't care who you are. You know the gays are watching. You don't play Bette Midler off.
And she proved it because she played the band off.
As they were like, the show must go on. They went from playing Dolly underneath her to the show must go on as like a cue and turn that crap off. It was spectacular. And her, I had teachers too. She was so good, just like you people. I'm going to thank some teachers. They're long since dead.
Yeah. But I'm naming them.
I'm 71, but we're still going there.
And she continued backstage.
Oh, really?
So the fun part is after she finished on stage, they go to the backstage interview and the photo op and everything back there, and she made a whole other thank you speech backstage and named a whole bunch of other people because she went wait I forgot some people and carried on backstage.
But she thanked dressers, wig people, and
all the
71
people.
years old, her first legit acting honor. Like she's won a Golden Globe, but we all know those are paid for. So this, I mean, it's 71 years old.
Absolutely, give it to her. Let her have the extra minutes.
Yeah, and the fact that she's just and if you read the reviews, even the one that I read that was negative was like, but the crowd is losing its fucking mind for the moment she walks on stage.
Right.
Well, I was really you guys had said that they couldn't put the stage together, the staging.
And I think it might have had a little bit to do with teaching her slightly new choreography. If they rearranged the stage.
Well, because I wish that they had, because that David Hyde Pierce thing was painful.
Yeah.
Well, and there were
I
a
liked
couple.
the little song. I liked it because it had a story.
It's cute, but there's
that was
4
cute,
other
but-
songs from that musical that I would have done
I was
instead.
surprised they didn't go with Elegance, but I think it was the chance
Put
to
on
let
your
Dave
Sunday clothes.
Yeah.
But didn't they say that was one that was that hadn't been published?
It had been taken out.
Yeah, it had been taken out of the original
Whatever.
one because they didn't know where to place it.
Okay.
After they did dancing, they went back to Horace Van de Gelder because I read that fucking liner notes last week, and that the audience wanted more Dolly. So that's where Before the Parade Passes By comes in. It's the first act closer. So they were like, and then they found a way to stick it. It's the throwaway song at the beginning of the second act while everybody's coming back
But
from their
that's
seats.
the one that they choose?
Yeah.
Right, but I think it was a chance because they knew he wasn't going to win the Tony. They knew he's not getting like all the love that he needs. He was definitely the one person in that show that was not winning a Tony against Ben Platt.
Sure.
So they gave him a little chance to shine because,
Fair.
you know, he's in the box. His name is in the box, so you get your money back if he doesn't. No, I think above the title, if you're not in the show, you can get your money back if they do an understudy. In the box, I never remember the rules, but there's a rule about if your name is in a box on a poster. That's how you get your money back.
Oh, I didn't know.
Wonderful speech. The performances were great. I have my Come From Away CD, but I can't stop listening to
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, I can't. I cannot give that show up. It's on a constant loop.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it'll get there. Come From Away will wait for you.
Yeah.
It will.
Beautiful. Just in it, everything. The Groundhog Day song. They were like, well, they gave away the ending. Well, you probably saw the movie.
Right. You probably know the ending.
Spoiler
it's
alert.
gonna be okay.
It's a groundhog.
Yeah, I was excited to see a different number from them than I had seen because I weekly scour the world and the internet for new clips of stuff. So I was happy to see a new number from Groundhog Day. I was happy to see a new number from The Great Comet.
Yes, and that was wow,
what a production they threw together.
Wow,
that looks like so.
The Great Comet.
The Great Comet. The really bawdy Russian one.
It's a little piece of War and Peace.
Yeah.
It's like one chapter of War and Peace made into a musical.
And it looks, and I finally kind of started to kind of get into the soundtrack of that one. Just the other day, I finally started listening to the words.
Josh Groban is the lead in that.
Yeah.
And every time he does something, I'm more delighted by him.
And it looked to me, it looked that way. It looked very Fiddler on the Roof just because of the characters in the era.
Right.
But,
sure. And the storyline is kind of like an opera, soap opera, kind of with a Russian
blonde.
setting.
I had to Google him.
Right. Yeah, that was good.
We were trying to figure out who that was. We thought it was
I wasn't wowed about the number from Miss Saigon.
Again, Miss Saigon sucks.
Again, well, but again, I thought,
except her voice.
I thought, well, absolutely, she's wonderful. But I thought they could have gone a couple other ways and would have been a better number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just was like, this is the song that you picked.
I'm sorry. The only song I know from that entire thing is "Bring Him Home," and I like that song.
No, that's Les Mis.
That's Les Mis.
Same composers, but wrong.
Oh,
show.
my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Saigon is the song sung on a solo saxophone or whatever. That's on.
Why am I
Last
here?
Night of the World,
Last Night of the
or
World.
there's
Why am
Bring Him
I-
Home is Les Mis.
Let me stop it. This isn't a goddamn Senate interrogation. Let me finish my question.
All right.
Something about a rusty bed. Why am I hearing this rusty bed? Is that Les Mis? Because the line that I'm thinking of, the song that I'm talking about, there's something about.
That's got to be a Miss Saigon because
Okay,
I know every word of Les Mis. They suffer a
Why
lot. But
am
not
I
for a
he-
rusty
Why
bed.
am I hearing this rusty bed? Okay, so let me Google that. You all talk
Please
about
do.
something
I
else.
just want to see you Google rusty bed and see what comes up. Do not chicken images.
I'm not.
I get very nervous about
I will
it.
preface it by Miss Saigon.
I
And
do
we
have
know
to
my
say,
browser
I thought the
history.
war paint number was excellent.
really good.
Really well sung. I didn't know Patti LuPone could listen to another singer and not
Why God?
screech all over
Why
them.
Miss Saigon?
Oh,
why God?
That's
Why?
where my expression "Why God? Why" comes from sitting in that fucking musical. That's why I say it all the time. Because I hated that show.
Oh God, we hated that Patti LuPone thing.
See, and it turns out, so we have this running thing at the bar during show tunes. I have Patti LuPone night and definitely not Patti LuPone night. And on definitely not Patti LuPone night, we spend a fair amount of time talking about her lack of consonants.
Okay.
But it turns out if you put a Russian accent on her, bam,
Consonants
all over the
Okay,
place.
okay.
Yeah, even the Patti LuPone haters were like, that was a great number.
I was like, that's the best she's ever sounded, and it turns out Christine Ebersol is a big enough bitch to get her in place, because Patti LuPone does that Aretha thing.
Yeah.
Where you can't sing a duet with Aretha because she just starts screaming all over you.
What in the hell is going on?
Right, exactly. And then I thought the last number with Kevin Spacey was very touching, and I like that
Very
they brought
cute.
the Tony
Yeah.
winners on stage,
It's
and
okay.
I like that the first when Jitney won.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have one more thing on that. When Jitney won, and he was like, "Oh, we're breaking the rules. Everybody's coming up on stage. Like, fuck that 6 people limit."
Mm-hmm.
When they brought out Cynthia Erivo and Leslie Odom Jr.
Oh,
I pulled
yeah.
out my phone because I have this belief that Cynthia Erivo needs to put out a Broadway hits album, and it should be titled Cynthia Erivo Sings Your Shit Better Than You.
You do, yeah.
And so I pulled out my phone immediately and texted some friends that would get the joke, and I said, wait a minute, Cynthia Erivo's about to sing better than Leslie Odom Jr.
Yeah. And she was.
And she did, and she sang better than he did.
So speaking of EGOTs, if you weren't paying
Let's.
attention to the little
Crawler.
tags at the little crawlers at the bottom, John Legend just won a Tony because he was one of the producers of Jitney.
Oh.
So now he is 3/4 of his way through an EGOT. And I just wanted to Google and see if he does have the Emmy, because he could have.
He needs the Emmy?
He needs the Emmy because he definitely got a Grammy, and he won an Oscar from the theme from Selma.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wow, bam, he's all of a sudden real fast into the EGOT category. So, and he's always appearing on something. Somebody's gonna
EGOT's all up
nominate
in
for
this
something.
bitch.
And I was also wondering, speaking of EGOTs, if one of the things that they said to Kevin Spacey, because he keeps losing the fucking lead actor Emmy, is if they're like, you got a shot if you host the Tonys of winning the special programs thing that Neil Patrick Harris
you
has
can
won.
win an Emmy for
you can for being
hosting
a host.
the Tonys, sure.
So I was wondering if they were trying to get him his EGOT that way, because
Interesting.
he keeps losing for House of Cards. Because he
Right.
was number 17, and it was like, why is it?
The Spread Eagle.
Yeah, the Spread Eagle. Because he's not. Steppenwolf Theater is Gary Sinise. Whose theater is he? Kevin Spacey has his own theater company, just like Gary Sinise does, right? Gary Sinise is Steppenwolf.
Stand by.
I think.
I believe so.
So that was it. It was
Going
just,
to Wikipedia.
and that is it. And Gavin Creel, I guess he married somebody else because he couldn't wait for me, but I still love
so
them.
sad.
Would the Ben Platt performance have been on Stephen Colbert?
Yes.
It was good
Well,
on
one-
Stephen
well, one
Colbert,
of
but
them-
it was better on
Seth
Seth Meyers.
Meyers?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Stephen Colbert one's been making the
Trying to
rounds.
find that
Wait,
one. He sang a different song on Seth Meyers.
Oh,
it looks
yeah.
like.
right,
Or
you're
Waving
looking
Through a
you're
Window
looking
or
for Forever.
For Forever.
He's saying Waving Through a Window on a million shows. They're all good. The Seth Meyers one is the best one because you can actually see the spit coming out of his mouth. 14 times. I counted.
There you go.
I spend a lot of time watching show tunes. You
Yeah.
don't know.
That
But
came from her, not me.
it might have been Colbert that he sang For Forever.
I think it is.
But the song is For Forever.
Okay, that's because that's what I'm finding. I'm seeing something else for Seth Meyers.
No. For Forever. He's only done it in one place that I can find that I know of, and that's it. So if you found it, that's
yeah,
it.
the Dear Evan Hansen waving through a window was. Seth
That's
Meyers.
everywhere. Literally
Oh,
everywhere.
okay.
But and he does it, and Kathy and Hoda is good too. It's good on there.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one. Or
Um,
I didn't.
Can you give me just and you may have done this last week because you were creaming all over this musical previous week's give me a synopsis of the Dear Evan Hansen story,
So the Dear Evan Hansen story.
because I don't know, I don't get what
is-
it's about, and so
right.
far I have no interest in it.
So
My new
it's
favorite.
about
Gross.
it's about a teenage boy, a very anxiety-ridden, like insecure teenage boy. And as the storyline goes, there's a suicide of a peer. And, as can sometimes happen, you know what I mean? Sometimes when somebody dies, people kind of fall all over themselves to find the connection to the deceased, right?
To
You know-
make themselves part of the story. So
Right. So
and we've all seen that go on in the
Sure.
gay community.
Yeah. So
We have friends like that.
Yeah, there's the kid commits suicide, and so Evan Hansen, the main character, like creates this whole fictional email thread that makes it look like they're best friends, right? And so then when you make up that kind of a lie, eventually you're going to get caught in that kind of a lie. Compound that with the trouble of being a teenager and being an insecure, like introverted teenager. The parent characters do a number. I think is it the opening number?
Yeah,
Anybody have a map? which is a song about the two moms, Evan Hansen's mom and the soon-to-be dead kid's mom, both kind of singing, this inner monologue about, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I've got this kid that I don't know what to do with, and I'm having this hard time managing. Does anybody have a map? Does anybody know how the hell to do this? Right? So you've got the two main families just kind of trying to navigate these terrible teenage years, compounded by social media.
Okay.
So I mean, social media plays a huge part in this show.
And so then, in that effort to be connected to the dead kid, then Evan Hansen creates this like video that goes viral about how this shouldn't happen to anybody else, and we should see everyone. And that's right. That's where the "You Will Be Found" number comes in.
And that's where you start crying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just so much.
And the
so
third
your love
song,
of
disappear about you. No one should disappear. Like, you shouldn't just stop mattering.
And your love of the story, and a friend brought you the shirt.
So a regular Show Tunes customer of mine came to watch the Tonys with us at Cobalt because I was there, to help out and to watch the Tonys, but my official purpose was work driven. But yeah, so I show up and I'm there and we're getting set up and we're getting ready. And my friend Cass had recently gone to New York and had seen it and came in. And she usually comes to see our late night Show Tunes on Thursday. What's that?
Comedian?
Cass?
Yeah.
Elliot?
Okay. No.
Mama?
Pharmacist.
Mama? Okay.
No.
Just curious.
But yeah, she says, hey, I have a present for you. And not pictured there, she also brought me the playbill. Because she went to see it. She bought me a T-shirt and brought me the playbill and said, here, I brought you a present. So I immediately put the shirt on.
Yep.
I wore it for a day and a half and then decided maybe laundry.
But it's not with malicious intent that it starts. There's a misunderstanding that makes the parents think that the two boys were friends.
Yeah.
The parents are led to believe by a misunderstanding that Evan Hansen knows the boy that committed suicide, and he can't break it to them that he doesn't know. Like, they think he had a friend, and they're all excited. So it's from like the best possible place that he starts to lie, and it just gets.
But then can't get out of it. And it gets away from him.
And gets away from him, and like lives
snowballs.
People feel better. People feel worse.
And the one that will wreck you is words fail.
Oh God. I cry in my car while I'm listening to that because and there's all the things about him crying.
Like, people pull over to listen to that because they're crying in their car and they can't drive it. I've had 3 people tell me this story about how they were driving like to California or someplace listening to Dear Evan Hansen, and they get to words fail.
Don't play it.
Yeah.
They get to words fail, and I literally have had 3 people tell me I had to pull over because you're just ugly crying because you know what I mean. He's got to this point where he just doesn't know what to say. He just can't say anything.
He can't
There's
lie.
nothing
People
I can
are getting
say.
hurt. He wants to stop lying. He's not a bad kid, and you hurt for him. You hurt for like all the family members.
So
we were so impressed watching him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just because I was watching it from a different place. Aaron has anxiety.
Sure.
And was just astounded watching that, saying, if you don't know anything about this and you have anxiety, you can relate.
Oh, you can feel his.
And you can.
Yeah.
And
you can just feel it coming off of him.
And watching other signs like I do within my work and watching the different ticks, the pulling at the shirt.
Oh,
and
go watch The 4 Forever. You'll die.
I was just.
The tics that he said he has to work with physical therapists so he doesn't stay hunched over like that because he's assuming such bad posture.
He's 30 pounds underweight and stays that way to stay, the size of a scrawny little teenager.
And the thing that he does with his leg is to help him hit notes, like his voice teacher, because he's always hunched over and not in a good place, that she gives him positions to like find the power notes. I was just to see it live, I got goosebumps the whole. I watched it that's why I had to keep reminding it because I just need to see that.
So good
again.
But the musical appeals to such a wide range of people because like kids are into it because they can directly relate to it. You know what I mean? Like it's going like wildfire throughout teenagers. And of course their parents relate to it because they have these teenagers and are dealing with these issues. Some people connect to it because they, were that kid at one point. I think there's just enough universal insecurity and universal theme in the storyline that everyone kind of can grab onto it and connect to it.
So just in hearing you talk about that and seeing some different stuff that we read, how much it seems like there's a lot of this coming out with 13 Reasons Why.
I was completely doing that. I was blending the two from a story.
It seems to be where social media is leading to.
Right.
It just kinds to.
Art imitates life.
Yeah, and the fact that
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. And
Does it?
That's that charm he was talking about earlier.
Boy,
that he's so famous for.
Hey, don't get any more on me.
Hey, watch it, sussy puss.
And I think the one thing that people are really that's really kind of hitting home on every level now is hitting home on every level. It's kind of mixing a lot of different things, but the fact that you can't get like
ringing every bell.
You're
welcome.
You can ring my bell.
As older people are starting to realize that teenagers and people like that can't get away from bullies. You can't go home and find safe haven.
Sure.
It's following
Walk
you
away
home.
from them.
Right, because you're holding it in your hand, literally. I mean,
and that really
sounded
is.
bad,
but I know.
But
where those two things overlap is I think, as art starts to follow along with life, as they start to meet, people are starting to realize that common theme of like, this shit doesn't stop, and it is turning into this, and suicide's turning into, there's always a copycat. You always have to worry about glorifying suicide because people think it's a way to get attention.
Look at how much everyone's paying attention to this person who died.
Right.
Yeah. And
the outpouring of love and all this.
And suddenly you want, oh my God, he was my best friend. We were way closer. Right. And I guess the one writer, Benj, I think he goes by Benj or Benji. I don't know how we're pronouncing that. He's missing a vowel. It's $250.
I think Patty LuPone has it.
You go to Paris.
You could swap one consonant for one vowel during Evita. So I guess it happened in his school that there was a suicide, and it stayed in the back of his mind as the nugget for the seed for the play was that all the people that just all of a sudden were more involved in the story than they should have been. But to have this kid get to it in that way and have it just this performance and the song, there's a song called Requiem that is. To me, it's just beautiful because I love, and it's not that kind of musical theater that's been going on lately where it's like just everybody's like trying to out-Sondheim each other of just like how many words can we get into a fucking song,
right?
And it's all exposition. These songs have choruses, they repeat, like it's a pop song. It's what people would actually be listening to. But there's Requiem, which is the kind of the one wordy song where they come at Requiem of why they won't sing a Requiem. One is because the boy's still alive because now he had a friend. Like she's because the girl is because she never really liked him. They weren't that close, so why should she be sad? And the mom sings, like everybody has a different reason to not sing a Requiem. And that to me, it's just beautiful writing and a lovely song and so just clever and lovely. And you're sad for all three of them. Like all three of them are singing a Requiem about not singing a Requiem. And it's just a beautiful syphilis. Sisyphus. So that's it.
Sisyphus.
We tried to, but they were wonderful. The Tonys always the most entertaining award show of them all.
Well,
and not live.
I do love the Tonys.
And so you enjoyed Kevin Spacey overall? I mean,
yeah.
I did too.
His throwaway at the end at Bette Midler was hilarious.
I gotta get the hell out of here before Bette Midler thanks anybody.
And that wasn't on the spot.
I had set my DVR to record an extra 30 minutes after cutoff time, and it cut off. I literally got cut off mid Bette Midler, and I was like, "Fuck!" But I'm sure I can find it online. The rest of her.
You can for a limited time. You should be able to watch it free on just CBS.com.
Right, but I don't know how much from her. How much more is there?
But there's only 2 more awards.
Okay.
Because Evan Hansen, he had already won. He wins first, then her, and then it's Best Musical.
And then final number, and you're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Patty, the last number was charming. It was a song written especially for Bobby Darin, and he and Patti LuPone sing it. Just so it's not so showboaty of him doing a big final number. He brings up, another gay legend. Like, love or hate her, she's still Patti LuPone. You still respect The Office.
Shut up, Patti LuPone.
Yeah. You still respect The Office. It's still La LuPone. And she sang.
Yeah. I was really hoping that they were going to, Hamilton it out and have Dear Evan Hansen do You Will Be Found. That's how I wanted the Tony stand, because I knew they were going to win. So then just move from the skinny little microphone all the way over to stage, do You Will Be Found. Away we go.
But I think that there was a clamor last year because there's so little meat for us to chew on as Hamilton fans, because all they ever do is that fucking goddamn the world turned upside down Yorktown number. Put another song online. Feed us.
he
I found
does.
all the covers and all the versions.
Yeah.
I got everything. I have everything you need, Al, right here on a 500
I have to
gigabyte hard
watch
drive.
a high school
that's
production of
full.
Hamilton do Satisfied, and it's delightful.
All right, so that's wrapped up
That's
for the
it, yeah.
intro. Well, all right, here we go, boys and girls. It's a little segment we call Two Things. It's with Kat Carlson. Here we go.
Two things is what she brings. Two things is what she's talking about. Two things, important little things. That is what she's spouting out.
You just need two things.
That means two things.
Let's get two things clear.
And then two things about yourself.
And I've come to share with you one of two things. No, two of two things. We're sharing two things right now.
There are only two things I can't stand in this world.
Quick, grab two things you love.
It can be two things.
Only two things in the world I'm scared of.
Rise of fries and two things.
Remember two things.
I believe in two things.
Guys are only after two things.
What's better, doing two things at once or just one?
Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kat Carlson.
Oh, my goodness.
Whole
well,
ass.
I'm going to whole ass this right now. We have been strikingly not very political this show, so we're going to bring it on around. Bring it on around to a couple of things. Number one, horrible person of the week. I know there's so many to choose from.
I know. I can't wait to hear who wins.
You don't even know who wins. Who wins? Could be anybody. It could be Paul Ryan. It could be Reince Priebus. It could be number 45. Could be Jared Kushner. But no, today I have picked Rick Tyler from Tennessee.
Oh. Tyler from Tennessee.
Different.
No, not our Tyler from Tennessee.
Okay.
Rick Tyler.
Yep.
You can visit his website at ricktylerforcongress.com.
Oh,
you can,
I know this one.
You can also find information on his campaign at makeamericawhiteagain.info.
Oh my God.
I'm going to find the
Oh, yeah, that's the first thing that comes up.
Yep, that's a thing. An independent candidate for Congress from Tennessee has been swept up in a wave of criticism, can't imagine why,
Yeah.
for his campaign billboard vowing to, quote, make America white again.
Stand by. I'm bringing up images just moments from now.
Yep.
God.
He's running for the 3rd Congressional District in the northeastern part of Tennessee. He put up the billboard alongside Highway 411 in Polk County to make a point that the Leave It to Beaver, Ozzie and Harriet, Mayberry America of old was vastly superior to what we are experiencing today.
There it is.
And
right there.
works of fiction, all.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them reflect the real life that those people were
Lived, yeah.
experiencing or lived at all.
Wow.
In a Facebook post on Wednesday night of last week, Tyler wrote, "It was an America where doors were left unlocked, violent crime was a mere fraction of today's rate of occurrence, and there were no carjackings, home invasions, Islamic mosques, or radical jihadist sleeper cells."
Can these people just get an island?
Right.
And all move to that, build their wall around the island. I don't give a shit, which they won't ever do because all of the wealthy people have to live on the beach,
Right.
because that's what they do.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how it's like. Okay, coal jobs aren't coming back. America is changing. Why do you have to just keep holding on to that thread?
Because
We just have to
white
wait for them to
people
die.
are terrible.
I guess.
Yeah. You just have to wait for them to
Throughout
die.
History.
Can we speed this
And
up?
I'm with Aaron. Was that Laura Ingalls that was on there on the sign?
On
stand
the
by.
sign?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stand by, let me
it
look.
could
I
have
was
been.
thinking the same thing, Aaron.
Yep, probably.
by the wagon up in the upper right hand
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
And if not, we're
That's
going
a
to make
good
it
guess.
so.
Yeah, because that's fucking
She
ridiculous.
doesn't seem like she should see anything. Maybe it's Mary.
Blind.
We have Columbus,
Make America blind
and then
again.
George Washington.
Right. White people that did horrible things.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. We like the statues of Christopher Columbus. I want to like. Can we take those down? I mean, they're not Confederate flags, but it's right.
I'd rather have the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
I mean, do we need the guy that got lost and brought smallpox and took back slaves?
Right.
Like,
Well,
We don't need that
is
guy.
there somebody better we could build? I don't get it.
Need that guy.
your favorite tributes to Native Americans, ladies and gentlemen, Columbus.
Exactly.
We were already here.
Please syphilis.
Yeah,
We found
I
it.
found my car in the parking lot today. Same accomplishment.
Please come in and pillage.
I was just as lost as he was.
You found something that was already found.
I mean, I didn't know where it was.
That's not beside. That's
My
beside the
phone
point.
did, but I
Oh my
never
God.
used that app.
When you get to work, you should sing just a little bit of "You Will Be Found" to your car before you leave it.
Well, now you know I'm not going to do anything else.
Right as you're locking it, "You will be found," and then go on into work.
I'll just sing "I Will Sing No Requiem" for you because I don't even remember what you were.
Lovely, lovely. All right, thing number 2, because I know we're running out of time.
No, how? When did you become clock watcher?
Because I know how to tell time.
Okay.
Oh well.
Tweets, nothing but tweets. I don't. I don't. First of all, I personally read them and go, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That seems about right. Cuckoo's at it again. But there are a couple of interesting, newsworthy things happening legally about tweets. Number 1, there is a bill that will go nowhere, but was introduced to Congress.
I'm not sure it will go nowhere.
I'm pretty sure it'll go nowhere.
Ooh.
All right,
Point, counterpoint.
Who are we putting money on?
It's
Money
like
down,
we're on
money down,
Crossfire
money
right
down.
now.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
We got a point, got another point. Counterpoint.
First of all, tell us about the bill.
Let me find out what it stands for again, because I was gonna do it.
Bill.
I was gonna do it from memory, and then decided that I still don't remember what it all stands for. But a Democratic lawmaker introduced the Covfefe bill.
Oh, I'm sorry, Covfefe.
I don't care how you see it.
Up your ass.
I don't have any wine left.
Representative.
Out of all the bottles in that fridge, you have no wine left?
I do.
In his glass.
Oh.
Representative Mike Quigley from Illinois.
God damn. Little sunburn got a little bitchy, didn't she?
Getting itchy. I gotta go home and put aloe on it. Anyway, Representative Quigley introduced the Covfefe Act, which is now an acronym for Communications Over Various Feeds Electronically for Engagement.
Oh.
Covfefe. Wow. The gist of the bill would make all of the president's tweets public presidential communication.
Oh.
Right?
And stored in the presidential archives.
So then it becomes a part of the records, right? Adds to the presidential records. Also, it would be a First Amendment issue for him to block you because you can't.
Well, he's been blocking right and left.
He has been blocking right and left. But if it's part of the presidential public records, you cannot selectively exclude American citizens from that.
Okay.
Right. Public record means public record for everyone,
right. The public,
not just the people
and
that you like.
I think this is how that passes, is because Republicans are gonna be gonna get blocked.
Well, if it passes, it could also make deleting the tweets illegal.
Okay.
So I really don't think so.
Because they updated it a couple years ago to make emails, because it used to be correspondence. Their letters were automated, letters and stuff like that. And then emails were included.
Right.
But now it's not. Social media is the next new thing that they haven't addressed. Because I think 2007 or 2008 was the last time they updated it.
For email.
So it's just an update. And they haven't run into any roadblocks as each thing comes up that they put in. No one's really stopped it, because everybody was like, well, this is how this person communicates. Why would you exclude this?
Right.
And I really think with the Hillary emails and all this other stuff about that, they don't have a real good leg to stand on to say
no.
Like that's how he's choosing to communicate. And
and depending on who you talk to in the administration, they either are his official statements or they're not.
Spicy says they are.
Right. I agree.
As it turns out, in maybe a part B of thing number 2.
Oh, this is like the 2 of 2.
There is. See?
Now I feel like I'm way over here. It's like one word per line.
The Ninth Circuit Court has taken a step towards really legitimizing and making his tweets legal statements in their ruling on the travel ban.
Yeah, and that's
right.
Again, everything that keeps adding up to this. I'm like, this might. Get
this is
some
where they're
traction.
really going to be able to use his words against him.
Maybe. Well, because they literally in the.
That's just damn it. I was going to say it, and I thought no.
Trigger words.
I know. Me too. But in the
God, we're crazy.
In the decision, the Ninth Circuit Court, upheld the ban on the ban, said nope, can't do this, and here's why: because the president himself says it's a ban, a Muslim ban, which is unconstitutional, and you can't do that. And they quoted in the decision his tweet.
That's right. That's right.
So
See, you're talking yourself into it passing.
Twitter
All of a sudden, yeah.
Oh, look what you. Whoa!
No, you know what?
I don't even have to argue back. You're just selling yourself.
money was on
Here's
that
the
whole
thing.
time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
Especially when she counterpoints
In
herself.
order for the Covfefe or Kofifi Act, however you
Thank
like to
you.
pronounce
I
it.
appreciate
You prefer
that.
the Fifi?
I believe Covfefe is the official Associated Press.
Whose side are you on?
Clearly mine. Clearly, he's on the side of real American journalists like Kat Carlson.
Respected on both sides.
Straight
shooter.
Oh my God.
We watch
But no.
way too much of the same things.
For a couple of things. In order for the Kofifi Act, Kofife, I'm going to pronounce both of them. Kofife.
there you go.
Now there's
Mix it up.
that's the way to
Very
compromise.
that's very
That's good.
diplomatic.
That is.
In order for that act to pass,
Two states person.
Congress is gonna have to finish taking away health care from 20 million people first.
I
I
know.
feel like they're not gonna be able to focus on something as trivial as this before they fuck over all kinds of poor and sick people.
Yeah, because they have to humiliate the poor.
Have
some
to
more.
do that first, which incidentally, this is my very last thing, is probably gonna happen just as fast as it did in the House. They are
They lock the doors.
They lock the doors. They're sending the bill to the CBO. For those of you that don't listen obsessively to political podcasts, the CBO is the Congressional Budget Office. They're the people that tell us how many million people would lose their health insurance based on whatever legislation. They're sending the bill to the CBO before they let even Democratic senators look at it. So it's going to come back from CBO with whatever score, and they're going to schedule that vote as soon as next Thursday. Like, they want to do it before 4th of July. So if you care about the healthcare issue,
Time to start.
call
Yeah.
Call your senators, call your representatives.
But the good news
and
is
call,
go
call,
to the
call,
CBO.
call,
That
call.
is the good part, because the CBO can give
Yeah.
out the bad news
Yeah.
fast
And they know what they're doing, and they know that they're doing it sneaky. One aide, when asked why they hadn't released the bill yet, some dumbass who no longer has a job said, well, because we're not stupid. When asked why they hadn't released the bill for public consumption and review, he said, well, we're not stupid. We're trying to fuck people over. Why would we release it?
When that big doofy white guy, when they asked him about the Benghazi hearing, he's like, well, you saw Hillary's poll numbers. They're going down. Like, wait, no, wait.
Right.
Benghazi's
It's working,
serious.
it's working.
Yeah, shit. That was the wrong. What's his name? Kevin McCarthy?
Oh,
is
something
that
like that. Yeah.
asswipe's name? So I have a little news story. Speaking of how to kill white people faster, let me find
Ooh.
it. This is a follow-up to all the heroin stories that we've been doing. And if you listen
big
to...
time.
No, the heroin epidemic. And we talked about that podcast. Shut up.
I just don't feel like we're really heavy into the heroin stories,
Oh
but
my God,
apparently
we
we've
totally
done
have been.
we've
We
done a
have
couple.
Yeah.
Honey, that's your other podcast.
Yeah, okay. My
imaginary
my
one.
one about heroin with all the U2 songs.
That's right.
So anyways, because the heroin thing mostly came out of an addiction to this Opana drug, that the FDA pulling pain medicine Opana from the market and saying, is this, like, they finally realized, like, this has gotten out of control.
Yeah, sure
And
has.
almost all of these roads from Indiana and all these white people addicted to heroin, the FDA is very concerned about the white people. So it's going back and considering the Opana as the source of the gateway drug in, which it turns out it is.
Interestingly,
'Cause
people...
we talked about that podcast, the one where it went back and did in the in-depth or...
Yeah.
I do recall talking about
Yeah.
that.
Interestingly enough, a lot of the people who are trying to recover from heroin addiction and related health problems are being assisted by Medicaid, which they would lose
Sure.
Yep.
That's right.
when Congress decides to fuck over poor and sick people with their anti-Obamacare
The little bit of help
bullshit.
they are getting in states like Indiana, Pence is going to make sure they don't.
Because the things that they will give away from our healthcare are things like, what do they call them? They call them essential health benefits, which include drug treatment programs, wellness checks, birth control,
what is it
maternity care.
The things that save the most money: wellness checks, birth control.
But what do they give you to counteract the
$7.
No.
Methadone.
Methadone.
Yeah.
It's that as well, I believe, right? Yep.
Yeah. 'cause
Well,
you gotta
how
eat.
do you think that gets paid for? If
'Cause
you're,
otherwise-
if
No,
you're,
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
if you don't get into
it's-
some kind of treatment program, then you're just in the movie Train Spotting.
Right, but
Yeah.
you can go to the
oh my God, that fucking movie.
but they're the methadone clinics.
Oh.
And that's what I'm referring to.
Oh,
like
yeah.
being able to go in there to get something.
But the fact that the FDA does a lot of shit wrong, but the fact that they were like, this all seems to start from this one thing, this Opana. And that was what every one of that podcast about that story was. Every one of these clusters of heroin users and all this HIV is almost all the stories go back to Opana, which I've never heard of or seen. It's crazy. Like
I've seen several because I watch like 60 Minutes documentary and other documentaries. I've actually watched several of those where they go into these small towns that there's no reason that this epidemic should be in this little fucking town, and it's just completely ruined the city.
And it's New Hampshire, Connecticut,
it's all,
Indiana,
right?
like
and it's again they show.
and so they're concerned because it hit the suburbs.
It's hit the burbs, and I guess unfortunately
it started in the burbs.
Well,
too,
and unfortunately, what I'm seeing now, granted, the storyline or the stories that I'm seeing, it is not all white people. But one of the funny things about the stories is, it's funny that when it affects the perfect little white family with the picket fence around the yard and the cheerleader who's been a straight A student for her whole life, all of a sudden is in a crack house and she's looking for a fix. That's when they get up there and do the story about it.
They did the same
thing.
No,
I understand.
Yeah, like
so, but
they're going to do the same thing with Trump's predatory behavior.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like,
soon as a couple of white guys start feeling uncomfortable alone in a room with him, we're going to do something about it.
We got one. We got one.
We got two. Preet is not a white guy. Never mind. We got one.
Valid point. We'll touch briefly on this. The Senate Rules Committee today stating that no longer could you record senators in the hallways. You can't use video cameras. Did you hear about that whole thing that happened today?
It came and died.
And then it died right quick. Like, we didn't mean to do that. I thought that was the funny thing to do today. The other thing I was going to show you, just because I want to prove. I wore the shirt last Friday.
I loved it.
Last Friday, I was running errands, and I'm like, well, I'll kill birds with stones. I'm going to run errands. It's the only V-neck that I had. I was doing laundry, so I had to run errands. Grab this V-neck and ran around town doing errands with Kat Carlson.
I will proudly be your laundry day shirt.
I felt like I was.
It's true. I will.
I was fulfilling a commitment that I bought the shirt. I'll wear the shirt.
It was lovely.
It's lovely.
The memorial is silent.
Always. Well, I was pretty silent that day. It's all right.
Just letting you know.
I'm trying to read my notes. Do I have anything else I need to add? No, we got that. We get that. No, that's for after the show. That's in a closed session. I'm going to do this in a closed session. Do that in a closed. So as we're getting ready to, is there any stories? Anything you want to talk about? You did mention earlier you want to talk about Kathy Griffin.
Oh yeah.
And what was your reasoning for that?
It's just such an interesting. I mean, like I think you can imagine where I would fall on that. That I mean, I think it was tasteless, but at the same time, obviously, people chewing her out. That's a double standard, considering what kind of burning in effigy, quite literally. You know, we saw with Obama.
Right.
And I don't know, the sheer level of hypocrisy with people saying, well, it's different because we're private citizens making a statement with their First Amendment rights, and Kathy Griffin is a
private citizen making a statement with her First Amendment rights.
But that she has a responsibility because she has a position of privilege having like a public mouthpiece when the president of the United States
can use that mouthpiece in every vile way he sees fit,
and nobody and everybody's apparently voted. They voted him into office because of it. I mean, he said and done crazy shit, and all she did was hold up a mannequin head.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and number one, it's time to stop being stunned by hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Expect a certain number of people to just not get
like
it.
Ivanka
they're
Trump
just not gonna.
So offended by the viciousness of the opposition.
Right.
Washington
She's
is
not
vicious.
going to understand it. People that strung up mannequins of the Obamas and lit them on fire while they hung from nooses are never going to understand the hypocrisy. Like we have to stop preaching the hypocrisy because the people that are guilty of it either don't care or won't ever get it.
But it's hard to not.
It is hard.
It's hard to not
that's
comment
you're a
on that.
It's like, person,
right,
though.
and that's what's missing. Yeah. That empathy, that compassion. It's not there.
Yeah, and we have to stop expecting that from people. Sure.
And we did talk about that last week. That we were wondering, like, is this some kind of stunt to get her back into relevance? Like, did she?
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then Bill Maher said, he's like, Kathy Griffith owes me a fruit basket for getting her off the front page.
Front page. I saw that.
That's funny.
For taking the heat off her.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that
totally
was good.
done.
That was good. Have you noticed any other kind of backlash that maybe?
I don't know, backlash. I just thought it was interesting, to what level do you think it... I was wondering, to what level do you think people get to parse out their privilege as being public figures versus being private citizens? And
yeah, I mean, everybody gets to use your voice. Some people just get a bigger platform, bigger microphone.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Some people just have the privilege of having a larger audience, but everyone has the same right to say what they want to say and make the statements.
How do you feel though about? Okay, she did it. Get it? How do you feel? Because we did talk about this, I believe, last week. Should she have apologized to the press conference or not?
And the crying.
I think that because she made a controversial, certainly, statement, right? Maybe. I think it's necessary to address that, right?
Address it is one thing.
Right. I don't think she should have apologized necessarily. I think it's worthwhile to... Why did I go there? That it can be an artistic, a political statement.
Yeah.
And you might be angry about that, but I have your attention, so now let's talk about
and
that.
And that's why it could have led to a more interesting conversation about...
I mean, not... I still think she should have said, yep, I fucking said it and walked away.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. I think it just made her look weak as she's crying. She had Gloria all red around her, all that shit. I'm like, you were such a strong, sharp tongue... you that personality. You were all that, and then you just wiped it all away.
Joan Rivers never would have apologized.
Never would apologize. Exactly.
Right. And I read a comment that said, "Well, Joan Rivers would have never done anything like that." Are you high?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, she
would have pushed Kathy Griffin out of the way to get to that head.
Yeah. She would have been like yelling, like,
look out, Kathy, give me that fucking head.
Yeah. She'd have kicked it, like, whatever.
I guess but then she won Celebrity Trump, so who knows where she would have fallen on the...
Yeah,
that would have been the Trump spectrum.
Yeah, like where would she have fallen during
that?
Well,
it also would have been interesting to find out if she would have lived through all of this shit. Because there were things that came up. They were talking about how he was on the set of that show. She was on the set of that show. She may have seen firsthand and witnessed it and knew exactly what it was. She could have been a very vocal person about
and Melissa was on there with her, so I was surprised
that's true.
That Melissa didn't have something to say.
And in fairness, they may not have experienced that on that show. I mean, I don't know.
Well, but there was so Andy Cohen from Bravo, whatnot. He had the special that he's been doing, kind of like how CNN has done the 60s and the 70s, the 80s.
Oh, right, where he sits one-on-one and talks to him.
Right,
yeah, right,
and he has different people that are there, and he talks about the scandals and different times, different and in different years, whatever. And one of the things was one of the people that he had on was from The Apprentice, but I can't think of her name because she's not really somebody. I don't think I couldn't tell who she was. But he told her, "You could win this. Like you're doing really well, but you're not pretty enough."
Oh yeah. I know who that is.
You need to part your hair down.
Was it
the middle.
Aubrey O'Day?
Yes. Nicely done. But you need to part your hair down the middle, and you need to show off the boobs, and you need all of this stuff. And she said, I listen. Do I want that person to be in charge of like a career kind of thing? Yeah. Do I want that person to be in charge of my country? No.
Yeah.
I mean, because
not if you're reducing women to like push up your boobs.
Right.
Nothing about your merits or anything like
that.
It's
tits.
Yeah,
exactly. Because you're doing an amazing
orchestra
job
and balcony,
but you're not pretty enough to do
what
it.
They want is what you see. Let's just say it.
So,
that ain't it, kid.
Yeah,
that ain't it, kid.
Different is nice, but it sure isn't pretty.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Oh gosh.
And Megyn Kelly, Santa just is white, which I had to put on her page the other day.
I love it. Oh my
is
God, that's
interviewing
fantastic.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, and it's a big
on
backlash.
Father's Day. Yeah, big backlash. People are pulling out
because of the Sandy.
Santa just is white.
Yeah.
So that's why I went on her page and I just wrote that. I'm like, I just thank you for telling me that Santa just is white.
Here's the problem with the Alex Jones interview is that Megyn Kelly, a legitimate journalist and
or trying to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
think she always
cunt
went,
face, whatever. She racist as all hell maybe, but
sure.
She's lifting up the craziest of crazy radio screamer conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theory? Whoa.
I got that on my form browser.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cat Fudd. Or Elmer Carlson.
I like the Carlson better.
Rabbit season. Duck season.
Very, very quiet. We're hunting racists.
Well played. Squimish.
So they were.
In any event, don't watch because you're just legitimizing this tool.
Well, and she apparently sticks up for his him putting the Sandy Hook folks down. And that's the issue.
I
And he dodges the question. Yeah, the point is that he says that they're all actors, that the shooting never happened, and he has never backed down from the statement. He still stands by it.
Unlike Kathy Griffin.
Right. Yeah. And and they're playing it on Father's Day, and it's just like triply offensive. And she's saying that this man is influencing our politics. We should know him better. You're not going to ask any hardball questions because Santa just is white.
No, we saw what you did with Putin. I'm not watching this bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not falling for your shit again.
Santa just is white.
Speaking of that, last night on Colbert, I'm going to get his name wrong.
Last night on Colbert. Google.
On it.
Oliver.
It smells like.
Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone
was on, and they were talking about his documentary interview with Putin that was done over the course of the past 2 years. And he had, I forget how many hours he said that he has. Did you watch it? Did you see
I haven't,
the interview?
I haven't seen it. I'm interested.
The crowd, I mean, obviously.
The audience laughed him off stage, didn't they?
Audience was done. When he walked out, they were already, it was Oliver Stone. And the second Colbert started asking him questions about, what are you doing? Like, why were you talking? And he's like, he's got his own country. He's like, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like, he was defending him, and it was interesting.
That's strange.
And the crowd completely turned on him, and you could tell that he was a little like, well, whatever. Like, I got that, but the interview was interesting, but but I was trying to see it from Oliver Stone's side of this. He's looking at it. He's not going to say anything bad. I get that in an interview. He's not going to say, "Oh no, he's a fucking quack." He was given an interview with somebody that obviously, if you're interviewing them and you call them all these names, well, you're sure as fuck never going to get another interview,
especially with anybody else.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just that single person, but other people might.
You're known as somebody who like bullies the
right, and you don't want that.
Rules, yeah.
But he was. It's almost like he was giving Putin his First Amendment rights. Like he's saying he can say whatever he wants. He can run his country however he wants. Now, obviously, we all know the undertone is people magically just die, go into prison. Anybody who opposes him gets arrested.
Stepped on.
There's all of those things.
But
it was interesting because everything else that I've ever seen Oliver Stone do interviews for was always something that was very insightful, but it was also very positive. Like stories like Kennedy. The story, his stories about that.
Yeah,
and anything
else,
wackadoodle
on that topic.
But anything,
too,
but anything else he's done, I don't think has ever had the controversy of what that is. I've never seen that coming.
Yeah,
from
I gotta watch that.
This is saying I put the link in the chat room concerning.
Good for
Megyn
you putting
Kelly.
a link.
I know. Today. Yeah.
5 years in the making.
Hey, it's taken me a little while, but anyway, J.P. Morgan has already pulled commercials from the NBC
from Kelly's show.
Kelly's show,
Okay.
And it's a huge uproar of her cancel this. Like just
don't.
Because she defends Alex Jones amid this pressure to cancel it. And says that
the only reason I don't mean to step on what you're saying.
No, please.
One of the things, and we've talked about this before, the only reason I don't like the fact that he's being promoted, but like we've all said, if you're going to be a bigot and you're going to hate me, put a shingle out there on your front of your story that says, if you're gay, don't come in. If you're black, don't come in. If you were born in Hawaii and you're of a mixed race, don't come in. I mean, because that's legitimate.
Yep.
Right.
I would.
And that's a big market.
I would want to.
Absolutely.
I would only want to watch him and watch it only because we as a people need to know who these fucking idiots are.
Who are the crazies?
The funny thing
and
is,
but we already know he's an idiot and a crazy.
Right.
Write him off.
I used to think that was better, right? Out in the open rather than kind of this hidden
agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Trump got elected.
Right.
And more people died and
not
got murdered
better, right?
and hazed.
It's not better.
It's not better.
So I don't know. I don't know if one is better than the other. It's just different
the people that are going to listen to Alex Jones and that are going to believe Alex Jones and agree with him are already watching him on InfoWars.
Yeah, but there might be those misinformed middle people that might be like, oh God, this is where I'm getting this is where the stories are coming from, is from
this whack job.
Yeah, that I'm listening.
Or
I'm getting
do
secondhand
we
information.
promote it to where someone goes, oh, this
Maybe
whack
he's
job
got a
makes
point.
sense.
Maybe Newton. Those people are faking their death. Like, it's crazy. But now Alex Jones is asking that NBC pull it.
Oh,
because he says she's cold, robotic, and dead inside.
I have not heard one good review of anything that she's transitioned this thing into NBC.
Well, it's only her second week, so.
Well, but even before, she was doing like interviews before, like promoting stuff. But still, I haven't heard anything good about it. And I'm like, I don't know if NBC really realized what they were going to get with this. I don't think this is going to last long.
They want to like play them.
Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, like they want to pull in the blonde lady that took some abuse from Trump, thinking they'll get.
I don't think it's going to.
I don't either. I think.
Well, I think they're trying to get the Fox,
the Fox viewers that are
migrating. And anything that gets the Fox viewers out of Fox, I'm all for.
Well, that could be the right step out of Jonestown.
She's just a shitty human with a better platform now.
Yeah, but like that could be the plane out of Jonestown for them. You are right.
And unfortunately, like when you date a shitty person, they don't get better, you get shittier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You always rise. You always go to the lower level
Look at
of
that analysis.
Question: in an age where journalism's getting increasingly murkier, right,
from and entertainment or whatever it's called,
infotainment, yeah.
So, at what point are you just becoming a mouthpiece for their propaganda versus
Megyn Kelly?
Well, that's all Fox was.
That is the line. Yeah,
that's all Fox is and was.
Right, but I mean, like that. There is, I think, this level of softball questions versus making them comfortable enough that they can reveal how nuts they are. Right.
And I always like 60 Minutes till John Oliver started making fun of them, and now I can't watch an interview without them putting the words in the person, like getting them to say exactly what they want. Like
William Hurt on
broadcast news, yeah,
with the tear,
yeah,
right, and
but just the way that they and they don't cut it, they don't edit it out. 60 Minutes puts the answer they want into the questions. They're like, I did mean that. Yeah, you're right. I do mean I'm an asshole. Thank you.
Maybe we should all just go by what Chelsea Clinton is saying, and Kat as well, a former part-time correspondent for NBC, added her voice. I hope no parent, no person watches this.
Yeah.
And just kind of the end.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to make me turn into a Megyn Kelly incident.
Right. Oh no, and I'm not a fan of her either. Every time I hear her, I don't buy that she's being sincere on anything. Right. I don't care if she's doing a stand-up live shot talking about whatever. I just do not believe she's genuine at all.
Oh, all I ever hear is Santa just is white. That's all I hear is that her final answer of like.
She was on The View, promoting her book. That just came out, and
I Got Raped. Or whatever it's called.
I don't think that's what it's called, but
I think it's close enough.
Chlamydia is my middle name.
Incidentally,
I got the 5-finger salute from Roger Ailes.
No. I know what ails Roger. Yeah.
Her book is titled "Settle for More."
No.
Oh.
No, I was raped.
Roger was a big guy.
Oh, size queen again.
Yeah,
always with you.
Yeah,
the bigger
boy.
hot dog.
That's right.
The bigger Roger.
You're always chasing it.
You like black guys. Shut up.
With one arm. So, I mean,
we'd both fight over Strahan.
20-30 mistakes. The next You're a whore.
That's right.
Just go for 10 inches and shut up. Anyway, go ahead.
But anyway, that's all. Yeah.
Good work.
There's that.
Next caller.
Yeah. All right, you've got a thoughtful question radio. Here we go. Thoughtful vulgarity, our final segment on this evening's show.
Santa just is white.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
I've had those. Oh, hi.
Hi.
I lost.
At any point,
I
you'd like to
lost track of
regain-
the song. I didn't know where we were.
Hi.
So, how do you cope with, part ways with, manage personal space offenders? People that feel they need to talk to you while, grinding up against your hip for no apparent reason. Because I have a personal space offender in my life.
I guess I don't know that I've run into that in forever. I don't even know.
I'm in full-blown crisis.
I mean,
I didn't mean to get that close to you. So that's
mistakes.
It's actually a banana in my pocket.
No, I mean it really is.
Marty, we've all been meaning to talk to you about this.
I know. Now I don't know. Awkward. I don't know.
So, in case people like the people that just get too close to you when they talk or share a story, that as their conversation goes on, it just becomes like, I have a gynecologist. Please step away.
Again, Kat.
I mean,
no, Kat's not my gynecologist.
No.
Due to poor.
I am many things to Al Perkins. Gynecologist is not one of them.
Hello, my name is
Before
Jesus
we
Christ.
before we continue the conversation, we must have dinner. Apparently,
Right.
yeah.
So I don't usually get too bothered by any of that. Erin always talks about like truly having that bubble.
Yeah.
And
Well, she has anxiety.
Big time.
Yeah, so I mean-
and just doesn't like people very much. So the idea
Wait till she gets
that,
older.
Teacher was a good profession.
Yeah, but it was about the little
Maybe
one,
she should have
maybe,
flipped
I don't
over
know.
that survey on.
She really should have.
Yeah, there was a page 2.
Yeah.
How do you feel about cubicle work? Oh, I love it.
I love it.
When do I start?
Yeah.
But I don't. I like people so much that it doesn't really bother me. So when it does, like that person is damn near sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
And it's usually that they either smell bad, have bad breath.
Oh, none of the above with mine.
No. I'm just saying, for
Oh, yeah.
me to notice something, that would be.
They gotta have a stank on it.
That would be a big part of it.
I'm
Right?
worried
Be
about
like,
my breath.
whoa.
As she pulls out the banaka.
Again, it's a banana.
Would you like an Altoid?
Yeah. May I offer you anything? But yeah, that would. I don't mind the personal.
Like, do you step away? Do you say something? Do you try to keep Mike Pence in between you? Like, or Mike Pence's wife
He
seems to be
can't
available for all
right.
uncomfortable
or
situations.
the dead pussy.
Yeah.
You know, well, Mike Pence's wife.
Yeah, that's
Mike,
yeah. Lesbian nun.
You've been
same
sitting
word.
on that joke all night,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Maybe. Yeah.
I think you play chicken. Try and get closer to
Sure.
them. See how far you have
like
to
that.
go to, you know.
Oh, before they back
Yeah.
up.
Ooh, that's
Certainly
really
the
Our
most
therapist
daring.
standing by.
Is this coming
I
from?
enjoy that.
Do you actively do this, or is this coming from some other
I'm
experience?
more of a
that.
Marnie person, right? Like my bubble is fairly
my beard.
small.
Okay.
Yeah, I can be
I
for
like
the right
it.
price.
I like it.
Size
no.
queen.
20
There's
bucks.
another size queen thing.
$20 is
Bubble
20
small.
bucks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead
see.
and put on my.
No,
we did our
no,
20
I-
bucks is 20
so-
bucks over here too.
So like I'm a hugger, you know. I
I am
I'm
too.
fairly
I'm
great.
certainly
Right.
not a not toucher. I'll hug the occasional person.
But so I would say either physical barriers construct a sort of
Depending on what the
wall,
judge
right?
said about
Sure.
that.
Possibly.
I've known you 4 years. I've hugged you twice. Settle down.
See?
Yeah, but
I've known him 20 years. I've only hugged maybe twice too.
Yeah, but he didn't say he liked to hug you people.
I don't blame you
I
because
just said
You
it happened.
people.
I didn't say with any regularity.
There was an event.
Yeah.
Once.
Show me on the doll.
I think because it can be a personal issue, right? Of just personal taste, or sometimes it's a cultural issue, and especially people coming from larger metropolitan areas to small, or you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So those can vary. So I think it's interesting just to, from a scientific perspective,
like
test that, right? How close? When do they seem to start
when does
getting
it go?
uncomfortable? right? Yeah.
Yes, you're not bugging me.
Foiled.
Hugged you.
Foiled.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, I do like that though.
Yeah, that is a.
I would when you're saying like, would you put a barrier in between or whatever? I think
Because I don't dislike the person. Is the
well,
problem.
and as much as I say that being close and people don't bother me, I am a stander, just all the time. Like this is the most that I probably sit during the week because I work standing up. I'll stand there and be like on my
I can
computer.
put that mic on a stand if you
and
would like.
I think it'd be a delight. But I just enjoy that. But when I would go out, that's what I would, I'd be standing, and maybe that's kind of a thing because that way I can step away or whatnot.
Yeah, I'm putting it back.
Or have the bar stool in between or a chair.
Yeah.
Or a state.
I'm going now. Yeah. Right. So, anyway.
This may come as no surprise to longtime listeners, but I have literally said to people, no, don't touch me.
She said that when I came in.
Looked at them. Yeah. You know, they're...
Oh, my phone's ringing. It's Sharon.
Yeah.
I mean...
Sissyfuss.
No, because you know what I mean. Like you all know, you work in the bar, especially the gay bar, and everybody wants to hug you, and there are some people that no longer have that privilege.
Sure.
And I will just tell them no.
Yeah.
You're fine right there.
No.
Yeah. People have asked. Like
no, 100%.
Yeah. Hey, can I have a hug? No.
Sure.
Don't touch me.
And what a great barrier to be behind the bar.
My face.
Well, right.
Oh no, but you're right.
To be behind the bar.
Right, and I do have that advantage. But you know what? I had just this last weekend, and apparently my face can stop a man dead in his tracks. Because there was a group of people, like young straight people, and they were having a great time, and they were just gross and drunk and whatever, just doing whatever straight people do, which is not cute.
No.
Turns out not cute at all. None of that was cute. The girls not cute. The boys were not cute. Together they were just sloppy and gross. Anyway, so they decide to go on to the next place, and they're wandering out the bar, and I can see they're about to just walk their drinks out with them. And the one guy is just grabbing everybody's ass on the way out, right? All right, fine, whatever. And so I didn't know his name, but I needed to get his attention, so I followed them and hollered, "Hey, ass grabber!" And then he turned right around, and I said, "Honey, you can't take that beer out of here." He said, "Why you call me ass grabber? You want me to grab your ass?" And he comes towards me, and I just looked at him, and I was like, don't.
Yeah, wrong girl, wrong country.
Right.
And he stopped literally dead in his tracks and was like, "Okay."
Yep. Here's that beer.
I can see that. Yeah.
Finish it.
That young man from Cobalt is stern.
No, because that mom look is handy. Let me tell you, it's very funny because when I
will turn this whole van around.
when I was at Cash and before I lived with Sharon and the kids, they used to call it the dad voice because I also have this stop what the fuck you're doing voice.
I love
but now
I've heard that, by the way. I heard that.
Now at the Cobalt, apparently the mom face is much more effective. Much more effective. But anyway, the short answer to your question is if it's that bad that it makes you uncomfortable, I would actually just say something. And there are sneaky, tricky ways to do that. You know, a lot of times, like the close talkers, they will say, "You know what, honey? It's so loud in here, I can't hear you. But if I can see your face, we talk
smart,
better."
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, that's
really
nice.
smart.
Yeah.
And the deafness has already been established with me, so very realistic.
Yeah. So it's and that's actually true with me sometimes. Sometimes if I can't see you, I can't hear you, especially in the bar. So there, I think there's a tricky, sneaky, polite way to just say, "Back up."
And if they don't take it from there, then you say, "Just back up."
Then you go, "Don't touch me."
Yeah.
And I did learn that I'm pretty good at lip reading from having worked in the bar.
Yeah.
That I can read Bud Light and anyone's lips.
Yeah.
As long as you have your teeth.
Most.
No teeth throws it.
Bud Light.
Well, it changes the lip structure.
I got nothing.
Changes.
What are you asking for?
Changes the lip structure altogether. Two parts to this story. One, I don't know if it's just because of my personality or just me, how I stand or whatever. I don't have a lot of that real close talking issue. Typically, I don't. I don't run into that. Occasionally,
your height alone will discourage that.
Sure.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. If height plays into less close talking.
So
back the fuck off or catch this gas.
Wow. We all have the drunk people here and there who get too close into it, and I take that with a grain of salt only because that's not typically how I interact with them. They just happen to be drunk this time, whatever. I've had that happen, but I've also done where they're doing the thing and they're really in tight with you and they're telling you the story and they're really close, and I've literally in response, "I don't know why you're this fucking close to me to tell me this story." I've actually said that. They kind of look back and I'm like, "Back up." I've literally done that before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now there was another issue with a queen here in town. This is actually about 2 years ago. It was a Sunday fun day. I went to the bar. I was at Charlie's, and this performer who I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of times and it's a creative person, innovative, does a lot of stuff that well, that's just not normal, or not normal. It's just like,
That's not normal.
well, that's not your run of the mill drag. That's not your run of the mill
He's not
character.
gonna be on the pride flag.
So, not sure which stripe I'm gonna be. Is there a middle-aged white guy stripe?
No, there's a brown one.
On board.
There you have it.
Anyway,
it's on the bottom.
Yeah,
it was an incident where they were drunk, but they were on the patio, and was one of those things where they're talking to me and they're at me and they're just like fucking with me the whole time. And I made it very clear. Yeah. You need to stop. You need to back up. You need to not touch me. And I was off. And people around me were like, and they told me later, they'd never seen me that pissed, but they were like, you were direct. There was no question as to what the issue was here. It wasn't, I was looking for your loyalty and I wish this would go away.
Yeah.
No, I know uncertain terms, and I just snapped and went off on them. And I just made it very clear. But I rarely ever have that issue with somebody. I think you're correct though. The height makes a difference. They're not.
You're taller
a lot of
than
people
many.
look up.
Right. You're taller than many people, so it doesn't behoove them.
I mean,
to
I'm
try
not
and,
crazy tall. I'm just
right.
6 foot, but there's a lot of people who are under that.
Yeah, I mean it's a new thing, and it's someone that I
So
like.
tell your story. I don't understand.
I like talking to this person, and always has something to share with me or something, but it just gets closer and closer and closer until it's like I'm leaning over into almost an Anne Reinking pose to be like, get the fuck off me. And it turns out it's just a problem that this person has with personal space. Turns out I'm not the only person that's being inflicted upon.
So wait, so this person, you said they have a problem with personal space, meaning
that they're just when they talk to me or anybody, they're just right.
Is this a work associate or a social associate?
Work.
Okay.
And they're seriously right here, and you're like,
do they think they're doing a HIPAA thing?
No, it's never
okay.
anything
It's not anything.
You could always consider a hat with a wide brim.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Handmaid's Tale.
It's sombrero day at the restaurant.
Talk to me now.
Now I'm back on board because I do like the sombrero idea. Olay.
I would find a gentle way to say something and say, you know what, honey, I can have you right here.
Because
this is good.
And
I think once you make that declaration, you'll never ever have to make it again.
Yeah, and it's because it's someone whose feelings I don't want to hurt. I do enjoy that. I want to find the way to be like, how do I say this without it coming off as bitchy queen tells you to
can't do it.
Yeah, I know.
And I think you start that with, I'm going to tell you this because others may feel similarly.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's like a public service.
Put the spin on it where it's like, I'm trying to help you here. I want to make sure that this doesn't happen.
trying to help you.
Or
be
just
careful
be a
with that
good
though, because
Minnesotan and be passive aggressive as hell and be like, oh my God, there's this person that, and it drives me just fucking nuts. Don't you agree? And they're like in my face.
Yes,
and
Marty,
I can't. It's similar to that. Oh my God, you do it really well. And I, sure.
I don't think I would deflect with other people and be like, oh well, other people might agree. Because then that sounds like everybody's ganging up on me and talking about
Oh,
how I'm. You know what I mean? I would really just gently, it's not even a thing, and say, honey, take one step for me. Better.
When is the last time you flossed?
And there's no issues with any kind of hygiene or anything.
You just
that.
don't like that close.
Yeah, and it's.
It's if it's me, I would direct them to the comfortable
and
distance.
It's my version of get off my lawn. It's okay, we're this. We need to leave room for Jesus.
Well, I don't think there's any problem with that.
You could also carry a balloon with you at all times.
One of us is gonna get pregnant.
A hula hoop or a hula hoop, and you just just hold it. This is
back to the soprano.
Are hoop skirts a problem for you?
Very comfortable. It's what got me off the Titanic. You know what I mean? The hoop skirt and the wig, still here to tell the story.
Oh my God!
That women and children think very seriously.
That's good.
Well, I think we've done a good show. Before we get to the
Let
outro,
us know next week. Tune back in.
Sure. I want to say thank you for Tim Wong to come by. Thank you.
They brought Pop-Tarts and corn nuts and
you were an
gummies.
appropriate guest because you know what to bring.
And we never got to this.
What is that?
They
What's
look
happening?
like,
Let's see.
like
whole cuts,
yeah.
lightly salted, cut like a fried crunch like a chip. Oh my God, it's 2 things in one.
Oh my God, it's two things.
Two things. I just want to say real quick, thanks to all 4 of you because your truly enjoyable in person as you are in my ear.
Nice.
So,
Very good.
And that I know you say it sometimes or mention it, but like I think your show is really valuable to a lot of people. So for some people, the banter maybe that they might not get in a smaller community where there's less, I
keep going.
Gay presence. But
I just thought of one thing I forgot.
For me personally, the past year has been a little, what am I doing career-wise? And when I was feeling down, you guys always cheered me up. So I really appreciate it.
That's very nice to hear.
Well, I think that's fantastic. I think you're a Sisyphus, but whatever, but no. That's wonderful. I couldn't think of the word.
Do we have... Is it time for listener mail?
No, it's not. Well, not really.
But thank you.
But
Thanks for being here.
I thank you for that. And the cool thing, and we've talked about this before on many other thoughtful vulgarities and different things that we've talked about. We have received
and
emails,
the heroin segments.
and this
the many heroin stores.
Not what I
real.
just went. Not what I just went to grab, but we've received emails, Facebook posts, comments, in-person comments from people that were at a dark day or a dark period in their life, and they're like, if it wasn't for you, just being who we are and just joking, because I'm like, the fuck are 4 white half-drunk people in a bedroom gonna get, but
in Phaedra's bedroom.
Wrong. Yeah.
It would be spelled wrong on that.
Well, there's
map.
that. But yeah, it is interesting that it's an outlet for people who, in some cases, like some of the people in the chat room, and mostly people who aren't in the chat room, who can't reach out to us. We've been sort of a light for them, and I think that's fantastic. That we can have as much fun as we do, and just ramble on about stuff, but it's entertaining and it may take somebody off a ledge. I think that's fantastic. But cool. But I'm glad I ran into you. That's so much fun. And timing couldn't have been better before you leave the city, and we'll always be with you.
I love it.
I did want to let you guys know.
Good luck to you.
I did get this email. I meant to mention this earlier in the show, but I found out
Listener mail.
we now have a Russian connection.
Yay. Finger on the pulse.
We have a Russian connection. Name is Julia Fufkova.
Make sure to disclose this.
Yep,
if
everybody
you go to work for the government.
To my knowledge,
Hi, Julia.
I've never had a meeting with her. Julia Fufkova, she is from Spirovo, Russia. Sent this email. Now, the email that I got to just a couple days ago, it says, "Good afternoon. Every morning when I wake up, I listen to your radio. It gives me energy and good mood for whole day. Now I cannot imagine my normal day without your radio. My whole family also listens to your radio. Wanted to ask a few souvenirs from your wonderful radio for my family. With thanks, best wishes, your regular listener. Good luck to all." I'm like, well, that's very interesting. I like that's kind of cool.
Sure.
We don't have anything to send because
Did she ask for your social security number?
No, but she has $1 million. No, I'm kidding.
Does she know a Nigerian prince?
So
name Suskovich.
So because I'm inquisitive,
yeah, sure.
I googled old Julia Fufkova.
Who she is?
Well,
she a drag queen
actually,
in San Diego?
the first thing I did is I googled the email address because she's got a Gmail address. And nothing came up. So Julia Fufkova. Apparently, this letter has gone out to every single radio station ever. Like they're all posting it. It's all come up everywhere. And one of the radio stations actually posted the letter on their site, and somebody posted one of the comments. It says "fucking Ruskies."
How do you spell her last name?
Here, you just take the email. But anyway, I just say as timely as today's headlines, we have a Russian connection. I just want to make sure that we were on top of all this.
We're gonna all need a copy of that so that we can carry it with us.
Right.
That kind of proves that they're listening.
That's right.
Yeah.
Breitbart.
So
fuck you, Breitbart.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Shishvis.
Margarine was stuffing some really, really delicious gummy bearshin. Gummy bearshin.
The rainbow-colored carnage.
Well, you've managed to do it again. You've wasted the better part of your day or night listening to this show, whether it was live or if it's on Memorex, it doesn't matter. But thank you all for listening. Again, thank you, Tim Wong, for being with us.
Thank you.
As we wrap up tonight's show,
safe travels.
Let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday!
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.
Don't fuck with me, fellas!